Cheng are blind. Now if she knows that you are still studying in Cheng, then her title of campus belle will be taken away by you. Then, really. Another female classmate covered her mouth and laughed when she reached this point. Liu Yina smiled helplessly. Whether you are the school beauty or not, it's just an empty title. There are many good-looking people. Maybe one of the new girls has been named the school beauty. In fact, I have always thought that she is only pretty, not beautiful. The female classmates also shook their heads. You are a woman that even we girls are jealous of. How can you not be beautiful? You are too modest. Yi Chen also learned some inside information from these gossipy female classmates. Perhaps the woman named My Sissy was pretty, so she was jealous of Liu Yina. However, Liu Yina is the recognized school beauty among the boys. There is no doubt about that. Yi Chen drove the car and said leisurely, Wife, you are the most beautiful in my eyes. All the female classmates booed. Wow, looks like your husband loves you to his core. During the entire journey, Yi Chen also heard a lot about Liu Yina being pursued by others. After driving all the female classmates back home, Yi Chen sat in the car and sighed. Finally, I've finished sending them home. Liu Yina smiled. Why are you tired? Yi Chen, I'm not tired, I just want to beat someone up. Liu Yina took Yi Chen's hand. What's wrong? She naturally knew why her husband wanted to hit someone, so she comforted him. Actually, this happened in my freshman year. Later, I was given the title of a cool campus beauty. Since then, not many men have chased me, but I don't care about these, I like you. In fact, there was a question that had been on Yi Chen's mind for a long time, but he had never asked it. Chapter 176, Just Know the Game. Yi Chen has always had a question in his mind, especially after hearing what his wife's female classmate said. He became even more confused. Liu Yina smiled and said, You can just ask me directly, silly. Yi Chen also scratched his head. I'm just afraid that you will be angry. Liu Yina, if you don't ask me, I will be angry. Yi Chen exhaled and said, I asked and he said he wouldn't be angry. Liu Yina smiled and nodded. Yi Chen asked, I knew you had a crush on me before, but I didn't ask you in detail at that time. Why me? Liu Yina knew he would ask such a question and touched Yi Chen's face. Although you are not the most handsome one, but you are the one with the best character among men. We were freshmen at the time, and I spotted you helping your classmates with their luggage in the crowd. At the time, I just thought you were a nice person, handsome and sunny, with a good personality. In the years that I've been observing you, I know that you're a very good person, very loyal, and not a follower of the crowd. Li Awei really doesn't know how to cherish you. Yi Chen finally understood. So that's how it is. Wife, you've started paying attention to me so early. Liu Yina was a little shy. I just looked at you a little more. Some people, just because you glance at them in the crowd, it lasts a lifetime. Yi Chen hugged Liu Yina. Wife, I will definitely make you the happiest woman in the world. Liu Yina, being able to marry you and have children with you, I already feel that I am the happiest person in the world. After saying that, the two hugged each other tightly again. Yi Hui also drove Gu Yingying back downstairs. Gu Yingying asked tentatively, Aren't you going to take me home? Yi Hui glanced at his watch and said, Say, you don't need it, right? You are such a grown-up. I have already sent you downstairs. You can go up by yourself. I have an appointment with a friend later. Gu Yingying was asking for trouble. She just wanted Yi Hui to know where her home was. Otherwise, next time she met his parents, she wouldn't be able to tell them where her girlfriend lived. Yi Hui drove away without saying goodbye to Gu Yingying. Gu Yingying stood on the side of the road, covering her nose and mouth, and started cursing in her heart. I'm so angry. In fact, the reason why Yi Hui left in such a hurry was because Yi Chen's good friend Liu Ming had been waiting for him at his door for 30 minutes. So he was in such a hurry to leave. Liu Ming and Yi Hui have been playing games for such a long time that they have become good friends like brothers. And this time, Liu Ming came here to rely on Yi Hui because he had not found a job yet. Among Liu Ming's brothers, only Yi Hui lives alone. The others either live at home, share a house with others, or live with their girlfriends, so Yi Hui has to be troubled. When Yi Hui returned home, Liu Ming was sitting directly at the door of his apartment. When Liu Ming saw Yi Hui coming back, he immediately stood up and said, Brother, you are finally back. Do you have anything to eat? I haven't had dinner yet. Yi Hui was also speechless. Brother, there is a restaurant downstairs. Why don't you go down and eat? Liu Ming laughed and said, I'm just afraid that you won't be able to find me when you come back. Yi Hui, you can tell me. I can wait for you when I get home. Liu Ming smiled and said, Hey, let's not talk about this anymore. Let's go in first. Yi Hui opened the door and said, There are instant noodles in the kitchen cabinet. Make them yourself. The first thing Liu Ming did when he entered the room was to throw his luggage on the ground and go straight to the kitchen. Yi Hui was also stunned when he looked at the big brother in front of him. He was really hungry. "Please make one for me," Yi Hui shouted into the kitchen. Liu Ming's voice came from the kitchen. "Didn't you go to the party? Why did you come back hungry?" Yi Hui said, "I never like to overeat. I finished eating at that time and didn't eat anymore. Now that the show is over, I feel hungry." Liu Ming came out with 2 cups of instant noodles. "Hey, why are you going to the party with Gu Yingying?" Yi Hui was also helpless. "My sister-in-law went too. I went there just to fill in for Gu Yingying and be her boyfriend so that other students wouldn't laugh at her. It's not going to come true right now, is it? I see you guys playing games together often." Yi Hui shook his head. "I don't think so. I didn't think about it that way. I just want to make money now." By the way, Yi Hui had received more than 2 million from his father, and he had enough money to buy a game console long ago. But for some reason, he didn't have much interest in it now. "But I did ask her to pretend to be my girlfriend to shut my parents up. You know, my parents are really bothered by my big brother Yi Chen's affairs." Liu Ming looked at the instant noodles and said, "Just let it go. If Gu Yingying takes a fancy to you, maybe it will work out." Yi Hui said thoughtfully, "She likes me? No way." As I thought about it, I recalled what had just happened. "Oh, that's right. She just asked me to take her home." Liu Ming bit his instant noodles and glared. "Then why are you back? Shouldn't you be at her house and then?" Yi Hui pouted at him. "What are you thinking, kid? Maybe she was just scared and asked me to take her home. It was because you sent me a message saying that she had been waiting at my door for 30 minutes, so I let her go back by herself for your sake." Liu Ming also looked regretful. "Brother, I'm so sorry. It's my fault that I got you into trouble." Yi Hui said, "No way, I was watching the video. Maybe she asked me to go upstairs to fix the plumbing, lights, computers, and other rough work for her. Fortunately, you let me come back." Liu Ming patted Yi Hui on the shoulder. "Brother, good brother, I am the one who held you back. Don't worry, I will help you." Yi Hui was confused. "Why are you helping me? Go eat your instant noodles." Obviously, Yi Hui didn't take this matter to heart. And it was obvious that Liu Ming also took this matter to heart. And the worst thing is that the heroine, Gu Yingying, didn't mean that. As soon as Gu Yingying came back home, she took a shower and now collapsed on the sofa. She ate too much today and felt a little indigestion. Suddenly, her cell phone rang. It was a message from Yi Hui. "Come and get points." "Games, just no games." Gu Yingying glanced at the time. It was almost 10 o'clock. "Forget it, I'll just play 2 games and then go to bed." Chapter 177, Straight Man Gets Wise. After playing 2 games, it was already past 11 o'clock in the evening. Gu Yingying was a little sleepy, so she said hello to Yi Hui and prepared to log off. At this moment, Li Xin, the character who reads Falling Leaves Knowing Autumn, sent a message to Gu Yingying in the game. "Yingying, why haven't you played games with me recently? Aren't you going to form a couple?" Gu Yingying cursed in her heart. He already has a girlfriend but still comes up to flirt with others. What a scumbag. After taking a deep breath, she replied, "Sorry, I already have a partner." Li Xin replied after more than 10 seconds. "Really?" Gu Yingying probably didn't want to get too entangled with others, so she said directly, "The boy who was in the 3rd row with us before, he is my boyfriend now." Li Xin replied after a long while, "Oh, then if we don't form a couple, we can still play games together, right?" Gu Yingying couldn't stand him anymore, so she confronted him directly. "Don't you have a partner? Why are you still looking for a partner? I saw it all. The other day you said you played games with your sister. You were playing with your partner or girlfriend, right?" "Li Xin, how did you know?" Gu Yingying couldn't help but sneer in her heart. "Want to raise fish? Don't you know who I am? Would I be someone else's fish?" Gu Yingying simply closed the game and stopped chatting with him. On WeChat, Gu Yingying sent a message to Yi Hui. "Why do you always drag me to play games?" Yi Hui, who received the message, was talking about games with Liu Ming. Picking up the phone and taking a look at it, Yi Hui was confused and didn't know how to answer Gu Yingying for a moment. Liu Ming took a look at the message and exclaimed, "Gu Yingying sent you a message. Why didn't you reply?" Yi Hui simply told him the relationship between him and Gu Yingying. After hearing this, Liu Ming was even more shocked. "Oh my God, you two are so destined to meet each other. You can meet like this." After saying that, he thought for a moment. "Then what are you thinking? When a woman asks this question, she probably has some feelings for you in her heart, right? Or she must have some feelings for you. You can't be like a piece of wood and show no reaction, right?" Yi Hui didn't know what he was thinking. "I originally wanted to get some money from my parents. Look, I live on my own now, right? And my monthly allowance has doubled. Last time I went to the mall, my dad transferred 2 million yuan to me. I can use the money to buy what I want or start my own business. Liu Ming, then you don't have any special thoughts about her. After all, you have got to know each other. Now that Gu Yingying is asking you this, she probably wants to know what your attitude towards her is, right? Didn't you always say that playing games with women is a rip-off? Now you often play games together, but I haven't heard you say anything. And just now you actually gave the blue buff to a mage. This would never happen in any of your games. Yi Hui rolled his eyes and said, "As for me, I have been with her for such a long time, and I still have some feelings for her. Sometimes when I see other boys paying attention to her, I feel a little uncomfortable. That's probably it, but I don't think too much about the relationship. I think it's probably because she's my fake girlfriend, so I feel a little uncomfortable if she's approached by other men, so I don't think too much about it." After Yi Hui finished speaking, he grabbed a handful of hair. At this time, on the other end of the phone, Gu Yingying was also getting a little impatient. He sent another message to Yi Hui. "Don't drag me to play games anymore." Yi Hui looked at the message on his phone, handed it to Liu Ming, and asked, "Look, she's not what you thought she was. Now I'm told not to drag her to play games with me in the future. Humph, woman." Liu Ming laughed wildly. "You are a pig. You don't even know when a woman is angry. She must be angry that you responded too slowly, and then she misunderstood you, right? You'd better reply to her quickly, or she might really delete you as a friend later." Liu Ming was amused by Yi Hui's train of thought. "Although she is older than you, she is still a woman. She is very scary when she is angry." Yi Hui couldn't help but ask, "Liu Ming, you've never been in a relationship. How do you know so much about women?" "I don't know if she's really angry, but I really haven't figured out how to answer her." Liu Ming laughed. "Although I am a single dog, although I have never seen a pig run, I have eaten pork. You should reply to her quickly." Yi Hui scratched his hair. "What should I say?" "Liu Ming, say what's on your mind." Yi Hui rolled over on the sofa twice, typed a line of words, and sent it out. "I just feel comfortable playing games with you. I can curse at people when I want to. Sometimes we don't blame anyone when we win or lose a game, and we just move on to the next one. That's why I like playing games with you. Sorry, I haven't figured out how to answer you yet." Gu Yingying looked at the message sent by Yi Hui on her phone and smiled. "Humph, that's natural. Otherwise, why can't I reach the top after playing more than 10,000 games? My fighting spirit has been worn down. Games are just entertainment. Therefore, my mentality is very stable, and I won't get angry just because I lose the game." But I didn't expect that Yi Hui would consider these as advantages. Considering the green tea girl from last time, Gu Yingying couldn't help but wonder, is it true that in Yi Hui's eyes, most girls who play games are scammers? Seeing that Gu Yingying didn't reply, Yi Hui couldn't help but ask Liu Ming, "Did I say something wrong?" Liu Ming glanced at the message sent by Yi Hui. "No, I don't think there is anything wrong. Give me your phone," Liu Ming suddenly said to Yi Hui with a smile. Yi Hui didn't think much about it, and handed the phone directly to Liu Ming. Liu Ming typed a line of words on his phone and sent it. Yi Hui couldn't help but move closer to him and asked curiously, "What did you send?" Liu Ming had no intention of showing it to Yi Hui right now and kept covering his phone. When Gu Yingying received Liu Ming's message, she was stunned. How did this straight guy suddenly come to his senses? How should I answer him? Gu Yingying immediately made a video call to Liu Yina, but Liu Yina did not answer Gu Yingying's video call. After about a minute, Liu Yina called back and asked, "What happened to Yingying?" Just listening to the sound, Liu Yina seemed to be a little out of breath, but Gu Yingying didn't care too much. She asked Liu Yina anxiously, "Nana, Yi Hui just sent me a message saying that he wants to date me. How should I reply to him?" Liu Yina took a breath and asked, "Did he really say that? Then how do you feel about him?" Gu Yingying, "I feel pretty good. Sometimes I feel a little uncomfortable when I see him playing games with other girls." Liu Yina turned to look at Yi Chen beside her and asked, "Yi Hui confessed his love to Yingying. What do you think?" Yi Chen leaned aside and closed his eyes. "My brother has a good personality and has never been in a relationship. If he takes the initiative this time, it is probably because he really likes me." Liu Yina said to the other end of the phone, "Yingying, did you hear it too?" Gu Yingying said shyly, "Oh, what should I do?" Apart from the previous platonic relationship, she hasn't been in a relationship for a long time. For a moment, she didn't know how to make a decision. Chapter 178, Have a Girlfriend. On the one hand, she was also afraid that Yi Hui was not serious about her, and that she would meet a scumbag. Liu Yina naturally knew what her sisters were thinking. "I think if both of you really like each other, you can give it a try. Just like me and Yi Chen, you also know about our relationship. If you don't try, how can you know? I think you should be brave once." As Liu Yina said this, She looked at Yi Chen, who was resting on the side with tenderness on her face. Yes, isn't it a love like the one between her and Yi Chen that many people envy? Gu Yingying listened to Liu Yina's words, and her eyes gradually became firm. Okay, let's give it a try. But he is your younger brother. Liu Yina and Gu Yingying laughed at the last sentence. Gu Yingying, how old are you older than Yi Hui? Only about 1 year older. Isn't sister-brother relationship popular now? Besides, you won't lose anything even if you start a relationship with your brother, right? Gu Yingying was also a little hesitant. But, Liu Yina, don't say but, just agree that you should be in a relationship with the person you like, right? And Yi Hui's family is still okay. Gu Yingying thought about it and finally said, then, let's give it a try. If Liu Yina didn't have this kind of personality, she and Yi Chen probably wouldn't have a chance to be together now. This is what Gu Yingying thought in her heart. Forget it. Let him be a brother. Yi Hui, this handsome boy, is not bad. He is a manly man. Although he is sometimes very straight, he has good character and positive values. His parents also seem to be easy to get along with. When Gu Yingying thought of this, she immediately covered her face and said, oh, what's wrong with me? I'm just in love. Why do I think so far? Nana is right. How can you know if you don't try it? Although Yi Hui is straightforward, he is not stupid. So he quickly realized something was wrong, and immediately rushed over, pushed Liu Ming down, and snatched the phone away. You don't know until you see it, and you'll be shocked when you see it. Seeing only one line of words on it, Yi Hui was so frightened that he broke out in a cold sweat. When Yi Hui looked at the message on his phone, he was so frightened that he almost lost his soul. I only saw a line of text sent on the phone. I think I've fallen in love with you. Would you like to be my girlfriend? Yi Hui yelled, I'm going to go. Why did you send such a message? Liu Ming quickly grabbed the phone and said, aren't you interested in her? I think that girl is also interested in you, so I sent it to her. Just take a look at her reply first. Yi Hui was still in shock. He snatched the phone from Liu Ming's hand and muttered to himself, no, I have to explain to her that this was not sent by me. Liu Ming laughed and looked at Yi Hui, who looked flustered. Why don't you see how she responds to you first? This is not what I sent, it's... While Yi Hui was typing, Gu Yingying's message came. Looking at the message sent by Gu Yingying on the phone, Yi Hui froze in his tracks. That is, she said yes. Yi Hui held the phone with a confused look on his face. Liu Ming also jumped over. Really? I was just playing a prank. So it seems that Gu Yingying is somewhat interested in you. After Gu Yingying sent it, she was still secretly happy in her heart and felt like a young girl in love. Yi Hui stared at his phone in a daze, not knowing how to react for a moment. Do I have a girlfriend? Liu Ming is also happy for his brother. Congratulations, bro. You finally found a girlfriend. Yi Hui stared at the phone for a moment and asked Liu Ming, then how should I chat with her next? What should I say? For a while, he hadn't yet gotten into the role of boyfriend. Liu Ming has never had a girlfriend. Although he has some understanding of dating, he has never put it into practice. A loser like him may never have the chance to fall in love in his life. Liu Ming thought for a moment and said, hey, I've never been in a relationship with anyone. Just chat as you normally would. Why are you asking me? Yi Hui glared at Liu Ming. Oh, it's over, I don't know what to say. Yi Hui thought about it and finally sent a message to Gu Yingying. Let's meet tomorrow. After looking at the phone, Gu Yingying happily put it on her chest and rolled around on the bed. It's over. Is it because I haven't been in love for too long? Everything he says is so sweet. Gu Yingying hugged the quilt and replied, okay. After replying to Yi Hui, Gu Yingying sent another message to Liu Yina. Nana, thank you for giving me courage. Liu Yina glanced at Yi Chen, who was driving, and said with a smile, it would be great if Yi Hui and Yingying really got together. While driving, Yi Chen said, the men in our Yi family are all very loyal. Whether it can be successful depends on the luck of the two people. Liu Yina smiled and looked back at Yingying. As a sister, I also hope that you can meet a partner who cherishes you. Yi Hui is also someone we know, and we know him well. You can rest assured, and so can we. It was around midnight when Yi Chen and Liu Yina returned home. As soon as they entered the house, they heard the babies crying. They knew without listening that it was Dabao's cry. Liu Yi was also nervous now. Why was the child crying? She immediately ran up to the second floor, without even having time to put down her bag. After Yi Chen parked the car, he quickly went upstairs with the milk squeezed by Liu Yina in his hand. However, this milk is not for feeding the baby. Liu Yina said that it will be used to make breast milk soap for bathing the babies, so that the babies can smell the scent of milk every day. When we went upstairs, Liu Yina was already holding Dabao and comforting him. Mother Yi asked Yi Chen in a low voice, Why did you come home so late? The babies missed you. Mother Yi didn't dare to ask Liu Yina, for fear that she would misunderstand. Yi Chen also said in a low voice, I just encountered a situation, Mom, don't ask. Seeing Yi Chen hesitating, he looked at Liu Yina again and glared at Yi Chen. Mother Yi naturally knew what her son had done, but she couldn't say anything in front of so many people. Liu Yina looked embarrassed while comforting him. Mother Liu didn't say anything and just comforted the little darling. The second baby was playing with the ants on the bed. This is how babies are. If one doesn't sleep, none of them can sleep. But luckily, only one of them was crying. The other two didn't cry, they were just woken up. Yi Chen wanted to go over and tease Erbao, but was stopped by Yi's mother. Go take a bath quickly and come back later. Let Nana take a bath and go to bed. Mother Yi saw that Dabao stopped crying after being hugged by Liu Yina, and it seemed that he missed his mother. That's why Yi Chen was asked to take a shower first. Yi Chen looked at the well-behaved babies, nodded, and left the baby room. Chapter 179, Confessing to My Wife. When Yi Chen came out of the shower and walked into the baby's room, Liu Yina just came out. Yi Chen asked in a low voice, Wife, how are the babies? Liu Yina pushed Yi Chen out. The babies are all asleep and now only Auntie is here. Mom is asleep, so let's go back to the room and sleep. Liu Yina took Yi Chen's hand and walked gently back to the room. Back in the room, Yi Chen said, Wife, I have already prepared the water for you. You can go take a shower directly. Liu Yina smiled and said to Yi Chen, Thank you, husband. She stood on tiptoe and kissed Yi Chen on the face. Yi Chen smiled evilly. Wife, do you want to? Liu Yina quickly pushed him away. No, I'll wash it myself. After saying that, he ran into the bathroom as if escaping. Looking at his little wife running away, Yi Chen smiled. After taking a shower and drying her hair, Liu Yina lay down on the bed. She was still mumbling, The babies won't wake up, right? Oh, I'm so tired today. I didn't know that attending a party was so tiring. My waist is sore from sitting so hard. Yi Chen lay sideways beside her, grinning wickedly. Isn't it because my husband is so capable? Liu Yina paused and said, you still have the nerve to say that. You're really going to tire me to death. Yi Chen volunteered, Wife, do you want me to give you a massage? Liu Yina lay down consciously, Be gentle. While Yi Chen was massaging Liu Yina, he asked Liu Yina, Wife, I have something I want to confess to you. It's about my industry. Liu Yina enjoyed it and listened without saying anything. Seeing that Liu Yina didn't say anything, Yi Chen continued, Those industries are real and I have other industries. Telling them may scare you. Liu Yina smiled and said, As long as we don't steal or rob and we get things legally, it's fine. No matter what, we have to be good citizens who abide by the law. As for the rest, I won't care. Liu Yina thinks that as long as it is obtained legally, it is fine, and she will not ask for any notarization of premarital and marital property like other women. Liu Yina felt that it didn't matter. No matter how much money Yi Chen had, it was all earned through his own hard work and had little to do with her. She is Yi Chen's wife now, and she accepts everything about Yi Chen. Yi Chen said, Wife, do you really not want to know what your husband's assets are? Liu Yina closed her eyes and said, If you want to say it, you can say it. If you don't want to, I won't force you. Also, I was shocked by what happened today. My husband is such a successful man. I feel very proud. Husband, you are really amazing. Yi Chen was moved by Liu Yina's words. Thank you, my wife. Then he said, Huachang building is mine. Liu Yina also jumped up directly this time. What did you say? Huachang building is yours. Yi Chen probably expected Liu Yina to be so excited. Yeah, don't get excited. Liu Yina stared at Yi Chen. No wonder my dad rented that place for such a low monthly rent. It turns out this is yours. This is so exciting. How much rent did they collect this year? I'm really shocked. Do your parents know? Yi Chen smiled and replied, I don't know yet and I don't know how to tell them. Yi Chen's next words made Liu Yina unable to sleep that night. I also own shares in Portable Security, probably around 51%. There are also some shopping malls and land. That's about it. Liu Yina was so excited that she didn't know what to say. Husband, please stop talking. If you do this, I might become a spendthrift woman in the future. Yi Chen was also amused by her reaction. Buy whatever you like. The money your husband earns is for you to spend, so don't save money for your husband in the future. You can use this black card. I transferred another 500 million yuan into it. Liu Yina stared at the black card in Yi Chen's hand and shook her head. Husband, you must not do this. I'm really afraid that I can't control myself. She has watched a lot of dramas and novels about overbearing CEOs, but such a plot actually happened to her. For a moment, she didn't know how to respond to the plot. Hubby, I love you so much. After Liu Yina finished speaking, she hugged Yi Chen tightly. Yi Chen also hugged Liu Yina. From now on, you are only allowed to be Yi Chen's spendthrift woman. Liu Yina thought to herself, no one else can give me the opportunity to squander my fortune, who can take out a card worth more than 1 billion at once. Thinking of this, Liu Yina will probably be so excited that she won't be able to sleep tonight. However, she never doubted the source of Yi Chen's industry, because she believed in Yi Chen, believed that what Yi Chen said was true, and believed that Yi Chen would not do anything illegal. That's enough. At this moment, Yi Chen's system rang. Congratulations, host. The special mission has been triggered and the system is now upgrading. Countdown 1%, 2%, 100%. Report to the host, the system upgrade is complete, and the host is rewarded with a system credit card with unlimited limit. This card has only 10 chances and can only be used on family members. Report completed. Yi Chen, who was holding Liu Yina, was also confused at this time. The Universal Card and this system Unlimited Credit Card were all rewards from the system, but he hasn't used them yet. There must be a reason for these system rewards. Just like the Huachang Building, Tingley Hotel, and the June 1st Treasures. Before, they will be used one after another later. But Yi Chen found everything that happened afterwards very strange. He felt that his life trajectory was under the control of the system, and that he was following the system's steps. But then I thought, if I could be a winner in life like I am now, and get everything I want, what would it matter if I followed the steps of the system? The system has no emotions, but people do have emotions. As long as the family is safe and together in good health, nothing else is so important. Chapter 180, Running. Probably because they knew that Liu Yina and Yi Chen were going back to school. The little babies have been sticking to them these past 2 days, babbling and asking Liu Yina and Yi Chen to hold them wherever they go. It is normal for them to stick to their mother because the 3 of them are still breastfeeding. But they are also sticking to their father, Yi Chen. These 3 little ones really don't want to see their parents go to school. But there is no other way. She has to study and get her diploma, and Liu Yina still has her own dreams to pursue. I can only ask the 2 mothers and aunties to take good care of the baby. Yi Hui and Gu Yingying are also trying to get along with each other, but they haven't reached the stage of living together yet. Yi Hui really thought that Gu Yingying was just an ordinary person who was now unemployed, so he felt that he had to take good care of her. This straight guy also searched the internet for a lot of love secrets on the day they got together, just to prepare for the last minute. And Liu Ming, who lived with Yi Hui, was filled with regrets. He shouldn't have been so stupid as to help Yi Hui post these messages. If Yi Hui and Gu Yingying live together, then he will have to make room. He can no longer keep the sofa in the living room. But when his brother found out he was still single, he also blessed him with tears in his eyes. Yi Hui and Gu Yingying met each other and played ranked games together. What touched Gu Yingying the most was that on the first day they met, Yi Hui saw that Gu Yingying was unemployed and directly transferred 52,000 yuan to her. As for other matters, there seemed to be no substantial progress, and Liu Yina also went to school these 2 days. Although she didn't have many classes, Gu Yingying guessed that Liu Yina was very busy. On the first day of school, Yi Chen drove the RV to the school. After parking in a relatively remote parking space, the 2 walked hand in hand towards the school building. Not far away, many students also saw Yi Chen and his friends. Except for the freshmen, all the sophomores and juniors in the school know the name of the school belle Liu Yina. Oh my God, did you see that? Our school beauty is back with her husband. Did you see that car? A Mercedes-Benz RV, it must be worth at least 100, right? I saw the campus beauty and her husband confessing their love to each other on a post on campus. It's really a blessing to marry a wife as beautiful as the campus beauty. If you ask me, it would be a blessing to marry a husband like Yi Chen, right? He has money, good looks, and most importantly, he loves his wife very much. That's why we are so envious of these 2 people together. Yi Chen looked at someone in the distance who was pointing at them and seemed to be saying something. He took Liu Yina's hand and they smiled at each other. The 2 were from different departments. After Yi Chen sent Liu Yina to the classroom, he returned to his own classroom. During this time, he would also send messages to Liu Yina, asking if she was thirsty, hungry, or wanted to eat snacks. Liu Yina felt sweet in her heart and replied to Yi Chen with a smile. I came to the same classroom, but the classmates around me were different. Few people dropped out of school like Liu Yina to get married and have children. In fact, if Liu Yina hadn't been pregnant with triplets, she probably wouldn't have dropped out of school. She is not afraid even if others gossip about her. But there is no way. Raising triplets is really too much trouble. Fortunately, Yi Chen is now with her back to school, and she can continue to pursue her dream. Although everyone doesn't know each other now, Liu Yina doesn't know them, but they know Liu Yina. As for the campus belle of Xiangda University, they were also very happy to communicate with her. But my sissy is back too. But she came back thinking of getting a diploma from Xiangda University, because what she told others about studying abroad was just a trip abroad, and her English was not good. That is to say, she, like Liu Yina, dropped out of school. This person who lost the competition with Liu Yina for the title of school beauty and thus fled overseas, now looks at Liu Yina sitting in front of her and can no longer conceal the viciousness in her eyes. Because of her arrogant and domineering personality, she had no friends in school, and no one even invited her to parties, so no one told Liu Yina about dropping out of school. Of course, she didn't tell anyone else that she was dropping out of school. She just told others that she was going abroad to study. When she returned to school and completed the enrollment process, she learned from others that Liu Yina had also dropped out of school, and that was because of getting married and having a child. For a moment, she was not only glad that Liu Yina got married and had a child before graduation, but she was also angry at the same time. Why did she have to go to school with Liu Yina after dropping out of school for a year? Even if Liu Yina got married and had children, she would never be able to be called the campus belle of Xiangda University. My sissy learned from other students that Liu Yina married Yi Chen, a rich second-generation student from the same school. But she had heard before that Yi Chen's family was about to go bankrupt, and Liu Yina's family also had some money, so she also thought that Yi Chen's family was in trouble and relied on Liu Yina's family. Although my sissy had mentioned Liu Yina to her classmates and asked about Liu Yina's husband Yi Chen, because her classmates did not like her, they did not tell her in detail and just said that he was a rich man. Because my sissy's family is in business and has some money, otherwise she would not have gone abroad to study. She felt that she was from a big city and had always looked down on people like Liu Yina who came from small cities. At the same time, she also felt that Yi Chen's family bankruptcy was not groundless, so she still looked down on Yi Chen. No matter how superior she feels now, she still has to be in the same department as Liu Yina. This is also an unchangeable fact. After Liu Yina replied to Yi Chen with a smile, the female students next to her came over to chat with Liu Yina. Perhaps it was because they saw Liu Yina's friendly expression. The female students were actually happy to play with Liu Yina. Liu Yina only puts on a sour face when facing those who pursue her relentlessly and pester her. After all, she is also a person with a temper. In contrast, my sissy often had a look of disdain and a stinky face, as if to keep strangers away. Not to mention boys, even girls didn't want to sit with her. Everyone stayed away from her, and she sat alone at the back of the classroom. Chapter 180, One First Day of School. In the first period of school, the new students introduced themselves. When my sissy stood up to introduce herself, Liu Yina turned around and looked at her. Liu Yina naturally knew her very well, and when their eyes met, Liu Yina smiled at her. However, my sissy didn't seem to give her face and glared at Liu Yina in front of so many people. Liu Yina ignored her and turned her head away, not looking at her anymore. Now, everyone seemed to know that the relationship between the two was not good. A junior schoolmate next to her asked Liu Yina, "Sister Nana, what happened to this classmate?" Liu Yina just smiled and said, "Nothing, she was my former classmate and she dropped out of school like me." The junior schoolgirl suddenly realized and said, "Oh, really? Did she also drop out of school to get married and have kids?" The junior's words made Liu Yina extremely embarrassed. Liu Yina smiled, "I don't know either." Then the younger sister's words made Liu Yina even more embarrassed. "Sister Nana, I really envy you. You gave birth to triplets at once, 2 boys and 1 girl all at once, and you don't have to suffer this kind of pain in the future. How can you get pregnant with triplets?" Liu Yina closed the book in her hand and said, "In fact, it is more difficult to have triplets than to have 1 child at a time, because the belly is too heavy. Hey, you know how hard it is when you are pregnant with 1, let alone 3 at once. You don't understand it now, but you will understand it when you get married." After seeing Liu Yina's actions, the junior knew that she had asked too much, so she stopped talking about this topic. Although Liu Yina is married and has children, she does not want to talk too much about her pregnancy and childbirth with others because these are her personal matters. After class, Liu Yina walked to the parking lot with her books. When we were halfway there, a man's voice suddenly sounded from behind. "Nana, is that you?" There was clearly a hint of surprise in the man's voice. Liu Yina turned around when she heard the voice and saw the man standing behind her. It turned out to be her former neighbor. "Brother Siyu, why are you here?" Liu Yina recognized the man the moment she saw him. Wen Siyu still smiled gently. "I was also surprised when I saw you, but I have been an English teacher here since last year." Liu Yina quickly walked up to him and said, "Brother Siyu, I never thought you would become a university teacher. I am so surprised to meet you here." Wen Siyu had some unclear emotions in his eyes. "Me too. I thought I would meet you here last year, but I didn't expect you to get married and have children so soon." Liu Yina also laughed. "Hey, brother, don't laugh at me. I actually got married earlier than you. I didn't expect it either." Wen Siyu looked around and asked, "I heard that your husband is from the same school as you. Why didn't he come to see you?" Liu Yina smiled innocently. "He's waiting for me in the car. By the way, I haven't heard from you since you moved away. Where have you been?" Wen Siyu's expression darkened. "My family all immigrated and I followed them, but now I'm back." Liu Yina also smiled and said, "But you did leave in a hurry at the time, and we didn't leave any contact information or anything." Wen Siyu was about to say something when he was suddenly interrupted by a man's voice. "Wife, you are here." When Liu Yina heard the voice, she turned around and ran towards Yi Chen with a smile. "Husband, why did you come to pick me up?" Yi Chen smiled and took Liu Yina's hand generously. "Husband, I saw that you were nowhere to be seen after class, so I came here to find you." Yi Chen glanced at Wen Siyu behind Liu Yina and asked, "Who is this?" Liu Yina excitedly introduced Yi Chen. "This is my former neighbor in Yuncheng. His last name is Wen and his name is Siyu. Brother Siyu, this is my husband, Yi Chen." Liu Yina introduced Wen Siyu and Yi Chen to each other. Yi Chen and Wen Siyu both extended their right hands and shook hands in greeting. "Hello, hello." Liu Yina smiled and said, "Now Brother Siyu has become a teacher in our school. From now on, when I see him, I have to call him Teacher Wen." After saying that, Liu Yina also looked at the two of them with a smile. Wen Siyu said, "Nana, you can always call me Brother Siyu." Hearing this, Yi Chen couldn't help but look at Wen Siyu more and think more in his heart. It seems that Wen Siyu is also a fanatic of his wife. You know, one of the reasons why he chose to drop out of school at the same time as Liu Yina was because Liu Yina was so cute, so he went to school with her. He must protect his wife well. At the same time, he also cuts off other men's thoughts. Seeing Yi Chen looking at him with a scrutinizing gaze, Wen Siyu felt a little unnatural. He said to Liu Yina, "Since your husband is here, I won't bother you any more and will leave first." After saying that, Wen Siyu walked away alone and dejectedly. At least that's what he thought in his heart. Yi Chen looked at Wen Siyu's back and also pulled Liu Yina away. Liu Yina whispered to Yi Chen, "Husband, would you dislike me calling him brother?" Yi Chen pretended to be a little angry and said, "Of course I don't like him. From now on, you should call him Teacher Wen. It would be better if he could be mad to death. Anyway, Yi Chen just doesn't like his wife calling other men brother." Yi Chen whispered in Liu Yina's ear, "Why don't you call me Brother Chen? Calling Siyu brother is so easy, why don't you call me Brother Chen?" Liu Yina hit Yi Chen's chest and said, "I've been calling him that since we were kids, so I should call him Teacher Wen or Brother Wen from now on." Yi Chen shook his head. "No, just call Teacher Wen. Come on, call me Brother Chen." Yi Chen kissed Liu Yina. Liu Yina looked around. Fortunately, the corridor here was relatively remote and no one saw her. "Brother Chen." Liu Yina also kissed Yi Chen on the face. Yi Chen leaned forward and said, "Call me Brother Chen more often otherwise." Liu Yina couldn't do anything about him. "Brother Chen." She changed her tone again. "Brother Chen." Yi Chen put his arm around Liu Yina's shoulders and whispered in her ear, "Don't play with fire." Liu Yina was so scared that she quickly shut up. She also believed that Yi Chen could do anything. Back in the RV, Yi Chen took out the breast pump and handed it to Liu Yina and said, "Do you need help?" Liu Yina took it and said with a smile, "Of course you want to, but sorry, no need." Yi Chen thought that he had nothing to do in the afternoon, so he decided to go home early. Chapter 180, Two Other People's Husbands Are Really Nice. "Honey, are you free this afternoon?" "It's the first day of college. I have nothing to do this afternoon." Liu Yina turned her back and squeezed in while saying, "I'm fine too. Why don't we go home?" Yi Chen said, "It's a rare day out today. Why don't you go out for a meal, then go shopping or something before going home?" Liu Yina thought about it, nodded, and continued to milk. In fact, Yi Chen also noticed that Liu Yina was not wearing a wedding ring on her hand. So now he really couldn't help it. "Wife, why don't you wear your wedding ring?" Liu Yina paused, smiled, and said, "Honey, I didn't mean not to wear it. I just think the diamond in the wedding ring is too big. It doesn't seem right to wear it to school." After hearing this, Yi Chen didn't say anything. After thinking about it, he said, That's true. Let's go buy a smaller one after we finish eating. Liu Yina seemed to hear some unhappiness in Yi Chen's tone, so she agreed. Yi Chen waited for Liu Yina to put the milk in the refrigerator, then drove her to the financial street. There is a Harry Winston Diamond brand store there. Hearing that it is good, Yi Chen decided to take Liu Yina there to have a look and buy if suitable. After dinner, he brought Liu Yina to the store. The sales staff in the store also received the two of them very warmly. "Hello, sir, how can I help you? Please come over here and take a look. The diamonds we have here are all colorless and rare diamonds with nearly flawless clarity. You can come over here and take a look at these diamond rings." The female salesperson probably saw the two young people coming in and thought they also wanted to buy wedding rings. So she promoted the diamond rings here to Yi Chen and Liu Yina. Yi Chen said, "I want to buy the best diamond ring for my wife, so I'll take out the best one you have, but it shouldn't be too big, because it's not convenient to wear it every day and it's too conspicuous." The female salesperson's eyes immediately lit up. Having received so many wealthy people, she naturally understood. So he walked in, called the manager, and took out the best diamond ring in the store. "Sir, please look. The clarity of this diamond ring is F grade." Yi Chen had just searched and found that the F class was not the best. He waved his hand at the salesperson and said, "I don't care how much money you pay, but you have to bring out the best here." The female salesperson held a 1-carat diamond worth more than 1 million in her hand and looked at the manager. The manager said, "Sir, don't worry. I will go to the safe and take out the best loose diamonds for you to look at. You can take a look first." Having said that, he walked into the inner room. Yi Chen asked the saleswoman, "How many carats is this?" "Sir, this is 1 carat." The female salesperson carefully held up the diamond ring and introduced it. Liu Yina took the diamond ring from the saleswoman, put it on her hand, and looked at it. "Honey, I think this one is pretty good, right?" Yi Chen, "Then buy it." Liu Yina smiled and said, "Then let's go home after shopping." Yi Chen said, "Don't worry, this 1 million is just a small thing. If you want to buy it and wear it often, you must buy a good one, and there will be more choices for different occasions, right?" The female salesperson at the side was also very surprised when she heard this. Normally, even if a rich man wanted to do this, he would just look at the woman and see if she liked him and then just give her the money. She has been working here for so long, but this is the first time she has met a man like this. Other people's husbands are so nice. At this moment, Liu Yina's cell phone rang. It was Gu Yingying calling. "Hey, Nana, where are you?" Gu Yingying's voice was so loud that even Yi Chen, who was standing beside her, could hear it. Liu Yina put the phone away and waited until Gu Yingying finished speaking before taking it back. "Yingying, how come you still can't change your habit of talking loudly even though you're in a relationship? I'm afraid Yi Hui's eardrums will be pierced by your shouting." Gu Yingying was also stunned. Although she usually spoke loudly, it was not that loud, right? She didn't notice these things. "I don't know, Yi Hui." "Oh, never mind. Where are you now? I just saw that bad woman, my sissy, is back. Is she in class with you?" Liu Yina said, "Yes, I saw her today, but we didn't talk to each other." Gu Yingying said with contempt, "Look at how proud she is. She is just going abroad to study. Why is she so cocky?" Gu Yingying and Liu Yina naturally knew what kind of person my sissy was. But Gu Yingying was a person who would say whatever she thought, so naturally she would not be as easy to talk to as Liu Yina. Gu Yingying suddenly changed the subject and her tone. "Deng Jai called me." Hearing this, Liu Yina was also stunned and asked, "When? Why didn't she call me?" Gu Yingying, "Just now she said she was going out with a few people from our dormitory. I don't know how she has been doing recently. She may be afraid to face you. I don't know. You can ask her when you meet." Liu Yina, "When will we get together?" Gu Yingying, "It's tonight, so I called to ask you." Liu Yina, "Okay, I'll go. Send me the location when the time comes." Gu Yingying exhaled. "Then I'll call her back first." Yi Chen asked Liu Yina, "Wife, what's wrong? I see you suddenly became unhappy after answering Gu Yingying's call." Liu Yina didn't intend to hide it from Yi Chen. "A classmate of mine from college said that she wanted to get together with a few good sisters in the dormitory. She found out that she was pregnant in the 2nd semester of her sophomore year, and then she wanted to go back to her hometown to get married with that guy. I advised her to continue studying, and she could hold a wedding banquet during the holidays or take a leave of absence, and I analyzed and solved various problems for her. She sighed. I don't know what happened afterwards. She seemed to have dropped out of school. Her phone was turned off when I called her, and she didn't reply to my WeChat messages. After the winter break, she just disappeared and never came back to school. If it's a good outcome, I should marry that man and have children. If it's not good, I dare not imagine it. After all, not everyone is as lucky as me." Yi Chen also agreed very much. Yes, not all men are as responsible as me. Liu Yina was originally in a depressed mood, but she was amused when she saw Yi Chen bragging like this. At this time, the manager finally came back. Sir, we have a 2.5-carat loose diamond here that is the most flawless grade. It is also the only one in our company at the moment. It needs to be custom made, so it may take a little longer. Yi Chen asked, 2.5 carats, it's a little small, can it be expedited? The manager was also yelling at the boss in his heart, but he still said respectfully on his face, Of course I can, but I don't know when you will get it. Because our company's craftsmen just came to the flagship store for inspection, so they can be made in the next few days. Do you want to place an order? Yi Chen asked. I want it tonight. Is it okay to place the order immediately? Female salesperson, don't you want to ask the price? This is a diamond worth nearly 10 million, not even the labor cost, and it's a diamond ring made by a famous designer. The manager was also shocked by Yi Chen's generosity. Okay. As long as he's here, there's still so much time left before nightfall, he can definitely help you get everything done. Yi Chen, okay, swipe the card. Chapter 183, The Baby Changes Every Day. Yi Chen didn't even ask the price, he just said, Swipe the card. At this moment, the saleswoman exclaimed in her heart, The boss is worthy of being the boss. Even the manager, who had seen a lot of the world, felt that Yi Chen was truly magnanimous at this moment. The manager took the banknote with a smile and said, Hello, sir. This order plus the labor cost is 120 million. Yi Chen waved his hand, swish. After swiping the card, the system rang. Beep, congratulations to the host for completing the first task after upgrading the system. The system will return the 12 million spent 10 times and give away 5 extra elixirs. Attention, taking the elixir can repair diseased cells in the body and even cure cancer. Special reminder. The elixir has no effect when the body is healthy, so please decide how to use it by yourself. The elixir has been placed in the system space. The host can take it out when needed. Oh my God! What kind of miracle medicine is this? Even cancer can be cured. Doesn't that mean that the dead can be brought back to life? Is it that awesome? This must be put to good use. However, it can only be used when the body is damaged. I wonder if the system has any magic medicine that can strengthen the body. Yes, if eating it can prevent diseases when you are in good health, then it is better than getting sick and then curing it. Yi Chen was not interested in money, but was very interested in this elixir. Both the manager and the saleswoman were overjoyed and kept flattering him. After swiping the card, the manager and the female salesperson stood at the door and saw Yi Chen and Liu Yina off. Farewell, Mr. and Mrs. Yi. Please take care. The saleswoman looked at Yi Chen and Liu Yina's backs as they left and exclaimed softly, Oh my God, I wish I had a husband who would spend a fortune on me like this. He didn't even see a diamond and he just swiped his card to make the deal. Oh my God, when will such a good thing happen to me? Not 10 million, 10,000, no, 1,000 will do. After all, for women, what's important is a man's attitude, not how much money he makes. The manager glared at her unhappily. What are you doing daydreaming during work hours? Hurry up and get to work. The saleswoman was instantly discouraged. Okay. After that, she whispered, just think about it. Yi Chen took Liu Yina back to the car. Nana, it's only a little after 3 o'clock now. Let's go back home to see the babies first. The babies are now 4 months old and have slowly begun to recognize people. Sometimes when they say Dad and Mom, they will involuntarily look at Yi Chen and Liu Yina. Although they are small, they are also very smart. Liu Yina and Yi Chen have been out for such a long time, so naturally they miss their baby at home. When we got home, the baby had finished his feeding. Mother Liu, Mother Yi, and the aunts were pushing the baby for a walk in the garden. The 3 little ones were lying in the stroller, letting themselves be pushed, but this one was turning its head around, full of curiosity about everything around it. Babies grow really fast, they look different every day. Seeing Yi Chen and Liu Yina coming back, the little babies excitedly raised their hands and asked for hugs. What a little devil! Yi Chen stretched out his hand to Dabo and said, Call me Daddy. If you don't, I won't hug you. Liu Yina pushed Yi Chen aside and said with a smile, Husband, what are you thinking? How old is the baby? If you ask him to call Daddy, aren't you embarrassing the baby? Baby crying. After Liu Yina finished speaking, Dabo pouted and was about to cry. Yi Chen quickly picked Dabo up and said, Don't cry, Dabo. Daddy is just teasing you. But when you call Daddy in the future, you must call him first. Otherwise, it's very rude, understand. Dabo seemed to see Yi Chen holding him up, and his pouting lips instantly let out 2 ah-ah sounds, as if he really understood. Mother Yi and Mother Liu looked at them and smiled. I guess Yi Chen really wants the babies to learn to walk right away. After saying that, everyone started laughing. Liu Yina also laughed at Yi Chen. When they were still young, I looked forward to them growing up. When they grew up, I thought it was more fun when they were still young. Yi Chen didn't think so. Of course it's fun to grow up, right? Look at the babies now, they are so soft. I'm really afraid that I might pinch their bones if I use a little force. Yi Chen gently held Dabao in the palm of his hand. Seeing his mother holding the baby upright, he began to educate his mother. Mom, how can you hold the child like this? The child's neck doesn't have much strength yet. You will damage the child's neck and spine if you hold him like this. It's better for him to hold him like I do. Liu Yina was about to say it, but she just thought in her heart that after all, as a daughter-in-law, she would not be embarrassed to speak so bluntly about her mother-in-law, right? So, after she thought about it, she finally didn't say it. Unexpectedly, Yi Chen brought up this matter and talked about Yi's mother. Mother Yi also replied, how can you be so hypocritical? When you were little, didn't your mother hold you like this? Yi Chen also shook his head and said, Mom, although the child can lift his head and turn over but scientific feeding, do you understand science? Mother Liu also smiled and said, you want to give your baby some good exercise, right? Mother Yi smiled and said, okay, I know I was wrong. Don't follow my example and hug me like this in the future. Mother Yi is not an unreasonable person. When she saw that her own behavior was incorrect, she corrected it immediately. When Yi Chen was born, his mother seldom hugged him. Now more than 20 years have passed, and she herself probably has forgotten it. When the other two babies saw Yi Chen holding Dabao, they also babbled and asked Yi Chen and Liu Yina to hold them. Liu Yina also picked up Zaira Gueguai. Yi Chen sat on a chair beside him and brought Erbao over with him. However, it seemed that Dabao wanted Liu Yina to hold him more. Even in Yi Chen's arms, he still stretched out his two little hands towards Liu Yina. Liu Yina looked at this situation and couldn't help but smile. Dabao, can mommy hold your sister first? Can I hold you later? Dabao seemed to understand, and his babbling voice suddenly became a little higher. Everyone laughed along. Such a young baby, I wonder if he really understood it. Yi Chen was holding Dabao and Erbao, while Liu Yina was holding Zaira Gueguai, and they sat aside. Mother Liu quickly took out her cell phone and took a picture of them. Come on, Nana, Yi Chen. Mommy is here to take a picture of you, everyone smile. When they heard this, the three little babies actually laughed. You say they understood, right? They still made noise when they should have. You say they didn't understand, but they still laughed when you asked them to laugh. Chapter 184, I'm jealous. As for children, it's better to just keep them for fun when they are young. But when they grow up and need help with their homework, I guess it would be very frustrating if three of them came together. But Yi Chen and the others didn't have such awareness. At this moment, Yi Chen's system also rang. Congratulations to the host. 2 tasks have been triggered in one day. According to the host's wish list, the system has sent a magical potion that can strengthen the body. The total is 100 ml. It is worth noting that this potion can only be dissolved in water and cannot be used directly. Moreover, the effect of 1 drop is very significant. Now it has been placed in the system space for the host. When needed, it can be taken out at any time. Yi Chen couldn't help but exclaim in his heart, OMG! It turns out that the system is not mechanical. System, then I leave. The system is indeed an intelligent system. After being upgraded, it will determine the prizes based on the host's needs. Yi Chen held the 2 babies in his arms. Seeing how well behaved they were, he was so happy that he almost jumped up. At this time, Mother Yi and Mother Liu yawned and said, seeing you guys are back, let's go take a nap first. Seeing his parents taking care of the baby personally every day and not even getting enough sleep, Yi Chen was a little touched. I have to put some of the magic potion in the tea later and let my parents drink it. This way they can stay healthy and won't get sick. This is what Yi Chen thought in his heart. Yes, although the family has hired several aunties, they also work in shifts, so at night, Mother Yi and Mother Liu also have to lend a hand. Otherwise, they really won't be able to take good care of the 3 little babies. Liu Yina is now considering slowly stopping breastfeeding and will try to stop breastfeeding after about 6 months. She has not had a full night's sleep since giving birth. Liu Yina said to Mother Liu and Mother Yi, Mom, you guys should go to bed. Auntie and we are here. Mother Yi and Mother Liu waved their hands. Then I'll leave this to you. Liu Yina said, Mom, Yi Chen and I are going out tonight. I'm going to a party. Mother Liu couldn't help but ask, didn't we get together before? Why are we having another gathering? Mom, this time it's just a gathering of good sisters. It's not a large-scale party, Liu Yina explained to her mother. Mother Liu also nodded. Then you should come back earlier. The child is older now and he really clings to you. Sometimes we can't coax him well and he will only go to sleep when we see you come back. Mother Yi also said, yes, now the baby is getting older. As the child grows up, he still needs his parents to be around so that the child can have enough sense of security. In the past, no matter how busy we were at work, we would still go home early at night. It's not that we don't allow you to go out and play, but we think the children really need your company. There may be more gatherings like this in the future, so it's better to go home early. Mother Yi also didn't want them to go home after 12 o'clock like last time. Although she didn't say it clearly, Yi Chen and Liu Yina understood it. Liu Yina said, Moms, we got it. We will never go home later than 10:30 in the future. We will also spend more time with our baby. Yi Chen also smiled and nodded. Mother Liu and Mother Yi went back to the house together. As old people, they don't like young people partying every night, so it's a good thing for them to go home early. This is also helpful for establishing a good parent-child relationship with the children, and the children seem to have begun to realize that Yi Chen and Liu Yina are their parents. Yi Chen and Liu Yina finally listened to the words of the two mothers. They were already other people's parents, and they certainly couldn't go home whenever they wanted like before, because now there were 3 little ones waiting for them at home. Liu Yina also sighed. What the two mothers just said really makes sense. We really have to focus on family in the future. Yi Chen also nodded. Yes, I will never take you out to mess around again. Liu Yina's face flushed instantly. She glanced at the ants beside her and patted Yi Chen's thigh again. Don't talk nonsense. At about 5 o'clock in the afternoon, Liu Yina received a message on her phone. Nana, gather at the Starbucks on the Financial Street at 6:30. Come early. I need to ask Deng Jai where she has been for the past 2 years. Liu Yina replied, don't be impulsive, ask nicely. Gu Yingying, I know I still know my limits. At this time, Liu Yina received a message from a stranger adding her as a friend on WeChat. The note reads, Brother, see you. Liu Yina was also surprised and immediately clicked to add a friend. I immediately sent a WeChat message. Teacher Wen, how did you add me on WeChat? Wen Siyu was stunned when he saw the message from Liu Yina. Teacher Wen. After a long while, he replied, I found it in the school address book. I am your senior year English teacher. Yi Chen and Liu Yina had also returned to the room at this time. Seeing Liu Yina chatting on her mobile phone, which was so rare, they also came over to take a look. After all, his wife is so beautiful. There must be a lot of people around him who like him. Seeing that Liu Yina sent a message to someone named Teacher Wen, he asked, Hey, you came to my house so soon. When saying this, Yi Chen's tone was a little sour. At this moment, Yi Chen felt that the lemon was not as sour as he felt right now. They grew up together, so maybe in that man's eyes. He has already regarded Liu Yina as his childhood sweetheart. It's over. Is this guy trying to create a sentimental persona for himself? No, you have to keep an eye on your wife. However, even if Liu Yina didn't have such thoughts, Yi Chen felt very unhappy with Wen Siyu. Seeing Yi Chen coming over, Liu Yina also confessed. This is C. Teacher Wen added me as a WeChat friend. He is now our senior English teacher, so he saw my number and added me. Yi Chen nodded. Then we must call him Teacher Wen when we meet in the future. Then he asked, how many years older is Teacher Wen than us? How come you're a teacher at such a young age? Liu Yina also answered truthfully. He should be about 4 or 5 years older than us. I don't know. When we were playing together, I didn't pay much attention to him. In my impression, he was like an older brother. Yi Chen, who was jealous, also made a mistake. Oh. Liu Yina suddenly turned her head and looked at Yi Chen, smiling mysteriously. Husband, are you jealous? Yi Chen glanced at his stunning wife beside him. My wife is so beautiful, I don't know how many people are secretly coveting her. Okay, I admit that I am jealous, and I will contact him less in the future. Chapter 185. Yi Hui has a dual personality. In the end, Yi Chen naturally confessed directly. Liu Yina almost died of laughter when she heard Yi Chen's last words. Husband, you are so cute. Don't worry, I know I will pay attention in the future. I am a married woman now, and I will never do anything to let you down. Yi Chen said very domineeringly. No matter if it's something to be sorry about or not, don't contact me anymore. Liu Yina, okay. I promise you, husband, let's go out for the party now, but you need to wait for me outside because we are a party for several girls, not like last time. After hearing Liu Yina's assurance, Yi Chen nodded. It is natural to wait for my wife, so there is no problem. It's not that Yi Chen is not confident about Wen Siyu's affairs. He is just afraid that Liu Yina will talk to him too much and give others too much imagination. which is not a good thing for either him or Liu Yina. Even if Liu Yina simply regarded him as the older brother next door, who knows what others think. As the saying goes, one should always be on guard against others. Yi Chen glanced at the innocent Liu Yina and quickly hugged her. Liu Yina also hugged her husband tightly and did not reply to Wen's see you. The two of them arrived at the Starbucks in Financial Street half an hour in advance, where they saw Gu Yingying at first sight. Apparently, the others hadn't arrived yet. Gu Yingying was also waiting anxiously. She was also an impatient person. Seeing Liu Yina coming, he quickly walked to the door of the store and pulled Liu Yina back to his seat. Nana, you're here so early too. Liu Yina, I knew you would come early, so I came early too. After a pause, he asked, is Xiao Jai not here yet? Although they only spent 2 years with Deng Jai, the sisterhood among the three of them is the deepest. They have been together since their freshman year. Over the past 2 years, they have been good sisters who support each other and are sincere and genuine. They are not like those others who are hypocritical. Gu Yingying, no, I haven't arrived yet. I arrived 10 minutes earlier than you. I wanted to meet her and talk to her earlier. I just called her. Liu Yina, did she say when she would arrive? Gu Yingying glanced at the store entrance. They said they were on the way. Yi Chen also sat down. Gu Yingying seemed to remember something. Brother Yi Chen, Yi Hui is your cousin. You should know him a little bit, right? Yi Chen naturally knew that Gu Yingying was in a relationship with Yi Hui, so he asked with a smile, what's wrong? Did Yi Hui bully you? Gu Yingying, I actually want him to bully me. Gu Yingying shook her head and said, I feel that when we are together, he is very straight, but after we go home, he becomes very caring. Is he a split personality? Yi Chen frowned and said immediately, no way, although he is usually a bit straight, he doesn't have a split personality, right? I haven't heard that he has any problems with his personality. Yi Chen was also very puzzled. There was indeed no problem. Gu Yingying also couldn't understand why they had 2 different faces after they were together, and then separated and went home. Liu Yina gave Gu Yingying some advice. Why don't you just ask him directly? It's like you're just guessing here by yourself. Gu Yingying said dejectedly, we've only been dating for a few days, and I just think he's a little weird. If he really has a split personality, then I'll definitely accept it. Liu Yina, don't let your imagination run wild here. I think the most important thing for 2 people to be together is to be honest with each other, right? Yi Hui is a man, so naturally he thinks differently from women. Although you haven't been in love much, these are what people who have experienced it have told you, so just ask him directly. Gu Yingying has no experience in love after all. Although she has a carefree personality, she is also a girl who observes carefully. She sometimes worries about her own feelings. When in love, men and women naturally think differently. Women are emotional, while men are relatively rational. However, this does not include the fact that some boys become more emotional than girls after falling in love. After listening to the analysis of the 2 love experts, Gu Yingying decided that she would ask Yi Hui clearly after he came to pick her up. Just as the 2 girls were chatting, a familiar female voice came from behind them. Yingying Nana, why are you here so early? Hearing the sound, Gu Yingying and Liu Yina quickly turned their heads to look in the direction of the sound. Xiao Jai, you're here, Gu Yingying and Liu Yina exclaimed. I saw a pretty girl standing in the direction of the sound. Long time no see. Deng Jai said this while looking at Yi Chen, who was sitting opposite Gu Yingying and Liu Yina. Liu Yina quickly introduced Deng Jai. Xiao Jai, this is my husband, Yi Chen. Yi Chen, this is what I told you, my good sister, Deng Jai. Yi Chen, hello. Hello, Deng Jai also greeted Yi Chen. After the 2 greeted each other, there was not much communication. Liu Yina and Gu Yingying pulled Deng Jai to sit down with them. Gu Yingying asked, Xiao Jai, where have you been these years? Why did you suddenly disappear from my news? Deng Jai pursed her lips, as if she had something to hide. Seeing that Deng Jai didn't say anything, Liu Yina became anxious. Xiao Jai, have you encountered any problems? If it's about money, we can help you, don't worry. Deng Jai's eyes were a little moist. She was grateful for the words from her 2 good sisters from college, but she was also a woman of integrity. Thank you, but my problem can be said to be related to money, or it can be said to be unrelated. Liu Yina and Gu Yingying continued to listen, but Deng Jai looked at Yi Chen, as if she didn't want to tell her predicament in front of outsiders. Liu Yina followed her line of sight, looked at Yi Chen and said, Hubby, go for a walk outside first. I'll call you after the party. Yi Chen glanced at the 3 women in front of him, and seemed to feel that he was indeed a bit of an eyesore here. Okay, I'll walk around here first and call me when you're ready. Yi Chen naturally didn't want to be a man surrounded by women. He hadn't reached the point of being so gossipy. but if Liu Yina wanted to tell him something, he would be happy to listen. After Yi Chen greeted them, he left. After Deng Jai saw Yi Chen leave, tears instantly rolled down her eyes, and she could no longer hold back the pain that had been suppressed in her heart. Gu Yingying and Liu Yina quickly comforted her, handing her tissues and patting her back. Chapter 186, Deng Jai's Experience. Deng Jai dared to cry only after she saw Yi Chen walking away. Gu Yingying and Liu Yina quickly comforted her and asked, "What's wrong? Why are you crying all of a sudden? Tell us what you have to say. Don't keep it all in your heart, silly Zioji." Seeing that Deng Jai was so difficult to love, Gu Yingying also felt uncomfortable. Deng Jai cried for a minute or two and slowly calmed down. He said to Gu Yingying and Liu Yina, "I'm sorry, please forgive me for leaving without saying goodbye. I also have a lot of pain that I can't express. Actually, I dropped out of school because of my dad. He was so angry about my unmarried pregnancy that he had a stroke. Thanks to timely medical treatment, he was able to survive. But ever since the stroke, he has been confined to a wheelchair. But my so-called boyfriend disappeared at that time. He blocked my phone calls and WeChat. Even if I called him from someone else's phone, he would not answer. I had no choice but to listen to my mother and abort the child. Although I was reluctant, I couldn't afford to raise the child." When Gu Yingying heard this, she was so angry that she wanted to hit someone. "It's outrageous. How dare you treat our Zio Jai like this? Tell me, who is that man? I'll kill him." Deng Jai wanted to cry whenever she thought of this man. No matter how strong she pretended to be in front of others, all she had left was hatred for that man. This man is so irresponsible. Liu Yina was also very angry. Deng Jai sighed, "Let the past be the past. I will only live for myself from now on. After my father became paralyzed, the family lost its pillar. Besides, it cost a lot of money to save him, and the rehabilitation he did later has used up all the family savings. My family used to rely on my dad to make money, but now he can't work anymore, and I can't go to school. I can only find jobs that pay 2,000 to 3,000 yuan in my hometown because I don't have a degree. So I came back to Xiancheng now, just to find a more stable job with a higher salary. I want to take my father to the best hospital for a checkup. But you know, with my lack of college education, I may not be able to find a good job here, but it's still much better than back home." Gu Yingying and Liu Yina listened quietly to Deng Jai's story. Gu Yingying jumped up immediately. "You are so stupid. If you need money urgently, you can ask us. We can lend you money no matter what. You don't have to pay it back in a hurry." Liu Yina also said, "Yeah, why didn't you tell us? You are so stupid. We thought you were going home with that man to get married. We never thought that such a big change would happen in your family." Deng Jai choked up and said, I was totally lost at the time, and the man disappeared, but I had no choice but to listen to my parents and abort the child. My mother could only work odd jobs, and now I have to take care of my father and take him to see a doctor. I really can't even go to school because I can't afford the tuition." Liu Yina also sighed. Yes, Deng Jai was just a little girl of 18 or 19 at the time. It was inevitable that she was panicked when such a thing happened to her family suddenly, and her boyfriend disappeared. Liu Yina comforted Deng Jai and said, "What should we do now? Even ordinary employees here have to graduate from a junior college. You only have a high school degree now, so you really can't find a good job. I think you can try to take the adult college entrance examination and study again. It will be easier to get things done if you have a degree." Deng Jai also quickly said, "I want to take care of my father first, at least let him take care of himself. Then I don't have many requirements for the job. As long as the food and accommodation are provided and the salary is more than 10,000 yuan, even if it means serving dishes, I am willing to do it." However, in Xiancheng, even waiters and dishwashers only earn about 6,000 to 7,000 yuan, and they also have to provide food and accommodation, which makes the job even more difficult. Gu Yingying suddenly thought of her father. "How about I go back and ask my dad for you to see if my dad's company or his friend's company is hiring? My dad arranged a job for me before. It's with his friend. The salary is pretty good." She also didn't dare to talk about the salary because it was Gu Yingying's father who paid her. As for how much other employees earned, she didn't know. However, now she remembered that she had to go to work, and she still had to tell her parents about it in a few days. Now she is living on the money that Yi Hui transferred to her, so this is obviously not feasible. In addition, although Yi Hui's family gave him money, she is a graduate after all. If she does not go out to work and instead relies on her parents at home, it will not give a good impression to others. After hearing this, Deng Jai nodded and said, "This is the only way now. Please, Yingying." Gu Yingying, "Silly, stop crying. This is all we can do to help you. If you don't have money, you can ask us to borrow it, okay? It's not too late to pay you back when you have money. Liu Yina asked with concern, "Where do you live now?" Deng Jai replied, "I am living in a small hotel now, so I need to find a job as soon as possible." Gu Yingying couldn't help but be surprised. "What did you say? You actually stayed in a small hotel without calling us?" "My parents kicked me out and I have to rent a house outside. Tonight, pack your things and come to stay with me. Don't stay in those small hotels anymore." Gu Yingying didn't dare to say in front of Deng Jai that those small hotels were dirty, for fear of hurting Deng Jai's self-esteem. It's miserable enough for a person to have no relatives or friends, and no money in Xiangcheng. After hearing this, Deng Jai asked, "Do you live alone?" "Probably because I heard from other sisters that Gu Yingying had a boyfriend, so I confirmed it." Gu Yingying, "Of course, you must have known from other people that I have a boyfriend, but he and I haven't reached that stage yet, so you can stay here without worry." Deng Jai said, "Will it be inconvenient? You know I'm a person who is afraid of trouble." Gu Yingying, "No, don't worry." Liu Yina also persuaded. "Xiao Jai, just agree to it. We are also worried about you living in a small hotel alone." Deng Jai hesitated for a moment and said, "Okay." Gu Yingying and Liu Yina finally breathed a sigh of relief. At this time, Liao Mini also came. When Liao Mini saw Liu Yina, Gu Yingying, Deng Jai, and others, she couldn't help but walk quickly up to them. "Huh, you guys are here too." Gu Yingying was also stunned when she saw Liao Mini. She was worried about meeting Liao Mini at previous class reunions. Because Liao Mini had had a crush on Yi Hui at Liu Yina's wedding, and now that she has become Yi Hui's girlfriend, she is also worried that Liao Mini will think too much. Chapter 187. Don't worry, we are here. However, facts proved that Gu Yingying's worries were unnecessary. Liu Yina and Deng Jai also greeted Liao Mini. After Liao Mini greeted everyone, when Liao Mini saw Gu Yingying, she didn't feel embarrassed like Gu Yingying. Instead, she sat next to Gu Yingying and said, "I heard that you and Yi Hui are together. You were in contact with Yi Hui before Nana's wedding, right?" Gu Yingying also said softly, "Yes, yes." Liao Mini also said, "You don't have to be too nervous. There is nothing wrong between him and me. I just thought he was handsome at the time, so I had a little crush on him. At that time, his mother told me that he had a girlfriend, so I didn't look for him anymore." Liu Yina also asked, "Is there such a thing? I didn't even know about it." Liao Mini said, "Yes, but we didn't talk much about these things. Now that you are together, I will definitely send you my blessings." Gu Yingying nodded, "Thank you." Gu Yingying also felt emotional, realizing that she had been overthinking. Liao Mini smiled and said, "Why thank you? We are good sisters. By the way, Deng Jai, you disappeared after your sophomore year. Where did you go?" Deng Jai also responded to Liao Mini's question in a low voice. "My dad is sick, and I have to take care of him, so I didn't go to school." Liao Mini also sighed. "So that's the case, what are you going to do now?" Liao Mini, naturally, didn't dare to ask any other questions. Deng Jai said, "Let's find a job first and then make plans." Liao Mini nodded and didn't say anything more. After all, she had just graduated and had no business helping Deng Jai, so she simply stopped talking. Just when everyone was silent, another roommate came quickly. "Sorry, I'm late." As she said this, she took off her bag and sat opposite Gu Yingying and the others. "Oh, I didn't expect you guys to arrive so early. I also called a few friends from the same department. Do you mind?" Deng Jai paused. She really didn't expect this, because she just wanted to invite a few roommates to come out and get together, because they had a lot of fun. But she never thought that she would call other people in the class. Seeing that everyone was silent, the roommate explained, "I was thinking that it took Deng Jai so long to contact us. She didn't attend the last class party, so I thought it would be more lively with more people, so I asked a few other female classmates to come together." Liu Yina came out to smooth things over. "It's okay, let's see how many people there are and then decide where to eat. It's only 6:30 now." The roommate chuckled and said, "Well, Deng Jai, we haven't seen each other for a long time. We should have a good reunion. How have you been recently? Why did you suddenly drop out of school?" Deng Jai replied, "It's nothing, my dad is sick, so I have to go take care of him." The roommate naturally understood the hidden meaning and nodded. "Oh, so that's how it is. Life is really full of surprises." Just as they were reminiscing about the good memories in college, Liu Yina and the others saw 5 or 6 classmates walking in from the gate. Those walking in front were all on good terms with each other, but the classmate at the back had a bad look on his face when Liu Yina and Gu Yingying saw him. "My sissy, why is she here?" Liu Yina and Gu Yingying looked at each other, and saw surprise in each other's eyes. 6 classmates came over. Wow, you are all here, we just gathered over there, so we are a little late. Oh, that's okay. Liao Mini naturally noticed the strange looks on Gu Yingying and the other three's faces, and that roommate was also a little embarrassed. Deng Jai originally wanted to invite her former roommates to a reunion, but she called 2 other female classmates to come together. But the problem was that the other 2 female classmates called their classmates too. My sissy looked at everyone's surprised eyes and explained herself. I'm so sorry, it was Zaya Akshuan, another female classmate, and I who told her that we should come. Because I didn't go to the previous class reunion, I wanted to come to this small gathering with you. Gu Yingying and Liu Yina, we don't want to get together with you. My sissy also heard that Gu Yingying and Liu Yina were attending the party. At that time, she was just asking Zaya Akshuan's female classmate about their classmate's recent situation, and naturally she couldn't help but ask a few more questions about Liu Yina. The female classmate named Zaya Akshuan happened to live in the same dormitory with Deng Jai and her classmates, so she also received an invitation. In the end, I couldn't persuade my sissy and had to bring her along. In the end, what was originally a gathering of 5 or 6 people was forced to fit together at one table. Is everyone still not eating? Why don't we find a place to eat first? At this time, Liao Mini spoke up to break the silence. Okay, I'm almost starving. My sissy said, how about we go to Liu Yina's restaurant together? Classmate Liu Yina, your family opened a restaurant in our Cheng, but we haven't tried it yet. Why don't we go to your house? Liu Yina didn't care, but she didn't know if other students had any objections. But one of the female classmates said, why don't we go to the hotel where Liu Yina's husband lives? I didn't eat enough at the last class reunion. Yes, as for restaurants, we can still go and try them sometimes, but the steaks there cost thousands of dollars. I really want to go there again. Another classmate also spoke up. You can go to a restaurant at any time, but it is rare to go to a restaurant of the level of the Tenli Hotel. My sissy was a little shocked. Tingli Hotel belongs to Liu Yina's husband. Are you a franchisee? Or a hotel director? My sissy thought to herself that she must ask her classmates clearly later. You know, if it was just a franchisee, she would still look down on him. But if it was a hotel director, then it would be a big problem. I can't believe that such a big change happened after not coming back for more than a year. Liu Yina said, I don't care, you guys decide where to eat. The dishes at my dad's restaurant are also good and more affordable. Deng Jai sent a message to Liu Yina, Gu Yingying and the other 2 in the group. Yingying, Nana, I may need to borrow money from you later. There are suddenly a few more classmates here, and I may not have the money to pay the bills. Liu Yina glanced at Gu Yingying, then at Deng Jai, and replied on her phone, Don't worry, I'll pay for it. My husband also waived the bill at the last party. Gu Yingying also sent a message, Don't worry, we are here. Deng Jai looked at the 2 of them with gratitude. Except for my sissy, who suggested going to Liu Yina's father's restaurant, the other students still wanted to go to Tingli Hotel. Everyone was obsessed with the good things there. So in the end, with the minority winning over the majority, everyone unanimously decided to go to Tingli Hotel. Chapter 188, My Sissy's Jealousy. Because this place is a bit far from Tingli Hotel, everyone decided to take a car there. My sissy had a car and helped to pick up 5 classmates, and Liu Yina also called Yi Chen to come and take people to the hotel. Liu Yina, Gu Yingying, Deng Jai, Liao Mini, and another female classmate took Yi Chen's car together. Liao Mini had attended Liu Yina's wedding, so she naturally knew that Liu Yina's dowry was a Cullinan. But it was the first time for my sissy to see it. When she saw Yi Chen driving Cullinan to pick up Liu Yina, her eyes flashed. My sissy herself only drives a Porsche worth millions, but Liu Yina's husband drives a Cullinan. This gap is a bit unacceptable to her. Wow, I never thought that I could ride in a luxury car worth nearly 10 million yuan in my lifetime. It's amazing. Even though another female classmate knew that Liu Yina's husband was rich and owned a hotel, she didn't know that he had a Cullinan worth nearly 10 million yuan. Me too, it's my first time sitting on one. Nana, your husband is really amazing. Yi Chen just smiled and didn't want to get involved in the girls' conversation. Deng Jai sat aside without saying anything, but Gu Yingying said, This is our Nana's dowry. After hearing this, my sissy became even more certain that Yi Chen was just a person with all the appearance but nothing. The car belongs to my wife, and the hotel is definitely not under his name. The female classmate was shocked. Oh my God, Nana, your family owns a restaurant and is so rich. Liu Yina was a little embarrassed. It's nothing, no need to be too surprised. Obviously, Liu Yina doesn't want to talk too much to others about whether her family has money. Seeing that Liu Yina was unwilling to talk more, everyone fell silent. After several people got in the car, my sissy drove away first. At this moment, Gu Yingying hated those gossipers. It was originally a gathering of a few roommates, but they invited other people as well. What a shame. It would be better if the three of them just got together. Forget it, now that it has become a fact. We can only get together with a few female classmates. Yi Chen seemed to have sensed the strangeness of the crowd. Although he didn't know what had happened, he knew that his wife was unhappy. I was thinking to myself that I have to coax my wife well later. Yi Chen drove a group of people to Tingley Hotel. Liu Yina got out of the car with them. Yi Chen looked at her back and sent her a WeChat message. "Wife, what's wrong? You don't seem happy." When Liu Yina was in the elevator, she received Yi Chen's message and replied immediately. "I'll talk to you in the evening." Yi Chen had no choice but to reply, "Don't be unhappy, your husband is here." At this time, a female classmate who was riding in the car with them suddenly said, "Nana, your husband is quite handsome. I never realized that there is such a handsome man in our Xiangda." Liu Yina also smiled and said, "Thank you for the compliment. Fortunately, you didn't praise him in person, otherwise he would be so proud of it." After hearing this, several people in the elevator also laughed. The party was held in a private room. After Liu Yina and others got out of the elevator, the hotel's general manager Zhu was already waiting there. The first time he saw Liu Yina, he walked up to her and said, "Mrs. Yi, please come this way." Liu Yina and others arrived a little earlier than my sissy, so manager Zhu also received the wife of his chairman first. Liu Yina said to General Manager Zhu, "Manager Zhu, there are a few classmates behind me. Please receive them." Zhu Quanzhu was flattered. He didn't expect that his chairman's wife would be so polite. "No trouble, no trouble. This is what we should do." After Zhu Quanzhu brought Liu Yina to the private room, he left. My sissy and others have also arrived at this floor by elevator. Zhu Quanzhu asked my sissy, who was walking in front, "Excuse me, are you classmates of our chairman's wife, Liu Yina?" My sissy was stunned. "Yes." Zhu Quanzhu quickly led the way for them. "Our chairman's wife specifically asked me to receive you. Please follow me over here." The wife is already waiting in the private room. Seeing the middle-aged man in front of her being so polite, my sissy was shocked. Does Liu Yina's husband really own a hotel? Is he not a gigolo as she thought? With doubts in mind, I walked into the private room. She also sat down at the round table. While flipping through the menu, Liu Yina asked the waiter beside her, "Are the dishes served quickly? I'm worried that since we didn't make a reservation, the dishes here are served very slowly." Zhu Quanzhu immediately walked to Liu Yina's side and said to the waiter, "Let me do it." The waiter immediately handed the tablet with the order to his manager. Zhu Quanzhu took the tablet and said to Liu Yina, "Madam Chairman, our hotel will definitely put you first and serve you the food as quickly as possible. Please take a look at what you want and I will place your order." Liu Yina nodded to Zhu Quanzhu. I told the other students, "Tell the manager what you want to eat and let him place the order for you. Let's eat as much as we can." "Manager Zhu, come here for a moment. This is what I ate last time." My sissy naturally saw all of this. It seemed that she was wrong. Liu Yina's husband is really quite capable. After ordering the food, everyone was chatting. A female classmate suddenly asked Liu Yina, "Hey, Nana, I heard that your husband bought you 10 billion worth of jewelry. Why didn't I see you wearing it today?" Everyone wants to know whether this is true or false. Of course, this was not said out loud, but the female classmate was thinking this in her heart. Another female classmate also said, "Yes, I saw you didn't wear it at the last party, and you didn't wear it today either." Everyone turned their eyes to Liu Yina. Liu Yina was also a little embarrassed. "The diamond ring is a bit big. It's not very convenient to wear every day, so I didn't wear it out." Liao Minnie also studied design, and she noticed the diamond ring on Liu Yina's hand at a glance. "Nana, the one you're wearing should be from Harry Winston, right?" In fact, she had been paying attention to it for a long time, and now that the diamond ring was suddenly mentioned, she had the opportunity to ask Liu Yina. Liu Yina touched the diamond ring on her hand and said shyly, "Yes, my husband just saw that I didn't wear a ring. Because I said that the one at home was not suitable for daily wear, he went with me to buy one." When my sissy heard this, she couldn't help but complain in her heart. Could a $1 billion piece of jewelry be fake? She would have to ask about it later. Originally, my sissy was asking her classmates, but she was too embarrassed to ask so clearly. The female classmates also couldn't stand the arrogant my sissy, so naturally they wouldn't talk to her much. Therefore, my sissy only knew a little about Liu Yina's current situation. But according to the information we have now, Liu Yina's husband is actually the owner of Tingley Hotel. Originally, she didn't want to believe it, but she had just checked on her mobile phone, the chairman of Tingley Hotel, and the only chairman. The information only had Yi Chen's name. Now she completely believed that Yi Chen was the chairman of the hotel. It seems that she was careless. The Tingley Hotel alone is not comparable to her home. But now she heard that Liu Yina's husband bought jewelry worth 10 billion for Liu Yina, and she could no longer control her jealous eyes. Chapter 189, My Sissy Flees. My Sissy secretly looked at Liu Yina with jealous eyes. Not only is Liu Yina beautiful, but even her husband loves her so much. How could this not make my Sissy jealous? My Sissy couldn't help but go crazy in her heart. She secretly made up her mind that she must find a husband who is more capable than Liu Yina. She decided to accept the blind date arranged by her family after returning home. Find a husband who is worth billions. Then you can be proud of yourself at the class reunion. Liao Mini took a look at the diamond ring on Liu Yina's hand and said, "The purity of the diamond ring on your hand is good. It should be 1 carat, and it is relatively pure. I have just seen the light of this diamond ring under the light. It is really pure. A pure one like this, 1 carat can't be bought without 1 million, right?" Liu Yina just smiled and said, "I don't know much about diamond rings, but this one is indeed 1 carat, and the price is about the same as you said." The reason why Liu Yina doesn't want to come to these gatherings is that she is afraid of the current situation. A few more familiar friends can still talk about some more private things, but it is not convenient for some people now, such as my Sissy. She didn't want to be accused of showing off her wealth or anything like that. After all, not everyone understood her. Liao Mini naturally understood the meaning of Liu Yina's words, so she didn't ask any more questions. Everyone started chatting with their classmates. There was no one around my Sissy talking to her, but she was also listening to what her classmates were talking about. Liu Yina's husband is really rich. Just look at the black card he took out at the party before. The bank won't issue it unless you deposit 1 billion into it. I know, I went to that party too, and you have to make 30 million a day for 3 consecutive months. Later, didn't a man named Li, the manager of the Zindan shopping mall, come to see Liu Yina's husband? He said he wanted him to attend a board meeting or something. Yes, I was sitting at that table at the time. Liu Yina's husband would rather go home to see the kids than go. Oh my God! If I hadn't seen what happened to Hu Qingrong and Bai Yuhao, I would have thought that these people were just acting. Yes, Hu Qingrong and Bai Yuhao are really miserable. They offended such a big Buddha and ruined their family business. Now their family will definitely be in trouble. I really envy Liu Yina. Her husband is the chairman of a hotel and a large shopping mall. If he is the chairman, he must own more than 20% of the shares, right? Did you really not check it clearly? There is only one boss of the Tingley Hotel. In other words, Liu Yina's husband is the only chairman of the hotel. The hotel is under the sole control of her husband. Just in terms of the Tingley Hotel, he must have a net worth of tens of billions, right? Not to mention the shares of the Zindan shopping mall. Oh my God, I really can't imagine it. If I had a husband like this, I would be willing to give birth to as many triplets as I want. First of all, you have to be as beautiful as Liu Yina. If you are half as beautiful as her, you can also fly to the top of the family. But Liu Yina's family isn't bad either. Hearing what her classmates said, my Sissy was completely stunned. She also didn't expect that Liu Yina's husband was so powerful. Moreover, as far as she knew, Liu Yina's husband was a student in the same class as them. It was really shocking. This gathering was really worth it. Although she knew that Liu Yina's husband was so rich, this did not prevent my Sissy from being jealous of Liu Yina and disliking her. After all, none of this has anything to do with her, my Sissy. Throughout the whole party, everyone was chatting with each other. After eating and drinking, everyone went home. When my Sissy learned about Liu Yina's situation, she was unhappy and drove away saying that it was not on her way. She was also extremely jealous. It was fine that she was not as pretty as Liu Yina, but she never expected that Liu Yina's husband was so rich. I guess if my Sissy knew all of Yi Chen's industries, she might really go crazy. Seeing that several classmates did not drive, Yi Chen asked the hotel's shuttle bus to take the classmates home, and then asked Yi Chen to help Deng Jai move the luggage to Gu Yingying's apartment. After all this was done, Yi Chen drove Liu Yina home. Liu Yina said to Yi Chen, "Hey, this kind of party is really tiring. It was originally just a gathering of a few good roommates, but I didn't expect so many people to come. Liu Yina doesn't like attending parties, but if it's a group gathering, it's okay so that everyone can see each other." But this time, Deng Jai also suggested that her roommates get together, but now it doesn't matter. Yi Chen also comforted Liu Yina. Wife, don't sigh, it's easy to get old. Since you are here, just eat and leave, don't be angry. So Yi Chen took out the ring he had already made. Honey, look, the ring is ready. Liu Yina looked at the ring box in Yi Chen's hand, took it immediately, opened it, and said, sure enough, the one with the highest purity reflects a different light. It's really too bright. Looking at the big sparkling diamond ring in her hand, Liu Yina was also very emotional. Originally, she didn't want to waste too much money, but she couldn't resist Yi Chen. As long as my wife likes it, I'll buy you something better in the future. Yi Chen stopped while waiting for the traffic light and looked at Liu Yina with a smile. Let me help you put it on. After helping Liu Yina put the ring on her hand, he praised her. The ring looks so beautiful on my wife's hand. By the way, he also touched Liu Yina's smooth hand. Liu Yina gently patted Yi Chen's hand and said with a smile, you took the opportunity to touch me again, didn't you? Yi Chen also laughed. It's not against the law for me to touch my wife, right? Liu Yina was helpless with him and glanced at the traffic light. Drive carefully. Yi Chen smiled and reluctantly pulled his hand back and asked, wife, I see that you don't seem to be very happy at this party. Did something happen? When Yi Chen followed them to move the luggage, he also noticed that Liu Yina was not happy at this party. Liu Yina said, hubby, just focus on driving. I'll tell you in detail when I get home. Yi Chen nodded and concentrated on driving. As a husband, he naturally doesn't want to see Liu Yina frowning and hopes that Liu Yina can live happily every day. Chapter 190, the contest between Yi Chen and his son. When I got home, it was just past 9 o'clock. Yi Chen glanced at his watch and said to Liu Yina, fortunately, it's not overtime. There's still time to play with the babies for a while. The baby's sleep and rest schedule is now relatively normal. He usually goes to bed between 8:30 and 9:30 and wakes up once or twice to drink milk during this time. Liu Yina wanted to train her babies not to drink milk at night, but she couldn't bear to feed such a young baby. Now she has stopped breastfeeding at night. After the first feeding before bed, he basically stops drinking breast milk at night. Since 3 babies are mixed fed, it is okay not to have breast milk at night. Dabo didn't get up last night and slept soundly, but he was always refusing to take a nap during the day. The 2 little ones still sleep a little longer during the day and wake up once at night. If they continue like this, they will soon develop the good habit of not drinking milk at night. When the baby is more than 6 months old, you need to prepare complementary foods such as rice porridge for feeding. I have to say, this child is growing up really fast. All of the above are included in Liu Yina and Yi Chen's parenting plan. Yi Chen naturally agrees with Liu Yina's decision not to breastfeed at night. It's just hard for Liu Yina, who has to get up twice at night to suck milk. However, for the growth and development of the child, these processes are inevitable. Liu Yina also said that you should insist on breastfeeding for 6 months and then slowly wean the baby off. This is good for the baby. However, it is also quite easy to wean the baby off breastfeeding because babies who are mixed fed do not cling to breast milk as much as babies who are exclusively breastfed. Yi Chen and Liu Yina held hands and went back to the baby's room together, where they saw 3 little babies babbling and playing in the room. After seeing Yi Chen and Liu Yina walk in, the 3 little babies quickly stretched out their little hands towards the door of the room, asking for a hug. The 3 little ones are in very good health. Although they experienced constipation or diarrhea during their stay, they were quickly resolved. Yi Chen and Liu Yina walked forward quickly. Oh, my dear baby, Mom and Dad are back. Come and hug me. To be honest, I've been busy with parties these past 2 days, and have had little time to hold my baby during the day, let alone at night. Mother Yi also said, since yesterday, these 3 babies seem to not sleep unless they see you. I just held them for a long time and they finished drinking milk, but they just refused to sleep. You have to go home earlier next time. Yi Chen said, Mom, I know. Liu Yina also said, Mom, we know you don't have to worry. At this time, Mother Liu said, young people have things to do. We can only help you up to this point. Mother Yi didn't say anything else. She just wanted her child to go to bed early, otherwise he wouldn't grow tall. Yi Chen and Liu Yina both understood Mother Yi very well and started playing with the child while holding him. Mother Yi and Mother Liu also went back to sleep, leaving this place to Yi Chen, Liu Yina, and the aunts. After Yi Chen and Liu Yi coaxed Dabo and Xiaoguiguai to sleep, Yi Chen said to Liu Yina, you go back to your room and take a shower first. I'll coax Dabo. Liu Yina said softly, yeah. After saying that, he left the baby's room. Yi Chen held Dabo in his arms and coaxed him softly, and even stood up and rocked him gently. She was still singing a lullaby, "Sleep well, little baby." In fact, he also sang when he was coaxing little darling just now, but maybe Yi Chen held him too comfortably, and little darling fell asleep after singing just a few lines. At this time, Dabo was looking at Yi Chen with his eyes wide open and making a cute laugh, but he seemed to know that his younger brothers and sisters were sleeping, so his voice was a little softer than usual. Yi Chen looked at Dabo in his arms and couldn't help but frowned. "Dabo, give me some face. Daddy has sung a song for you. Close your eyes and go to sleep quickly, okay?" Dabo put his little hand into his mouth and smacked his lips twice, and even started playing with spitting saliva. Puff, puff, puff. After Yi Chen was sprayed with saliva, his face was also shocked. "Dabo, where did you learn this from? You actually learned to mock people." All right. I'm afraid of you, so stop spitting at Daddy." Yi Chen covered his face and begged for mercy. Yi Chen quickly carried Dabo out of the room, and the two aunts stayed in the room to take care of the two babies. Yi Chen takes care of everything concerning the children himself. Yi Chen carried Dabo out of the small living room and taught Dabo a lesson. "Dabo, you can't spit at others like this, do you hear me?" "Dabo, I only spit at my dad, not at anyone else." A poof. He sprayed a few more times. Yi Chen couldn't do anything about him, so he just put Dabo on the sofa and pretended to scold. "Dabo, if you do this again, Daddy will not hug you. Wait until you think it through and stop playing spitting, then Daddy will hug you." When Dabo saw Yi Chen put him down, his face looked so aggrieved that he almost cried. Seeing this, Yi Chen immediately waved his hand at Dabo. Hey, Dabo, don't cry. Your brothers and sisters are already asleep, and only you, a little rascal, are still awake. Don't cry too loudly, or you'll wake up your brothers and sisters." Dabo turned his head towards the door of the room he had just walked out of, looked at Yi Chen again, and stopped crying instantly. Although he felt a little aggrieved, he stopped playing and stretched out his two chubby little hands towards Yi Chen. Seeing that he stopped playing and crying, Yi Chen reached out and hugged him. "Right, this is how you should be Daddy's good baby, otherwise Daddy will spank you later." Dabo suddenly yelled, "Ah, seems to be resisting." Okay, Daddy won't spank you anymore. As long as you sleep well, Daddy won't spank you, okay?" Dabo pouted at Yi Chen, babbled a few words, and then really stopped humming. After putting his little hand in his mouth and taking 2 bites, he fell asleep. Looking at his son who was about to fall asleep in his arms, Yi Chen smiled like a father. After taking his son's little hand out of his mouth, Yi Chen carried him back to the room. I gently placed Dabo on the crib and covered him with a small quilt. However, the weather was still quite hot, and the air conditioner was on, so I just covered his belly with a piece of cloth. The system rang at this time. If the host and the baby are intimate for more than half an hour, the system will reward the host with the economic management skill. Once this skill is used, everything can be learned without a teacher. Yi Chen was extremely shocked on the spot. This is the major he is studying now. Does that mean he can graduate directly without going to school? However, he didn't go to school for a diploma. He went to see his wife. He found that the rewards given by the system were based on what he needed. Moreover, even the things that were rewarded before may be useful to the people or things you meet later. Thinking in this way, I feel that the system is really user-friendly. Chapter 191. Liu Yue, everything is under Yi Chen's control. Just as Yi Chen was secretly rejoicing, his cell phone vibrated. When he took out his cell phone, he saw that it was a call from Wang Lin, the captain of the Bayadeli security team. Yi Chen walked to the balcony of the small living room with his mobile phone and pressed the answer button. As soon as Yi Chen answered the call, a familiar voice came from the other end of the phone. "Mr. Yi, sorry to bother you." Yi Chen said, softly. Wang Lin continued. "Mr. Yi Chen, Liu Yue, who you asked us to keep a close eye on, has made new moves recently." Yi Chen couldn't help but perk up when he heard this. Oh, what's the new move? He really wanted to know what Liu Yue wanted to do. Security Captain Wang Lin continued. She started to target the restaurant, using a trick to reduce the restaurant's profits, but her methods were very covert. However, no matter how covert she was still discovered by our people. Yi Chen nodded. "Well, keep watching her and keep the evidence. I will make her pay." Wang Lin said, "Yes, Mr. Yi Chen, we will definitely keep a close eye on her." Yi Chen said, "If she dares to hurt my family, take action immediately. Money matters are trivial, but touching his family is not acceptable. Find a time to have a good talk with Liu Yin and his father-in-law, and let them beware of this woman Liu Yue. After all, this is their relative, and how to deal with it is up to them to decide." After hearing this, Wang Lin quickly said, "Yes, Mr. Yi Chen, we will never let her do anything to harm Mr. Yi Chen's family." What a joke. If Mr. Yi Chen's family is harmed in any way, he will have to quit his job as captain of the security team. Wang Lin suddenly said to Yi Chen, "We recently discovered that she bought the hormone prednisone acetate, but we couldn't find out why she needed to buy it, so we suspected what she wanted to use it for." Yi Chen couldn't help but frown. Hormone? What does she want to do with hormones? Wang Lin suddenly gave Yi Chen a science lesson. This hormone was originally used to treat diseases such as rheumatism, but you still need to consult a doctor about the dosage. If you take it in large quantities for a long time, it is very likely to cause complications in the motor system, digestive system, endocrine system, immune system, etc. Yi Chen's expression darkened. "Speak to the point." Wang Lin quickly said, "That is to say, the person who takes it is very likely to develop osteoporosis, aseptic bone necrosis, muscle atrophy, etc. If a child takes it, it is also very likely that their growth and development will stop. There are other things. Eating too much may damage the gastric mucosa and cause gastrointestinal diseases such as gastric ulcers. There may also be." Yi Chen suddenly interrupted, "Enough, what's wrong with her recently?" Wang Lin answered truthfully, "In addition to her tricks, our people discovered that she has been brewing a cup of wolfberry tea for your father-in-law, Mr. Liu, every day since yesterday, and she also added the hormone medicine she bought into it." Wang Lin said, "But Mr. Yi Chen can rest assured our people have already replaced all the medicines she bought in advance. They have been replaced with ordinary vitamins, and the pills are made the same as the original ones, so she won't notice it." Yi Chen couldn't help but get angry. "Fortunately, I was prepared. Otherwise, I would have really fallen into her trap. I didn't expect that her target would be my father-in-law. When I think about what she has done recently, which has caused a decrease in store traffic, increased costs, and decreased profits, is she trying to destroy Liu Fujai or take over Liu Fujai? Now that we know who Liu Yivi is targeting, we should protect her well. As for the question of how much money the store can make, it is still easy to solve. When the time is right and we have evidence and witnesses, are you still afraid that she will deny it?" Yi Chen snorted coldly. "Keep watching her. As long as she doesn't do anything to hurt my family, let her jump around for a few more days. When the time comes, we will take action." Wang Lin quickly responded, "Yes, Mr. Yi Chen." After finishing the call with Wang Lin, Yi Chen also returned to the room and saw that Liu Yina had finished taking a shower and was blow-drying her hair. Yi Chen said to Liu Yina, "Nana, I will tell you something later, don't go to sleep yet." Liu Yina smiled and said to Yi Chen, "Okay, husband." Soon, Yi Chen finished his shower, dried his hair, and lay down on the bed with Liu Yina. Liu Yina quickly hugged him and said, "Husband, do you have anything important to tell me?" Yi Chen smiled and touched Liu Yina's head and said, "How do you know that what I want to tell you is important?" Liu Yina smiled and said, "I've already figured out your personality. If it wasn't something important, why would you ask me not to sleep first?" Yi Chen got back to the point and said seriously, "This matter is indeed very important." Liu Yina looked up at Yi Chen and said, "You say." "Yi Chen, how much do you know about your cousin Liu Yiwei?" Liu Yina was confused. "Liu Yiwei? I don't have much contact with her, but sometimes she looks at me in an unfriendly way. I don't know what she wants to do." Yi Chen nodded. "It's good that you can find out that she is not right. At the beginning, I also found that the way she looked at you was not right. So after she came to Xiangcheng, I also asked the security company to keep a close eye on her. In the past few days, I finally found something." Liu Yina couldn't help but be curious. "What is it?" Yi Chen continued. "She probably wants to attack Liu Fuji. According to my investigation, she has bribed several people and will soon make the next move. In addition, my people also found that she wants to attack my father-in-law, your biological father." Liu Yina couldn't help but exclaimed, "What did you say? She wants to attack my dad? What kind of attack?" "Yi Chen, the simplest thing is that she bought hormones worth more than 10 yuan and gave them to your father to drink every day. But don't worry, my people have already replaced the medicine in advance." Liu Yina finally breathed a sigh of relief, but at the same time she was also very angry. "Has our family treated her badly? Why did she do this to my dad? And mess with my family? I used to think that she was young and ignorant and maybe out of jealousy, so she didn't like me. But I didn't expect that she would do such a thing." Liu Yina naturally believed in her husband 100%, so Liu Yivi must have done something to hurt her own father. Liu Yina is just like Yi Chen. You can do whatever you want to them, but you must not touch their family members. Yi Chen comforted his wife in his arms and said, "Wife, don't worry, I will never let anyone else hurt our family." Chapter 192, It turns out Nana knows everything. Liu Yina looked worried. Husband, what makes me most sad is why it was she who did these things, my good cousin Liu Yivi. Although I didn't have much contact with her after I grew up, we grew up together when we were young. I like painting and she likes dancing. Then wherever I went to learn painting, she followed me to learn dancing, and my father also helped her pay for her interest classes. Even all her tuition fees, including living expenses, were paid by my father. And the place where their family lives was all paid for and labored by my father. Because my father knew that my uncle had given up on his own initiative, my father directly inherited the family restaurant and also inherited the cooking skills. So he is very grateful to his family. Also, my uncle and his family were very nice to my family, so even though I knew she was jealous of me before, I didn't take it seriously. Liu Yina's voice was a little choked. I really didn't expect that she would do such a thing. Yi Chen sighed. Wife, you don't have to be sad. This kind of person is not worth it. People's hearts will change, and some people's hearts can never be warmed up. If she really made such an unforgivable mistake, we must punish her. Regarding this matter, Yi Chen didn't know how to comfort his little wife, so he could only hug Liu Yina tightly. Yi Chen seemed to suddenly remember something. By the way, just like the girl who drove to the party today, I also noticed that the way she looked at you was very strange. She won't do anything bad to you, right? Liu Yina also smiled. Are you talking about my sissy? Although she is also jealous of me, I know that many people know that we are not compatible. Before, she had already withdrawn voluntarily and took a year off from school to avoid me. I don't think she would dare to do anything to hurt me. Yi Chen also nodded. Wife, it's good that you know. As the saying goes, you should not have the intention to harm others, but you must be on guard against others. Since you already know that she is such a person, it is better to stay away from her in the future. Liu Yina said, softly. Yi Chen said in a low voice, Leave Liu Yiwei's matter to my husband. After I get the evidence, I will discuss with my father how to solve this matter. You don't have to worry about this matter. Liu Yina's tone was a little depressed. Well, seeing her become like this, I am also very sad. She was not like this before. Yi Chen said, Alas, people's hearts will change. Wife, don't think too much. Believe that Dad and I will handle this matter well. Yi Chen naturally didn't want this matter to become too big a deal. After all, they were all relatives. Liu Yina seemed to suddenly remember something. Oh, honey, am I not attending a class reunion today? One of my best friends dropped out of school in her sophomore year because her father was paralyzed in an accident, so the whole family broke up. Now she wants to find a job in Cheng to help her father with rehabilitation, but she is unwilling to accept the financial support from me and Yingying. We said we would lend her money, but she refused again. I was thinking that she might want to settle down in Cheng first, and then bring her father to Cheng, so I wanted to help her secretly. Yi Chen asked, Then how do you want to help her? Liu Yina said, Of course, we will help her find a good job. However, she only has a high school education, and I don't know if there is any company willing to take her in. Yi Chen also nodded. Yes, in today's society, if you don't have education and experience, it's hard to find a good job. Even if you are assigned to a big company, you will still be rejected by others if you can't do the work. This is really difficult. Liu Yina said, So, I told her that she should take the adult college entrance examination and then study for a university degree. This will be beneficial to her future career path. Yi Chen nodded. Wife, your idea is very good. But in today's society, the most important thing is still connections. It is really difficult for someone like her to survive in Cheng without any support. Whether it is Yi Chen or Liu Yina, they all understand. After the discussion, the couple finally fell asleep in each other's arms. The next morning, Yi Chen called Wang Lin. Yi Chen asked, Captain Wang Lin, does our company have any positions suitable for girls with only a high school education? Wang Lin was shocked. Mr. Yi Chen, your problem? We can solve it for you. It just so happens that we are short of people right now. We guarantee that you will be satisfied. Yi Chen also thought that in a company like this, he could be arranged to work as a data clerk. He didn't need any academic qualifications, as long as he knew how to operate a computer. But I have already told Wang Lin about my academic qualifications, so it depends on how Wang Lin arranges things afterwards. But on Wang Lin's side, no matter what, this was the request of the major shareholder, and it had to be properly arranged, so he didn't even ask about gender or age. After hearing this, Yi Chen said, Then you can arrange this matter. I will give you the contact information later. After finishing the call with Wang Lin, he found Liu Yina. I think someone will call your sister today. Please give me her contact information. Liu Yina immediately replied, Oh, wait a minute, I'll send you the phone number via WeChat. Yi Chen received the message and sent it directly to Wang Lin. Liu Yina found her good sister Deng Jai on WeChat and sent her a WeChat message. Zio Jai, someone from my husband Yi Chen's side will call you in a while and arrange a job for you. Please pay attention to your phone. Deng Jai immediately sent a voice message. Nana, you really saved me from the dire situation. You know, my dad can't do anything to help Deng Jai. Your message really came at the right time. Of course, she didn't dare to say openly that Deng Jai's academic qualifications were not enough, for fear of hurting Deng Jai's self-esteem. However, even if she didn't say it explicitly, Deng Jai naturally knew the systems in large companies. So when Gu Yingying and Deng Jai heard Liu Yina say that she could arrange a job for Deng Jai, they also breathed a sigh of relief. Liu Yina said, "It's just that I don't know what kind of job my husband's people will arrange for you. If it's not suitable, you can refuse it. We will find another way." Deng Jai said to Liu Yina gratefully, "Nana, it doesn't matter as long as you give me a chance, it's fine. Thank you." Liu Yina said, "We are friends, so you don't have to be polite to me. As long as I can help you, that's all." Deng Jai took a deep breath. As long as there is a chance, it is better than no chance at all. No matter what kind of work it is, no matter how hard or tiring it is, she will do it. Just give her a chance. Chapter 193, This is a New Beginning. After hanging up the phone with Liu Yina, Gu Yingying also breathed a sigh of relief. Zio Jai, wait for the call. Deng Jai also said, yeah. Gu Yingying took out her phone and checked WeChat. Yihui sent her another message. Yingying, what are you doing? Gu Yingying, at home, how about you? Yihui, I have nothing to do today, how about not getting any points? Gu Yingying, don't you have to go to school? Why are you always playing games? Yihui, I saw that you lost another star last night, so I helped you gain points. Gu Yingying, I'm so angry, can't you do something else? Gu Yingying replied, okay. There is no way. Gu Yingying went offline and unexpectedly saw that Loi Zhikyu, Zin, was online and sent her a message. Can't we just be friends? Gu Yingying looked at the message and thought to herself, after all, I can't trust what I see on the internet. Fortunately, I just thought he was handsome at the time and didn't have much contact with him. I discovered his true side. Otherwise, I would definitely become a member of his fish pond. Such a man is really disgusting. But here I have to be thankful that he didn't turn off the viewing function. Otherwise, I wouldn't have found out that he has a girlfriend. Gu Yingying directly sent a message. Sorry, my boyfriend doesn't allow it. Let's not contact each other anymore. I was the one who found you to piss off my boyfriend before, and I didn't really plan to find a CP. After sending the message, I deleted the friend directly. Gu Yingying would never give a chance to unnecessary people. And he was also the first person she added who she didn't know except on WeChat. After deleting the friend, the contact between the two people naturally disappeared. In the past few days, apart from playing games and having a meal with Yihui, there has been no real development for Gu Yingying. But there wasn't even a handhold or a kiss. This made Gu Yingying a little unhappy. After playing 2 rounds, he got angry and stopped playing. Gu Yingying directly sent a WeChat message to Yihui. Let's go out for dinner tonight. Yihui replied, okay, okay. Gu Yingying was also very angry. If she hadn't taken the initiative, Yihui would never have taken the initiative. Although Yihui had mentioned meeting his parents to her many times, Gu Yingying felt that the relationship between them still needed some work. Unlike before when they were just a fake couple, now they are really in a boyfriend-girlfriend relationship, so they must consider this issue carefully. In the afternoon, Deng Jai received a call from Wang Lin. The two talked a lot on the phone, and Gu Yingying couldn't understand anything. Later, Deng Jai even walked to the balcony and said it, only to hear her nod with certainty and say, yes, okay, I will do it. Wang Lin said, because you are a good friend of our Mr. Yi Chen, we respect you very much. We will transfer your startup funds first. As long as you do what we say, leave the rest to us. Don't expose yourself. Deng Jai nodded. Okay, Mr. Wang Lin. Wang Lin, someone will contact you in the evening and teach you how to operate it. Deng Jai nodded firmly. Okay. After hanging up the phone, Gu Yingying came up impatiently. What? What kind of good job is it? Deng Jai smiled secretly. Keep it a secret. I may stay at your place for a while. I'll tell you after I settle down. Yingying, thank you for your help. Gu Yingying was also very interested in Deng Jai's words. It's no problem for you to live with me, but what kind of job did you find? Deng Jai said, don't ask me, it's confidential. When she heard about the job, she immediately decided to give it a try. This is very similar to the spy jobs I saw before. After a while, she received 20,000 yuan, startup capital transferred by Wang Lin. It's time to start a new life. Say goodbye to the past. This is a new beginning. Gu Yingying and Yi Hui went to the agreed restaurant and had their meal. After the two finished their meal, it was already past 8 o'clock. Gu Yingying asked, Yi Hui, where do you live? Yi Hui said, you don't go to my house, why are you asking this? Gu Yingying hit Yi Hui. I'm talking about where you live now. When did you say it's your parents' house? Yi Hui said, what's so good about a big boss's house? Gu Yingying said, no, I just want to go and take a look. The two of them lingered there for a while. Yi Hui couldn't persuade her. Okay, I'll take you there. Gu Yingying was feeling lucky that her little trick had finally come true. Yi Hui drove Gu Yingying to the underground parking lot of the apartment. Gu Yingying immediately stepped forward, took Yi Hui's hand, and looked at him with a smile. Yi Hui also smiled at Gu Yingying. In the elevator, Yi Hui suddenly said, a few days ago, a friend of mine came to live with me. Don't be too surprised when you see him later. I don't know if he's home. When Gu Yingying heard this, her heart immediately sank. What, is there anyone home? Gu Yingying looked a little unhappy, male or female. Yi Hui gave her a strange look and said, of course it's a man. How could I live with a woman? It's my eldest brother's friend Liu Ming. He hasn't found a job yet, so he came to live with me. After hearing this, Gu Yingying felt better. But you have friends here, why do you take me home? I am so mad. Doesn't that mean you can't do anything you want? When she thought of this, Gu Yingying didn't want to go to Yi Hui's house anymore. When they reached the elevator door, Yi Hui pulled Gu Yingying and said, why don't you leave? I live on this floor, it's just around the corner. Gu Yingying was dragged by Yi Hui to the door of the apartment. When he opened the door, Yi Hui called out, Liu Ming, are you there? Seeing that no one responded for a while, Yi Hui said to Gu Yingying outside the door, he seems to have gone out, come in. Yi Hui escorted Gu Yingying into the apartment and took her to sit on the sofa. Yi Hui asked, what would you like to drink? Gu Yingying looked around and said casually, boiled water hot. Yi Hui said, oh, and immediately went to pour her some hot water. At this moment, Liu Ming opened the door and came back. As soon as he entered the door, Liu Ming shouted, oh my God, it's so hot outside. Hey, is the air conditioner on at home? Yi Hui, are you back? It's more comfortable to stay at home. Yi Hui took the water and handed it to Gu Yingying. At this time, Liu Ming also saw Gu Yingying. Oh, am I back too early? Chapter 194, Liu Ming, is the reason for his success and failure. When Liu Ming saw Gu Yingying, he was also shocked. I didn't disturb you guys, did I? Gu Yingying said, it's okay, I just got here too. Although, I really don't want you to come back so soon. Yi Hui quickly pulled Liu Ming and said, you're back. Didn't you say you would help me wash my clothes? You made my clothes dirty yourself. They can only be cleaned by hand. I saw that the clothes were not hung out to dry on the balcony. Why did you run out? Liu Ming quickly pulled Yi Hui's hand away. Okay, can't I help you wash it now? It was because he accidentally bumped into Yi Hui while having supper last night and got his clothes dirty. And he went out to look for a job early this morning and just came back now. After Liu Ming finished speaking, he walked into the bathroom. Soon the sound of washing was heard from inside. Gu Yingying asked, what are you doing? Do you want him to help you wash clothes? Yi Hui said, last night I had just finished taking a shower and he stained my clothes. It was instant noodles and there were a lot of greasy stains. I had to wash them by hand, so he promised to help me wash them. Gu Yingying said, just soak the clothes and rinse them clean. Why are you so lazy that you want others to wash them for you? Yi Hui said, I don't care, he made it dirty, I must ask him to clean it for me. Gu Yingying couldn't do anything about him either. A few minutes later, Liu Ming came out of the bathroom holding a pair of trousers, walked to the balcony and hung up the clothes. Liu Ming walked to the gate and brought in a package. This is the egg pancake I just bought at the snack bar downstairs. It's delicious. You guys should try it too. Liu Ming placed the omelet on the table, flipped it over and prepared to eat. Gu Yingying said, I'm going to the bathroom first. It is a bit awkward for a couple to have one more person in the room. After entering the bathroom, Gu Yingying was really pissed off. Oh, I'm so pissed. Why am I living with a guy for no reason? I was thinking, oh, forget it. Suddenly, she discovered the couple's wash cups and couple's toothbrushes on the sink. And the couple cups can actually form a heart shape, and the toothbrushes facing each other. When I looked up, they were couple towels. This is... no way. Them. When she thought of this, all she could think of was Liu Ming and Yi Hui sleeping in the same bed, getting up together, brushing their teeth together, washing their faces together, and taking a bath together. Gu Yingying shook her head quickly. This is impossible. I am his girlfriend. How is this possible? But before that, Yi Hui was also anxiously looking for a girlfriend in the group to fool his parents. and then they got together naturally. It's over. I heard that some people get married just to have a child, divorce after the birth, and then be with the person they love. No way, I actually encountered such a thing. No way, absolutely not. I must have been thinking wrongly. Gu Yingying took a deep breath, opened the bathroom door and looked out, only to see a shocking scene. Liu Ming was holding a bamboo stick and feeding Yi Hui an egg pancake. His body was almost pressed against Yi Hui's. Liu Ming also said, "Eat some, it's really delicious." Gu Yingying rushed out immediately. "What are you doing?" Yi Hui didn't understand. He said it was delicious and insisted on feeding it to me. Liu Ming said, "Yes, this is really delicious. Come and try it too." Gu Yingying couldn't bear it any longer. "Why are you using couple cups?" Liu Ming smiled and said, "Are you talking about the couple's cup in the bathroom? That's the cup given away when you buy toothpaste in the supermarket." Gu Yingying, "What about the towel? How come it's also for couples?" Liu Ming said, "It was also given as a gift when I bought toothpaste." Yi Hui asked, "Is there a problem? Is it okay?" Gu Yingying shouted, "There's a problem, I'm your girlfriend." She pointed at Liu Ming and continued, "What about him? Who is he? Why should he use a couple's cup with you? Do you like men?" Yi Hui was also shocked. Why was this woman's train of thought so strange? Using these things means he is gay. Yi Hui shouted, "Yingying, what are you thinking? Of course I like women. Don't let your imagination run wild." Gu Yingying was so angry that she walked straight towards the door. After opening the door, she found that her cell phone had fallen down, so she turned around to get it. At this time, Yi Hui chased out with both feet on the same slippers and directly pushed Liu Ming, who was standing next to him, onto the sofa. But just as Gu Yingying turned around, she saw Yi Hui pounce on Liu Ming. I got even angrier instantly. After walking back and picking up the phone on the table, he said, "Excuse me." Then he just left. Yi Hui hurried out without even putting on his shoes, but Gu Yingying had already closed the door. Liu Ming said in frustration, "Brother, it's over. I might have made things worse." Success is due to Liu Ming. Failure is also due to Liu Ming. Yi Hui asked, "Yingying, she wouldn't really think that we." He pointed at Liu Ming and himself. We are the same, right?" Liu Ming also covered his forehead and said, "Maybe the couple cup is not enough as evidence, but she saw you throwing yourself at me just now. I guess she is 100% sure that we are in the same relationship." Yi Hui couldn't help but be shocked. "Oh my God, how is this possible? I like girls." Liu Ming, "This is not a question of whether you like it or not. I like girls too. Why didn't you send me a message in advance? If I had known that your girlfriend came back with you, I would have waited for her to leave before coming back. My lifelong reputation." Liu Ming covered his face and shouted. Yi Hui was also angry. "How dare you? If you weren't greedy, why would you buy toothpaste and give away couple cups and couple towels? You're killing me. Come with me to find Yingying and explain." Liu Ming, "Then why are you still here? Go and catch up." Without further ado, Yi Hui quickly called Gu Yingying and sent a WeChat message. But Gu Yingying didn't listen and just took the elevator and left. When Yi Hui and Liu Ming chased out, Gu Yingying had disappeared. "Yi Hui, it's a big deal." Liu Ming, "Brother, I'm sorry. I will definitely cooperate with you and explain it to Yingying. Let's get through on the phone first." Gu Yingying was walking on the side of the road, and the more she thought about it, the angrier she became. So he quickly called Liu Yina. "Nana, I'm heartbroken. That damn Yi Hui is a homosexual. I'm so mad at him. I want to break up with him. You don't know. I just went to his house, and there's a man at his house." Liu Yina was also shocked. "No way. I haven't heard Yi Chen say that Yi Hui has this problem. Did you misunderstand him?" Gu Yingying was almost mad. How is it possible? They used couple cups, couple towels, and Liu Ming even helped Yi Hui wash clothes. Isn't this something only girlfriends do? And that's not all. As soon as I left, they couldn't wait to pounce on the sofa. I saw this with my own eyes. Woohoo, Nana, I'm heartbroken again. Liu Yina advised. "Yingying, you must have misunderstood. I will ask Yi Chen and call Yi Hui to see if there is really any misunderstanding." Gu Yingying was so angry at this time. She was crying and talking on the phone, which stunned the passers-by. "I'm just having a love affair. Am I easy? Why do I have to endure this?" Woo. Chapter 195, Good Things Come with Time. After finally getting a taxi, the phone kept ringing in the car, but Gu Yingying hung up over and over again. Even the driver in front couldn't help but look at her more. Gu Yingying wiped away her tears and turned off her cell phone. I finally got back to the apartment. Deng Jai is back. Deng Jai saw that Gu Yingying's eyes were red and couldn't help but ask with concern. "Yingying, what's wrong? Did Yi Hui bully you?" Gu Yingying cried aggrievedly. "Wow, Xiao Jai, I'm so miserable." Yi Hui, he is a homosexual. Yi Hui, Liu Ming, I heard you told everyone that we are gay. Deng Jai was incredulous after hearing this. No way, did you make a mistake? Gu Yingying told Deng Jai what she had seen, and Deng Jai nodded in agreement after hearing it. But it was hard to say, maybe you really misunderstood them. Gu Yingying sniffed. Couple cups and towels are fine, but they all fell on each other. Shouldn't I believe what I saw? Deng Jai was speechless and could only comfort her. Forget it, don't be sad for such a man. But she also understood the pain of being hurt by a man. Gu Yingying cried for a long time before she cheered up. By the way, Xiao Jai, didn't you say you were going to have an interview tonight? Did you get any results? Although men are hateful, they cannot neglect their sisters. Deng Jai said, everything is going well, don't worry. After I finish my work, I can move out from here. Gu Yingying was a little reluctant. Can't you live here? We haven't seen each other for so long, and you're leaving after such a short time. Deng Jai said, if the company arranges accommodation, it will be more convenient to live there. Gu Yingying finally gave up. Well, then you have to come and play with me more often. Deng Jai nodded. Yes, I will. Didn't you say you would go to work at your father's friend's company in a few days? Don't say you don't have time then. Gu Yingying said, don't worry, it won't happen. Even if you have to take a leave or be absent from work, you still have to keep the appointment. At this time, Deng Jai's cell phone rang. It was Liu Yina calling. Xiao Jai, is Yingying at home? Deng Jai replied, she is at home, what's wrong? Liu Yina, please ask her to answer the phone. Her phone is turned off and I can't find her. Deng Jai handed the phone to Gu Yingying and said, Nana is looking for you. I want you to answer the phone. Gu Yingying took the phone and sniffed. Nana, what's wrong? Liu Yina said, Yingying, you really misunderstood Yi Hui. What do you mean by falling down? It was when Yi Hui went out to chase you that he accidentally stepped on the same slippers and fell down and then... Oh, Yi Hui likes women. Gu Yingying, I don't believe it, I don't believe it, I don't want to listen. You know, we have been in love for such a long time and he has never even held my hand or kissed me. I don't believe it. Liu Yina was also stunned when she heard this, and Yi Chen, who was standing beside her, also heard this. Yi Chen burst out laughing instantly. My cousin is so funny. He has never even held a girl's hand. What kind of love is this? It's so funny. It seems like it's time to show him some skills. Liu Yina looked at Yi Chen on the side and smiled. Okay, I'll help you pass the message. You also have to turn on your phone so that Yi Hui has a chance to explain. Gu Yingying sniffed. HMPH, I'll hang up first. If it was really like what Nana said, then I might have misunderstood, but why did you let me see them? The scene of Yi Hui and Liu Ming lying on the sofa and looking at each other, affectionately, is something I can never forget. It's really hard to believe that they are like this. After a long while, Yi Hui finally got through to Gu Yingying on the phone. Yingying, don't be angry. I just tripped accidentally. I'm really not. What you think, I like women. Gu Yingying was still angry in her heart. She snorted and said, I don't believe it. Yi Hui was also anxious. Yingying, let's meet. Gu Yingying naturally wanted to give everyone a way out, so she said, I want to see you at the beverage store downstairs from my house within 15 minutes. Yi Hui said quickly, I'm already downstairs now. It won't take 15 minutes, it will only take 1 minute to get there. Gu Yingying raised the corners of her mouth slightly. Okay. You're smart. Gu Yingying came to the store pretending to be angry. There was no one in the store at this time, and Yi Hui was sitting there alone waiting for Gu Yingying. Seeing Gu Yingying coming, he walked over and pulled Gu Yingying. Gu Yingying hypocritically struggled for a few times, and then let him pull her down to sit down. Yi Hui said, Yingying, don't be angry, you really misunderstood us, Liu Ming and I. We both like women. Look, I know you like the cappuccino from this shop, and I've remembered it. Gu Yingying looked at the cappuccino on the table, and her expression improved a little, but she didn't say anything. Yi Hui didn't know what to say, and the two of them just sat together awkwardly. At this time, Yi Hui suddenly said to Gu Yingying, Yingying, I. Gu Yingying turned her head to look at Yi Hui, and Yi Hui leaned towards Gu Yingying again. Seeing this, Gu Yingying hugged Yi Hui's neck and kissed him. After a long while, Gu Yingying finally let go of Yi Hui. I believe you, Yi Hui muttered to himself. It turned out that the method taught by Liu Ming and his elder brother was effective. Gu Yingying asked at this time, I just have a question in my mind. When you are at home, why is the tone of the WeChat messages you send sometimes different from your usual tone? Yi Hui was a little panicked at this time, but he did not hide it from Gu Yingying. Sometimes I will ask Liu Ming. He touched his head and continued, Sometimes I don't know how to reply you and I am not very caring. This is my first time to fall in love, so I don't know how to say it. Gu Yingying, Forget it. No need to say anything. Just send me WeChat messages in the future. Don't ask anyone else if you want to be nice to your girlfriend. How could you not do it? It seems that if I want to get along with Yi Hui, I should be more direct. Yi Hui heaved a sigh of relief and then looked back at Ying Ying. Ying Ying, I understand. I will treat you well in the future. Gu Ying Ying held the cup in both hands, but she smiled sweetly. She finally knew the skills to get along with Yi Hui. The most important thing was that she had to take the initiative and speak directly if she had anything to say. The other side. After Yi Chen finished talking on the phone with Yi Hui, he burst out laughing. Liu Yina also smiled and said, "My best friend is just too imaginative, but what Yi Hui did is really easy to be misunderstood." Yi Chen smiled and said, "That's true. I almost laughed myself to death watching others fall in love. Ha." Liu Yina smiled and said, "It's called a long wait for good things to happen. Whether it can be accomplished depends on the luck of the two of them." At this moment, Mother Liu found Yi Chen and Liu Yina. "Nana, Yi Chen, Xiaoguai seems to have a cold. He has a runny nose." "What?" Mother Liu's words frightened Yi Chen and Liu Yina. Chapter 196, Little Guaigyu is sick. Mother Liu's words directly frightened Yi Chen and Liu Yina. "I was just enjoying the melon, but now I heard some bad news." Mother Liu continued, "I sneezed a little this morning and thought it was normal, but I had a runny nose tonight. I guess it was because I turned on the air conditioner last night and kicked off the quilt. We usually dress our babies in long-sleeved clothes, so maybe that's how they caught a cold." Yi Chen also slowly calmed down and said, "If it's just a runny nose, it's okay. Drink more water and keep warm. As long as you don't have a fever, you'll be fine." Mother Liu also nodded and said, "Let her sleep with you tonight. Don't let her infect her two brothers. It would be bad if everyone got sick together." Yi Chen nodded. "Well, no problem. It's just right that we should pay more attention to it at night to see if Xiaoguai has a fever." Yi Chen quickly picked up the little boy. Liu Yina saw that Xiaoguai had fallen ill after only being born for a few months. "I feel very sad when I think about my little daughter having to get injections and take medicine." Yi Chen looked at the sad Liu Yina and comforted her. "Don't worry, honey. You may have caught a cold accidentally. It's normal to have a runny nose. I don't have classes tomorrow, so I'll take a leave and stay at home to take care of Xiaoguai." Liu Yina also said, "I'll take a leave too. It's just the beginning of the semester and I don't have many classes to attend." Yi Chen also nodded. "You go take a shower first. I'll hold the little darling and coax her to sleep." Liu Yina looked at Xiaoguai reluctantly and went to the bathroom. Yi Chen held the little darling in his arms and comforted him softly. But sometimes Xiaoguai makes gurgling sounds in his mouth, as if there is phlegm in his nose or something. When Yi Chen heard the sound, he knew that it must be a blocked nose. So I took out the nasal ointment that I had prepared early in the morning and applied it to Xiaoguai's nose. After a long while, Xiaoguai finally stopped making any sound. With Yi Chen's comfort, the little darling fell asleep. Yi Chen put the little girl on the bed to sleep on her side to prevent her from spitting up milk. When Yi Chen came out of the shower, Liu Yina was shocked and said, "Husband, hurry up and drive to the hospital. Little Guaigyu just vomited milk, and I took it with an ear thermometer and it turned out to be a low-grade fever." Yi Chen looked at the listless little darling with a look of heartache. "Okay, you ask Auntie to prepare some things. I'll go to the garage now." Liu Yina nodded and walked to the baby room nearby and told Aunt Zhang, "Aunt Zhang, please help me prepare diapers, water cups, thermos cups, paper towels, etc. We need to take Xiaoguai to the hospital. She has a fever." The movements of Yi Chen and Liu Yina naturally alarmed Yi Chen's parents and Liu Yina's parents, and they all came down to check. "What's wrong?" asked Yi's mother. "Does Xiaoguai have a fever?" Mother Liu asked with concern. Liu Yina said, "Yes, he suddenly vomited milk and was listless. I just took his temperature and it was a low-grade fever. I'm afraid he will have a fever soon." Mother Liu said, "Then I'll go with you." Mother Yi said, "Then you can go with me, Aunt Zhang. I will stay here to help look after Dabao and Erbao. Although there are two aunties on duty, if there is not enough time to make milk at night, someone needs help. It has to be said that if a child has low resistance, he or she is still prone to illness." Yi Chen, who was driving out of the garage, felt a little regretful. Why didn't he get the magic potion out for his family earlier? "Oh, starting tomorrow, I must give my family the magic potion. Otherwise, they will get sick easily. Report to the host. This potion can greatly improve immunity, but it does not mean that you will not get sick after drinking it. For example, if a person gets a fever when catching a cold, or his throat is so inflamed that he can't speak, after drinking the potion if he catches a cold. He may just have a runny nose and alleviate the symptoms, but it does not completely block the virus infection. Yi Chen, I know it's for strengthening the body. As long as it can improve resistance, it's fine. Liu Yina was holding Xiaoguigui, followed by Mother Liu and Aunt Zhang. Aunt Zhang was holding a bag of baby supplies and waiting for Yi Chen at the door of the villa. Yi Chen immediately unlocked the car and asked them to get in. They went to the People's Hospital as quickly as possible. I originally wanted to go to the Women's and Children's Hospital, but this place is closer to the People's Hospital, so I came to the Children's Emergency Department of the People's Hospital. Arriving at the People's Hospital, seeing the emergency room full of parents and children, Yi Chen sighed. It's really easy for hospitals to make money. It would be nice if I had a hospital or a family doctor. I don't have to come here late at night to line up to see a doctor. Even if we have hospitals and family doctors, the best thing to do is to improve our immunity. I wonder if this potion can be mass-produced. If so, can I start a healthcare product company? This is not impossible. After all, this potion was given by the system, so it must be useful. Although it can't prevent the body from getting sick, it can improve resistance and suffer less, which is also good. Yi Chen was thinking while registering Xiaoguigui. Because it was his first time to come to the hospital for treatment, he had to open a card for Xiaoguigui. Fortunately, he wrote down the ID numbers of the 3 babies. This card needs to be opened with the ID number, otherwise he would have to make up for it next time, which would be troublesome. After finishing everything, Yi Chen came back and asked the nurse for a thermometer to measure whether Xiaoguigui had a high fever. Liu Yina was holding her baby in the waiting room waiting for her number to be called. Yi Chen came back with a thermometer and measured the temperature of the little one. But maybe because the thermometer was too cold, the little girl suddenly started crying when the thermometer touched her. Liu Yina hugged the baby and comforted him. "Be good, little darling, mommy is here, don't be afraid." Maybe because the little boy had gotten used to the thermometer, he slowly stopped crying. Yi Chen was also comforting. "Little darling is really good, it will be fine soon. It's okay, mom and dad are here." At this time, Yi Chen suddenly remembered Wang Lin, the captain of the Bayadeli security team. I don't know, does the security company have any emergency doctors? In any case, just give it a call and ask. In Yi Chen's eyes, if his child is sick, it must be an emergency. After all, children are the life of their parents. When their children are sick, the parents are the most distressed. Seeing the little darling spit out the milk he had just finished drinking, Yi Chen felt so distressed. So Yi Chen took out his cell phone and called the security team Captain Wang Lin. Chapter 197 Security Company perfectly solved the problem of seeing a doctor. Thinking of the strength of the Bayadeli security company, Yi Chen immediately called the security team Captain Wang Lin. The call was quickly answered. "Hello, Mr. Yi Chen." Yi Chen asked directly, "My little daughter is sick. Does our company have an emergency medical team or something like that?" Wang Lin said, "Yes, Mr. Yi Chen, the emergency medical team is ready for Mr. Yi at any time." Yi Chen was overjoyed. "Is it possible to ask them to come to my house directly?" Wang Lin said, "Yes, Mr. Yi Chen, if you need it, I will prepare it for you immediately." Yi Chen said on the other end of the phone, "I'm at the People's Hospital now. Can you please prepare something for us here?" Wang Lin replied, "Okay, Mr. Yi Chen, we have someone in the People's Hospital. Please wait, someone will come to find you in a few minutes." Yi Chen said, softly, and then said, "Then tell them to hurry up, the child has a fever and he is taking his temperature now." Wang Lin received Mr. Yi Chen. After hanging up the phone with Wang Lin, Yi Chen walked over to his wife and children. Mother Liu asked, "Yi Chen, what's wrong? Do you have something to deal with? If you are really busy, you can go and do it. We are here." Yi Chen smiled and said, "Mom, I'm fine. I just have a friend who is a doctor here, so I can ask for help." Mother Liu was shocked. "Really? Do you really know a doctor here? That would be great, but will it disturb others?" Yi Chen said, "That shouldn't be the case. He hasn't arrived for work yet." Liu Yina also breathed a sigh of relief. "Husband, it's a good thing you know someone, otherwise I don't know how long I would have to wait for the appointment. As long as the doctor is not at work, it should be fine." Yi Chen said, "Well, the doctor is not at work now. As long as the doctor is not at work, it doesn't matter who is seen first, because some parents will definitely be angry if they see someone cutting in line." In this situation, Wang Lin, the captain of Bayadeli's security team, would definitely think of Yi Chen and would definitely not arrange a doctor on duty. As expected, a male doctor in a white coat rushed towards Yi Chen, followed by 2 nurses. When he walked in front of Yi Chen, he called out softly, "Excuse me, is this Mr. Yi Chen?" Yi Chen nodded, "Yes." "Male doctor, please follow me over here." Yi Chen called Liu Yina, who was comforting the baby, as well as Liu's mother and Aunt Zhang, and they all followed the male doctor. Yi Chen handed the thermometer to the nurse. "Miss Nurse, please take a look at the temperature I just measured." The male doctor and others also stopped. The nurse took the thermometer and took a look. 38.9 degrees, the temperature is quite high. "Mr. Yi Chen, please follow us to the department." Male doctor, "Yes, Mr. Yi Chen, let's go to the department first." When they reached the 19th floor of the hospital, the male doctor led everyone into a department where there were a lot of equipment. The male doctor sat in front of the computer and called Liu Yina. "Mrs. Yi, bring the child and sit over here. Mr. Yi Chen, you can sit wherever you want." Two nurses followed the male doctor. Liu Yina sat next to the computer holding Xiaoguigui. The male doctor asked, "When did the fever start?" Liu Yina said, "About an hour ago, I used an ear thermometer at home, and it was 37.3 degrees, which was a low fever. But now an hour later, it was 38.9 degrees. Is this a high fever? Today I just had a runny nose and sneezed a bit, but I didn't expect the fever to be so high all of a sudden." The male doctor nodded, pressed the little boy's tongue with a flat wooden stick, looked at his throat and frowned. The little boy started crying again as the doctor pressed his tongue and looked at his throat. Liu Yina hurriedly comforted the little darling. The male doctor touched Xiaoguigui's hand again and found that it was a little cold. The child's throat is severely inflamed, and his tonsils are red and swollen. Let's do a blood test first to see if it's a viral or bacterial infection, and then prescribe the right medicine. Liu Yina felt a little distressed that the baby, who was only a few months old, had to suffer like this. Yi Chen and the others all looked a little reluctant. The male doctor looked at the reluctant expressions of the crowd and quickly explained. "The blood test is to more accurately determine the condition. It's just 2 or 3 drops of blood. We won't draw a lot because we're afraid the child will cry." Liu Yina nodded, showing her understanding. "Then smoke it, but be gentle." The nurse came over with tools and did a blood test while smiling. If you go to the outpatient clinic, you have to queue up to see the doctor, get prescriptions, and have your blood drawn. After all this, you definitely won't be able to go home for 3 or 4 hours. And now, Yi Chen has a doctor who specializes in treating Xiaoguigui, and there is also someone to draw blood. The nurse carefully picked up Xiaoguigui's hand, and Xiaoguigui opened his eyes and looked at the cute female nurse with round eyes. The nurse smiled and said to Xiaoguigui, "Little boy, Auntie will be gentle, you don't have to cry, it will be fine soon, okay?" Little darling just stared at the nurse with his big eyes, but when the nurse started to attack him, he couldn't help but burst into tears. "There's nothing we can do. Babies this month really can't understand what adults say. I just felt a sudden pain in my hand, so I burst into tears." Little Guigui cried so sadly that he almost vomited. Yi Chen took the little darling from Liu Yina's hands and comforted him softly. The female nurse took the blood sample and said to Yi Chen and the others, "We'll know the result in about 10 minutes." The female nurse took the blood sample, walked to the side, and started operating the equipment very skillfully. Yi Chen couldn't help but nod repeatedly. This service was good. At least it allowed people to see the progress. About 10 minutes later, the female nurse operated a small computer nearby and typed the results on it. After everything was done, the male doctor went back to his computer, looking at the blood sample report. The male doctor looked at the computer and said, "Mr. Yi, Mrs. Yi, I've seen that the child has a bacterial infection and is now running a fever. He needs to take some antipyretics first and antibiotics. I'll also prescribe some antipyretics for you to take home. Bacterial infections are more troublesome. If the fever is high, you can give him antipyretics. Just pay attention to the child's spirit. I'll prescribe some medicine for you now. It's not recommended to give such a young baby an IV drip. Just take the medicine on time." Liu Yina nodded. "Then where can we pay?" Liu Yina looked at the confused male doctor and nurse in front of her and couldn't help but look at Yi Chen. She also had a question mark on her face. The male doctor smiled and said, "Mrs. Yi, we will pay Mr. Yi Chen for this medical treatment through the company's account, so you don't have to pay." Liu Yina and Liu's mother suddenly realized, "Oh, that's fine." The nurse took the medicine prescribed by the doctor, ground it up one by one, and marked it with 1, 2, and 3. She said to Liu Yina and the others, "Take it in 1, 2, and 3 when you go home. Now you can give the fever-reducing medicine to the child first." Mother Liu quickly took it and said, "Thank you, thank you." Nurse, you're welcome. This is what I should do. After feeding Zioaguegui the antipyretic medicine, Yi Chen led everyone to say goodbye to the doctors. Chapter 198 Ocean Charity Foundation. Just as Yi Chen was walking with his family in the hospital corridor, the system rang. Congratulations to the host for completing the task. The system will reward the host with a room in the Ocean Charity Foundation recognized by his country. Yi Chen couldn't help but be shocked. Charity Foundation. The kind that does good things. Does the system want me to do good things? Is this also a task? However, even if the system doesn't ask me to do good things, I am still a loving person. After thinking about it, Yi Chen walked out of the hospital lobby with his family in a happy mood. Yi Chen said to Liu Yina and the others, "Wait for me at the hospital entrance. I'll drive over from the parking lot." After saying that, he glanced at Zioaguegui and took the elevator to the underground parking lot. Liu Yina held Zioaguegui, Mother Liu held the medicine, and Aunt Zhang carried the baby's things, and they walked to the hospital gate together. When Liu Yina and the others walked to the gate, they saw a man holding a child and a medical record bag in his hand, squatting beside the door. There was some resentment in his eyes, and his hands were shaking. Suddenly, the man came up to Liu Yina with the child in his arms, sobbing helplessly. "Miss, madam, I spent all my money to take my child to see a doctor, and now I have no money to eat. Can you give me $1 or two so I can go to the supermarket to buy some food for the child, or you can buy some for us? I really have no money to eat, and the child is starving." After saying that, the man knelt down and cried bitterly. The child also cried loudly. Liu Yina looked at the man in front of her cautiously, then glanced at the medical record bag in the man's hand. Seeing this, the man immediately handed the medical record to Liu Yina. Mother Liu quickly stepped forward, took the medical record and opened it. "Nana, this is leukemia." The man quickly said, "Yes, I was just diagnosed today, but my family really has no money to treat it, so I thought about taking the child home. If possible, I would rather exchange my life for the child's life, but..." Liu Yina looked at the medical record, then glanced at the father and son kneeling on the ground, and felt pity. "Dad, please get up quickly. If you have anything to say, you can talk slowly. I will ask Auntie to buy you some food first." If he was really sick, he would definitely be able to find the boy's attending physician here, so there was no need to worry about being deceived by them. At this time, Yi Chen also drove over, and saw Liu Yina helping the man kneeling on the ground with one hand. "What is going on? Has your wife been cheated of money?" So Yi Chen quickly found a safe place to park the car and walked to the hospital gate. At this time, Aunt Zhang also came back with some bread and milk. Aunt Zhang handed the food to the man. The little boy immediately reached out his hand, but the man hit him. "You have no respect for your parents." After the man took the food from Aunt Zhang, he immediately thanked Liu Yina and the others. "Thank you, ladies. Thank you so much. If it weren't for you, we don't know how many days we would have been hungry." At this time, some people gathered at the entrance of the hospital to watch the excitement and talked about it. "This man has been begging outside the hospital for 2 or 3 days, but he only asks for food and rarely for money. I guess if he can't get the money, he probably won't leave, right? You are talking nonsense. You came to the hospital pretending to be sick. You must be here to catch a big fish. Haven't you taken the bait? That shouldn't be the case. I saw him paying at the window today. My child had a fever this morning and now has a high fever again, so I remember it very clearly. The father and son must have come to see a doctor." Liu Yina glanced at these people, but she still remained firm in her thoughts. What's true and what's false will be known after a check by Yi Chen's doctor friend. Seeing Yi Chen coming over here, Liu Yina quickly called him to come over. Yi Chen quickened his pace, came to Liu Yina's side and asked, "Wife, what do you want me to do?" Liu Yina said, "This man's child has leukemia, and he said he has no money to treat it, so he wants to take the child home. I feel so sorry for him. Such a young child who has only been in this world for a short time." As she said this, she glanced at the little darling in her arms again. "Ever since I became a mother, I can't stand seeing these things." As he spoke, he could no longer hold back his tears. The man had already wiped away his tears, but he choked up a little. "I'm sorry, sir and madam, It's okay, it's just a life, but it's a pity for the child, he's so young and doesn't understand." It was obvious that the man didn't want to cause trouble to others, and he didn't seem like the kind of person who was trying to extort money, as others said. Yi Chen looked at the man and nodded. "Don't worry, wife. I know a charity organization that specializes in helping people who are really in need. I can help him contact the person in charge. You don't have to worry about this." He was extremely happy to pay for his wife's kindness. Yi Chen now truly understood the significance of the charity foundation, rewarded by the system. The man was instantly excited when he heard this and wanted to kneel down again. "Thank you so much. You are really our savior. Thank you so much." Yi Chen and Liu Yina hurried forward to help him up. "Don't get excited yet. Let me make a phone call." Yi Chen immediately took out his phone, walked to the other side of the door and called the captain of the security team. "Captain Wang Lin, I met a child with blood disease at the door. Arrange for them to be admitted to the hospital now, and I will handle all the expenses." The tone was more of a command. After Wang Lin hung up the phone, he immediately went to make arrangements. Yi Chen quickly took out his mobile phone, found the phone number of the president of the High Charity Foundation that had been edited by the system, and called him. "Hello, Mr. Yi Chen. I'm glad to receive your call. What can I do for you?" When the foundation's chairman Hu Jingkang received Yi Chen's call, he was also shocked at first. Yi Chen said calmly, "I have something to ask." After Yi Chen briefly explained what happened at the People's Hospital, Hu Jingkang finally understood what Yi Chen meant. Hu Jingkang assured, "Don't worry, Mr. Yi, leave this matter to us. After we verify the truth of the matter, we will waive all his medical expenses, as well as his hospitalization fees, food, and lodging, until the child is cured and discharged from the hospital and returns home. In addition, we will help them solve any problems they encounter in life. If he can't be cured, there's nothing he can do." Yi Chen then nodded with relief and said, "Yes, very good." After hanging up the phone with Hu Jingkang, he walked back. The man and the child had finished their bread and a bottle of milk. Yi Chen glanced at Liu Yina and nodded to her affirmatively to reassure her. Seeing this, Liu Yina nodded and naturally knew that Yi Chen had already taken care of the matter. She also knew that neither Yi Chen nor she was short of money, and if it was just the money for leukemia treatment, she could afford it alone. It may cost millions to treat this disease, but millions of dollars is a huge burden for an ordinary family, or it is unaffordable. If anything goes wrong, both your life and your money will be gone. But millions are just a piece of cake for her. If she hadn't met them, perhaps Liu Yina wouldn't have cared. But now that she has met him, she still wants to give the man and child hope. Seeing the child so small and pitiful, she really couldn't bear it. Chapter 199, I have an idea. Knowing that Liu Yina is a kind person and will not sit idly by, Yi Chen decided to help her to the end and arranged everything. Yi Chen said to the young father with the vicissitudes of life, "Don't worry, we will help you solve the problem." The man said gratefully, thank you, benefactor. Son, come here and kowtow to the benefactor." Having said that, he put the child down and knelt directly towards Yi Chen. The child was probably about 2 years old, with a timid expression on his face, and seemed to know that he was sick. The child knelt down as his father instructed and imitated his kowtow. Liu Yina's eyes were moist. She gave the child to Liu's mother and helped the man and child who were kneeling on the ground up together with Yi Chen. Liu Yina couldn't bear it. "Hurry up and hold the baby. We parents are all for the children." "Don't worry, my husband said he will arrange it for you." At this moment, the director of the inpatient department, along with the head nurse and 2 nurses, rushed towards the hospital gate like flying. When they came to Yi Chen, everyone was panting. "Mr. Yi Chen, I'm sorry we're late. I'm Huang Keifeng, the director of the inpatient department." Yi Chen nodded. "Hello, Director Huang. My friend should have explained the situation to you, right?" The director quickly replied, "Mr. Yi, I have just reviewed the medical records of this little Liu Mingxuan. Our hospital has officially admitted him to the inpatient department today and arranged a single room for him. Tomorrow morning, they will be given a comprehensive examination again, and the best doctor will be arranged for their treatment. Everything will be arranged properly for them." Yi Chen said calmly, "I have arranged for a charity to take them in. Don't worry about the cost. We will give them the best of everything. I hope your hospital will not let us down." The director breathed a sigh of relief. "Yes, Mr. Yi, please ask Mr. Liu and little Liu Mingxuan to follow our nurses to the hospital and be admitted first." The man was very grateful and wanted to kneel down again, but Yi Chen quickly helped him up. The man said with tears in his eyes, "Mr. Yi Chen, I have no way to repay your kindness. You are really a great benefactor to our family. Our Zio Mingxuan is saved." Thank you. Yi Chen said, "No need to thank me." He glanced at Liu Yina, who was worried beside him, and said, "If you want to thank someone, thank my wife. It was her kindness that saved you." The man immediately said to Liu Yina, "Thank you, Mrs. Yi, thank you." Liu Yina smiled and said, "Don't thank me, I didn't help you with anything. Just follow the doctor to go through the admission procedures, and you don't have to worry about anything in the future." After the man thanked Yi Chen, Liu Yina and others repeatedly, he followed the nurse from the inpatient department. Director Huang of the inpatient department also said goodbye to Yi Chen and others and left. Yi Chen looked at their backs and thought to himself, it was not that he was unwilling to give the elixir to the man, but it was because the elixir was limited. But suddenly, Yi Chen remembered that there was a universal card in the system space, and he couldn't help but think of a question. If he used the universal card, could he exchange it for an infinite elixir? At this time, the system sounded. Report to the host, the universal card cannot be exchanged for rare elixirs. Such a world-shaking elixir cannot appear in large quantities and disrupt the order of life. But if it can be exchanged for a magic potion. After the system finished speaking, it fell silent. Although he heard the system say no, Yi Chen was still very happy when he heard that the magic potion could be possessed infinitely with the universal card. If we improve our physical fitness, the number of people suffering from diseases will naturally decrease. Do you want to start a healthcare product company? When Yi Chen thought of this, he imprinted this idea in his mind. If the timing is right, Yi Chen wants to open a conscientious healthcare product company, rather than a company that makes money by deceiving the elderly. It is imperative for all the people to strengthen their bodies and improve their physical fitness. So Yi Chen asked the system, System, I want to use the universal card to exchange for endless magical potions. System, yes, host. If you want to start a healthcare product company, you just need to bind the company. Yi Chen said, I will change it first and then see how to operate it. The system immediately started to work. The Magic Potion Unlimited card has been exchanged and placed in the system space. Please check it. Yi Chen was relieved now, but he was secretly thinking, why didn't the system send a company directly? Is it going to take time for good things to happen? He glanced at Liu Yina beside him and took her hand. Wife, you are really kind and loving. Liu Yina glanced at the people around her and smiled. I just did what I should do. At first I thought they were scammers, but when I saw that they only asked for food, I began to believe them. If you let the hospital intervene now, I will definitely not be fooled again. This is true. If you see such a person and don't know anything, just give them money. No one knows whether he is trying to cheat you of your money. Just like the bystanders, they naturally dare not pay attention because they are worried about being cheated. But naturally, some of them bought food for the father and son. Naturally, everything that had just happened was filmed by the people watching in the crowd and posted on a public platform. These videos were discovered by sensitive media professionals who rushed to report them, but that's a story for later. Yi Chen returned home with his family. After taking the medicine, the baby's fever began to subside in about 30 minutes. But in the morning, my fever started to rise again, but it was not as high as a high fever. When feeding him medicine, Xiaoguigui struggled for a bit and even broke out in sweat. When a baby has a fever, sweating can reduce the fever, but Xiaoguigui has always had a low fever below 38 degrees. Yi Chen followed the doctor's advice and gave Xiaoguigui more water. When they opened the social platform, what happened in the people's hospital last night had already spread all over the internet. All netizens on the internet praised Yi Chen and Liu Yina. Wow, are they a couple? They are so adorable. Oh my God! The patient's treatment was arranged clearly with just one phone call. I thought rich people would not get sick because I have never seen many rich people in the hospital. My son is also seriously ill. Where can I find this charity? I can't believe that there are such kind-hearted rich people in my Daxiang city. For a time, Yi Chen and Liu Yina were widely talked about on the internet. Chapter 200, Keep an Eye on Liu Yue. The story between Yi Chen and Liu Yina was uploaded to a public platform by others, quickly spread on the internet, and major media also rushed to report it. For a while, the outside of the ward was full of people, and the Liu father and son also accepted an interview from a relatively authoritative media, Xiangcheng Satellite TV. In front of the camera, he also sincerely thanked the hospital and the charity foundation, especially Yi Chen and his wife. As for other media, Liu's father and son politely declined all requests, citing their medical reasons. Perhaps because the shooting distance was a bit far, Yi Chen and Liu Yina's faces could not be seen clearly, so everyone was very curious about the true appearance of Yi Chen and his wife. Looking at the outlines of this couple, they should be handsome and beautiful. It's rare to find such a kind young couple. Such acts of kindness should be spread. What charity is this? I want to donate. It seems to be the Ocean Charity Foundation. I like charities that do practical things like this. I'll go online and donate the money for my lunch milk tea. Yes, yes, yes. Me too, I won't have afternoon tea in the afternoon either. What? In a short period of time, the Dahai Charity Foundation received approximately several million in donations on the internet. At the same time, he also stated on the public platform that he would follow up on Liu Mingxuan's condition and accept media supervision. Now, Yi Chen's Dahai Charity Foundation's status in society has also been improved. Yi Chen is naturally willing to see such a result. He now understands the real purpose of the system giving him a charity foundation, which is to use the money obtained to help those who need help. Perhaps this is the ultimate goal of the system. At least that's what Yi Chen thought. First of all, he won the favor of the school beauty because of his helpfulness and handsome appearance, and thus got the love that others dream of. Therefore, he wants to use his abilities to help more people. Now he also regards charity as a motivation to make money. He originally planned to start his career after graduation, but given the current situation, he finally made up his mind to realize his career ahead of time. He cannot let his career, family, and studies fall in line. Naturally, he would definitely not ignore Liu Yina because of this. He believed that Liu Yina would definitely support his decision. Liu Yina, who was resting at home, received a WeChat message from Wen Siyu. "Nana, why didn't you come to class?" Liu Yina replied, "My child is sick, so I asked for leave." "Wen Siyu, do you want me to keep the notes for you?" Liu Yina glanced at Yi Chen, then replied, "No, thank you." There was no response from Wen Siyu for a long time. Liu Yina was also busy taking care of the children. Yi Chen was on the balcony, talking on the phone with Wang Lin. Yi Chen, "Well, okay, let's do this. Keep a close eye on Liu Yivi." At this time, Liu Yivi was brewing a cup of tea and handed it to Liu's father. "Uncle, I've made the tea for you. The weather is dry now, so you should drink more water. I bought you some high-quality wolfberries to brew this tea. It's very effective in clearing the liver and nourishing the eyes." Father Liu nodded and said with great satisfaction, "Thank you, Huawei, for your concern. Huawei is so considerate. I'm sure you'll marry into a good family in the future." Liu Yiwei smiled and said, "Thank you for the compliment, Uncle. I don't want to get married so soon. When I learn how to manage a restaurant from Uncle, I can help Sister Nana in the future." Father Liu smiled happily. "Great. I feel relieved that you two sisters can work together to run Liu Fujai." Liu Yiwei glanced at the front hall and said to Father Liu, "Uncle, it's almost lunchtime. I'm going to go see how the kitchen is preparing." Father Liu nodded and smiled. "Okay, go ahead. We need to keep a close eye on the kitchen." After saying that, Liu Yivi turned around and left. But the moment she turned around, the smile on her face disappeared. She thought maliciously in her heart, drink it safely. When you become paralyzed, the whole Liu Fujai will become mine. As long as Father Liu is in poor health, Yi Chen will naturally take over the restaurant in his place. But now is not the right time. Once she has mastered the skills of running a restaurant, it will be time for success. Liu Yivi naturally knew that her cousin was devoted to painting, so how could she take over Liu Fuji? So all the plans were carried out in her hands. Thinking of this, Liu Yivi smiled sinisterly. But what she didn't know was that her every move was being monitored by Yi Chen. Yi Chen was also waiting for the right opportunity to expose her true face. 3 days later, Xiao Aguiguai's illness was almost cured. He only had a cough and a runny nose occasionally, but he was much better now. Normally, children will cough after a high fever, so Xiao Aguiguai's condition was normal. Fortunately, my 2 older brothers were not infected. Otherwise, if 3 of them got sick at the same time, it would have been a bit too much to handle. Liu Yina and Yi Chen also returned to school. Their classmates all saw the news about Yi Chen on the internet, but they were not sure whether it was Yi Chen from their school, because the quality of the video was really not good, and they only saw a human figure. For a moment, the students in the school started a new discussion. Could it be that he is the husband of our school beauty? His name is also Yi Chen. Can the school beauty's husband solve this problem with just one phone call? You know, that charity organization is recognized by the country. Do you know what national recognition means? It's harder to get recognized by the country than for a poor student to get into a 985 or 211 university. There are only 2 charities recognized by the country now. One is the Ocean Charity Foundation, and the other is the Angel Charity Foundation. Both foundations have over 10 billion yuan in funds. These are the only 2 that can be recognized by the country. If you have money, donate to these 2 foundations for sure. Oh my God, these are the only 2 that are recognized in our country. That's really strong. So, you think the school beauty's husband can invite people from this foundation? I don't know about that. What? Yi Chen didn't take these things seriously, and his own people must have known about them. The other people were not important at all, and he didn't know anyone in the school, so he didn't tell anyone else about these. Chapter 201 Health Products Company. However, since Yi Chen has already decided to set up a healthcare product company, he will naturally put this matter in advance, because this is a long and arduous journey. With the help of Bayadeli Security Company, Yi Chen quickly found a pharmaceutical company. This pharmaceutical factory is not very famous, but because it is not a big factory, it does not receive any large orders. I made some money earlier during the craze, but now I have lost a lot of money and can't hold on any longer. Unexpectedly, Yi Chen discovered this pharmaceutical factory and wanted to acquire this pharmaceutical factory, which was not large, but had complete equipment. Now the person in charge and legal representative of the pharmaceutical factory, Chen Zugui, is waiting for the acquirer to come. If he is satisfied with the deal, he can sign the contract and leave. This pharmaceutical factory took him 10 years of hard work. Although the company has an old brand to support it, it is far from enough. You know, in the new era, fine products are emerging in an endless stream, and his medicine with old packaging has long been replaced by others. Older people may still buy it, but the younger generation seldom buys it. Therefore, the income and expenditure were not proportional, and the pharmaceutical company naturally declined without investors. He was sitting in his office, thinking about what kind of person the acquirer was. A knock on the door interrupted his thoughts. A male voice came from outside the door. "Mr. Chen, there is a young man driving a Cullinan outside looking for you." "Okay, I get it." However, Chen Zugui initially thought that the person who came to acquire the pharmaceutical factory would be a greasy middle-aged man with a big belly, but he did not expect that this was a young man. However, since he had the strength to acquire a factory, he naturally should not be underestimated, so he did not dare to be negligent and quickly opened the door and went downstairs to greet him. And Yi Chen also came to the reception room and sat down at the invitation of the security guard. Yi Chen also saw Chen Zugui, who was about 50 years old and looked rather thin. "Hello, are you Mr. Yi? I am the legal representative of this pharmaceutical factory. My name is Chen Zugui." Yi Chen stretched out his right hand. "Hello, my name is Yi Chen." After they shook hands, they sat down. "Mr. Chen, I'm here to acquire your pharmaceutical factory. Can I take a look at your factory first?" Yi Chen naturally didn't say any more nonsense to the other party. He just toured the entire pharmaceutical factory first. Although he had read the investigation of Bayadeli Security Company, he still relied on what he saw with his own eyes. He wanted to take a look at the pharmaceutical company's R&D team and see the approximate capabilities of those people. In this way, the magic potion in Yi Chen's hand can be used. Otherwise, if such a product with outstanding effects in improving immunity appeared out of nowhere, it would definitely attract other people's attention, because Yi Chen wanted to promote it under the banner of 100% effectiveness. After all, if this formula comes out, it will definitely cause a sensation in the industry. Yi Chen doesn't want his life to be disturbed by too many people, so he decided to keep a low profile. At first, Chen Zugui thought that Yi Chen was just a playboy, and that buying his factory was somewhat interesting. During this round of tour with Yi Chen's questions not only asked him some more professional knowledge, but also made Chen Zugui feel that Yi Chen was quite sincere. Although he planned to sell the factory, he did not want to hand it over to an incompetent person. He still wanted to see his factory survive and to find stable jobs for his employees. Although Yi Chen had already read the information of the entire factory under Wang Lin's investigation, he was still shocked when he came to visit the entire factory. The entire factory covers an area of only a few thousand square meters, but unfortunately the factory building is only rented. This is the first problem Yi Chen has to solve when he takes over the pharmaceutical factory. That is, to take over the entire factory and the land nearby. In this way, it will be more convenient for him to build a new factory in the future when he develops. When in the production area, many workers were seen chatting. When they saw Yi Chen and the others coming, they all smiled naively. Chen Zugui said, "If you want to buy the whole factory, I hope the workers here will take it over as well. They have been working here for nearly 10 years. They are all veteran employees and are very skilled in operating the machines. They will definitely satisfy you." Yi Chen looked at Chen Zugui in front of him and couldn't help but praise him. "Boss Chen is really a good boss. I didn't expect that even at this point, he still wants to find a way out for old employees." Just now, Yi Chen had used his knowing people with a clear eye skill to test Chen Zugui. This person is also very honest and trustworthy, and is someone who is trustworthy. Chen Zugui sighed. 10 years ago, they accompanied me from the beginning of the small factory to now. They are my most loyal employees. I can only blame myself for not knowing how to do marketing. But these are not important anymore. I hope Mr. Yi can treat them well. Yi Chen smiled and said, "Of course. What about your R&D staff here? Are they still there?" After hearing Yi Chen's question, Chen Zugui couldn't help but laugh and said, "Actually, I'm the only one left in the R&D team. I used to have a group of like-minded people doing R&D together, and we made a lot of money at that time. But since the factory started to lose money, they all left because of their livelihoods. After all, no one can stick with it. Maybe I'm really not suitable for running a factory. I worked as a doctor in a tertiary hospital for more than 10 years and obtained a doctorate in medicine. At that time, I also worked as a drug researcher in the hospital for nearly 10 years, developing drugs specifically for the hospital. Later, I went out to work on my own and opened this pharmaceutical factory." Chen Zugui told Yi Chen a lot about his past experiences, and Yi Chen listened carefully. "Don't worry, I'm not good at anything else, but I'm very tight-lipped. After the factory is sold, I'll be unemployed. If you need me to do research here, I'll have no problem with that. We can sign a contract, and everything will be subject to the contract." Naturally, Chen Zugui also wanted to stay in the factory and witness its glory. I just don't know if Yi Chen is willing. Yi Chen did not expect that this thin middle-aged man in front of him could be so flexible and did not care about being reduced from a pharmaceutical factory boss to a worker. Moreover, he is indeed a talented person. You know, it was very rare to have a doctor of medicine more than 20 years ago. Yi Chen had also heard from others that anyone who studied medicine had to memorize at least a room's worth of books. So what about a doctor of medicine? How terrifying this is. Yi Chen was instantly fond of this knowledgeable medical doctor in front of him. He really admired such a persevering person. Even if Yi Chen had the skill of photographic memory, he would still have a headache if he had to read a whole room of books. That's awesome. Chapter 202. Set up a pharmaceutical factory directly. At that moment, Yi Chen made the decision. "Mr. Chen, you are actually a doctor of medicine. You know, in this society, a doctor of medicine is really a rare animal." After praising Chen Zugui, he got to the point. "How about this? I won't buy the factory." Hearing this, Chen Zugui became anxious. "Mr. Yi Chen, this is not possible, I. But he was soon interrupted by Yi Chen's words. "Mr. Chen, please listen to me first. I said I will not acquire the pharmaceutical factory, but I will change the investment method, but I will inject capital. I will make the factory a joint stock company and reformulate the shareholding contract. I will take full responsibility for your factory and start running it directly on the basis of your existing factory. You will continue to hold your original position. I am the largest shareholder of the pharmaceutical factory. You can have 10% of the factory's shares and dividends and an annual salary of 3 million. Look, how about this?" Finally, Yi Chen added, "I'll leave the internal management of the pharmaceutical factory to you. After all, these employees have been with you for a long time. As for the marketing of the products, leave it to me. Is that okay? In fact, this is just a change of name, but the substance remains the same. It is similar to acquiring a factory, but it sounds better when put it that way. However, in this way, the healthcare product company that Yi Chen wanted to set up would directly become a pharmaceutical factory. If he let Chen Zugui do the research and development for him, and he didn't know what kind of high-tech the system would reward in the future, it would be quite convenient if he had a pharmaceutical factory. Chen Zugui didn't expect Yi Chen to be so generous. While he had an annual salary of 3 million, he actually gave him 10% of the shares as dividends. Although he didn't have any shares, the dividends were an unknown. Not only do I not have to leave the pharmaceutical factory, but I can also stay here to do research and development. Moreover, an annual salary of several million is already more than what he has earned from running the pharmaceutical factory over the years, not to mention the dividends. Although he no longer has shares in the pharmaceutical company, this 10% dividend should be considered a share. This was a very satisfying ending for him. After thinking about it, Chen Zugui directly agreed to Yi Chen's request. After Chen Zugui agreed, Yi Chen directly injected capital into the company, thus saving the money for buying the pharmaceutical factory. Everyone was happy. The first thing Yi Chen did was to ask the landlord here to buy this piece of land, and the several pieces of land next door as well. The contract must also be prepared by the company's legal representative and signed by a notary public. So on that day, Yi Chen was unable to complete the entire procedure, but he also signed a temporary agreement. The agreement stated that Yi Chen would inject 5 billion yuan into the development of the pharmaceutical factory, as well as some agreed upon share distribution issues. Make another appointment tomorrow to sign all the documents and change the name. From then on, the name of the pharmaceutical factory had to be changed from Tianyi Pharmaceutical Factory to Chenyi Pharmaceutical. Yi Chen also considered whether to let Chen Zugui study the magic potion, but he estimated that humans could not research things sent by the system. After everything was done, Yi Chen sent his potion here. This work was done until after 3 in the afternoon, when Yi Chen finally returned home. It just so happened that today was Sunday, and Liu Yina was asked out by Gu Yingying because she wanted to learn from her how to fall in love. This is just a reason. Actually, Gu Yingying just wants to go out shopping. Since giving birth, Liu Yina has mainly worn sportswear because it makes it more convenient to take care of her child. Gu Yingying is also in love with Yi Hui, and their relationship has warmed up after that misunderstanding recently. The two of them also started wearing couple outfits, and they were just one step away from living together. Because of work, Deng Jai has moved out of Gu Yingying's apartment and lives at the company's location, which makes it convenient for the two to visit each other. The two of them went into a shoe store together wearing some more casual clothes. Gu Yingying has been complaining about Yi Hui's straight male behavior. While talking, the two walked into a shoe store. Gu Yingying looked at the name of the store, then took a look inside. Huh, is this store newly opened? Why haven't I seen it before? The salesperson at the door said to the two people, Hello, our shoes are designed by our own designers and produced in our own factory. If you like, come in and take a look. Gu Yingying and Liu Yina took a look and decided to go inside to take a look. Nana, what do you want to do after graduation? Gu Yingying couldn't help but ask. Liu Yina thought for a moment and said, I should have told you before that I want to hold an exhibition at the World Pavilion. I will keep all my previous works and those that are intentional and interesting. Gu Yingying, what about after that? After all, you are already married, haven't you ever thought about the future? Or do you want to be a full-time wife at home? Yi Chen is such a good man, he shouldn't go out to fool around so you don't have to worry. When Liu Yina mentioned Yi Chen, she couldn't help but smile. Yeah, I'm really not worried about him, but I haven't figured out what I want to do. Gu Yingying's eyes lit up. How about opening a clothing store with me and designing what I like here, and setting up a small factory to specialize in the things I design? Liu Yina took a look here and nodded. Well, this can be considered. Gu Yingying smiled and said, Okay, I'll ask my dad. Some things are better prepared early. Liu Yina smiled. I haven't agreed yet. After Gu Yingying and Liu Yina entered the store, they chatted for a few minutes, but no one came to greet them. Liu Yina was eyeing a pair of black high heels at the moment, so she asked a salesperson at the cashier, Excuse me. The saleswoman didn't even come over and shouted, I'm so sorry, but we only have size 35. They won't fit you. Saleswoman 1 walked over here while talking. Liu Yina picked up another pair of shoes and asked, What about this pair? Saleswoman 1 said nonchalantly, For this pair, if you're sure you want me to check the inventory for you. Gu Yingying found it funny. If I don't try it, how can I know if it's suitable for me? If it's suitable, I will definitely take it. Saleswoman 1 also chuckled. If I go to the warehouse to get it for you and you don't want it, then wouldn't my trip be in vain? Gu Yingying also laughed. Aren't you doing this sales job? At this time, a woman in exquisite clothes walked in from outside the door, and the other female salesperson also came over and surrounded the woman. When the female salesperson 1 saw this, she naturally wanted to entertain them as well. At this time, a female salesperson 3 came out from the warehouse. Saleswoman 1 immediately called out to saleswoman 3, Hey, come over and entertain them. I have to go get busy. After saying that, he left without looking back. When he came in front of the exquisite woman, he hurried to help her get the shoes from the warehouse. Seeing this, Gu Yingying immediately wanted to curse. Liu Yina immediately pulled her back. Forget it, isn't there someone to entertain us? Gu Yingying was also very angry. Who are these people? They really think we can't afford it, right? After rolling her eyes at those people, Gu Yingying continued. Nana, which pair do you like? You paid for my clothes before, so I'll pay for you this time. Take whatever you like, don't be polite with me. Chapter 203, Buy whatever you like. How could Gu Yingying have ever suffered such humiliation? He immediately said to Liu Yina, Nana, buy whatever you like, I'll pay. We won't tolerate this. Gu Yingying glanced at the saleswoman 3 who was standing aside and didn't dare to speak, and asked in a low voice, Don't be afraid, my sisters are like this. Are you new here? After all, the salesmanship just now could only be done by old employees. Although Gu Yingying has only been working for a short time, she is already accustomed to these snobs. Saleswoman 3 whispered, "Yes, ladies, I just gave birth to a child and took care of him until he was 2 years old before I started working. So if there is anything you are not satisfied with, just point it out and I will change it. Don't complain to me." Upon hearing this, Liu Yina turned around and said to Saleswoman 3, "Your child is already 2 years old." Female Salesperson 3, "Yes, I will wait until my child goes to kindergarten before I go back to work. Which pair do you like? I will go to the warehouse to see if we have them. The shoes here are all small sizes, so they probably won't fit you." Gu Yingying and Liu Yina are both over 165 cm tall, and most of the shoes displayed here are size 35 and 36, with very few size 37. At this time, the female salesperson, one on the other side, could only hear her loudly say, "These 2 pairs are new products that just came back this morning. You can try them. There are 3 colors in total: white, black, and red. They are also on sale now. You can take a look." Liu Yina and Gu Yingying took a look over there, and then started looking at their own things. Liu Yina picked up a pair of white flat shoes and asked, "Do you have a size 37.5? Gu Yingying came over and asked, "Nana, didn't you wear size 37 before?" Liu Yina said, "Yes, the past is the past and the present is the present. After I became pregnant, I don't know if it was because the baby was particularly heavy, but the load on my feet was too heavy, and even my feet became bigger. You don't know, when I was pregnant, I wore Yi Chen's slippers, and my feet were so swollen that I couldn't wear my own slippers." Gu Yingying, "No way after getting pregnant will the feet get bigger. This is too magical, right?" Liu Yina smiled and said, "You'll know when you get pregnant, but if you're not pregnant with twins or triplets, you probably don't have to worry about your feet getting bigger." The saleswoman 3 on the side smiled and said, "What should I call you ladies?" Gu Yingying, "My last name is Gu and my sister's last name is Liu, but you can call her Mrs. Yi." Female Salesperson 3 said, "Ms. Gu, what Ms. Liu said is true, because after I got pregnant and gave birth, my feet also became a little bigger." Gu Yingying looked at her size 38 feet and exclaimed, "No way, I don't want to wear a size 39. Liu Yina smiled. It could also be due to different physiques. Liu Yina said to the saleswoman 3, "This pair and this pair both for me size 37.5. If they don't have it, forget it." Gu Yingying also quickly listed the shoes she had her eyes on. "Just as your classmate said, give me a pair of new shoes in size 38 and this, and that. I want them all." "Humph, how dare you look down on me? You are dead." Saleswoman 3 quickly took out her notebook and explained, "Sorry, I have to write it down. I can't remember so much at once." Liu Yina smiled and said, "It's okay, just remember it slowly, we can wait." Saleswoman 3 took notes while saying, "Wait a moment, I'll get you a glass of water." After copying, the female salesperson 3 immediately walked to the cashier counter, poured a glass of water for Liu Yina and Gu Yingying, and then went into the warehouse to pick up the items. About 5 or 6 minutes later, the delicate young lady next to me was still trying on shoes and taking pictures, and the area around her was already filled with shoes. Finally, the elegant lady pointed to the pair of high heels on her feet that were half off and said, "I want this pair. Pay by credit card." Gu Yingying looked over here and couldn't help but cover her mouth and laugh. Liu Yina patted Gu Yingying and signaled her not to do that. Gu Yingying couldn't help but snorted coldly. "Humph, what I hate most is people who look down on others like this." Liu Yina was about to say something when saleswoman 3 came back with 5 or 6 pairs of shoes. "Sorry, ladies, I kept you waiting. These are the shoes you wanted. These 2 pairs are for Miss Liu, these 3 pairs are for Miss Gu, and there are 6 more pairs to go. Please wait a moment." After saying that, he immediately walked towards the warehouse. Liu Yina picked up the pair of white flat shoes and put them on. "How about it? Do they look good? This pair should be good for taking care of children in the future. It's not suitable to wear high heels." Gu Yingying also sighed. "Oh my God! The former little queen of high heels actually wears little white shoes for her children. It seems that the power of children is really great." Liu Yina smiled and said, "You will know when you have children. Your own children are different. They will arouse the maternal instinct in you and make you love them unconditionally." Gu Yingying seemed to have some aspirations as well. "Maybe, but I'm also afraid. Afraid of giving birth, afraid of the pain of natural childbirth, afraid of the pain of cesarean section." At this time, the saleswoman 3 came back and said, "I'm sorry, Miss Gu, we don't have the white size 38, but we do have the black size. I brought the black one and you can try it." Liu Yina took off the shoes she was trying on and put them back in the box. This action was seen by the saleswoman one, who couldn't help but smile. But this sneer was seen by Gu Yingying. Gu Yingying waved her hand and said, "No need to try, I want them all." Saleswoman 3 was shocked. "Ms. Gu, I think you should try the shoes on to know whether they are comfortable or not." Gu Yingying waved her hand and said to Liu Yina, "Nana, which pair do you like?" Liu Yina said, "No more, I just like these 2 pairs of flat shoes." Gu Yingying, "Then wrap it up." The saleswoman 3 didn't dare to breathe and said, "Yes, Miss Gu, please follow me over here." The female salesperson was holding 6 pairs of shoes and brought Liu Yina and Gu Yingying to the cashier counter. Behind them, Gu Yingying and Liu Yina helped carry another 5 pairs of shoes and walked towards the cashier. At this time, the saleswoman 1 came over again and said to the trainee saleswoman 3 with a smile, "You have just been in the store for a few days and are not familiar with the system. Let me help you check out." Obviously, he is relying on his status as a senior employee to snatch away the sales performance of female salesperson 3. However, Gu Yingying flatly refused. "Sorry, I don't need your reception. I want this salesperson to help me check out." Liu Yina also said, "It's okay, take your time, we are free and can wait." The saleswoman 1 was now speechless. She forced a smile and walked aside awkwardly to watch. Female salesperson 3 looked at Gu Yingying and Liu Yina with gratitude. Gu Yingying and Liu Yina both smiled and nodded at her. After a few minutes, the saleswoman 3 said to Gu Yingying, "Hello, Miss Gu. The total is 93,800 yuan, which already includes the discount." Gu Yingying handed over the card. "Swipe the card." Chapter 204, In the Face of True Love. It doesn't matter who takes the initiative. Gu Yingying handed the card to saleswoman 3. "Swipe the card." With just 100,000, you can see the female salesperson looking deflated. It feels so good. After Gu Yingying got the card back, she asked saleswoman 3, "Please send us your WeChat, and if there are any new models, please send them to us as soon as possible." Female saleswoman 3 quickly handed over her card. "This is my card, with the WeChat QR code on it. Just scan it and you can add me. Thank you, ladies." Female salesperson 3 is really grateful to Gu Yingying and Liu Yina. In the past few days, many of her orders have been snatched away by old employees. This order from Gu Yingying was the first order she had received in the past few days. As a mother who has been away from society for 2 years after giving birth, this journey has been extremely difficult. I was angry but dared not say anything when faced with the rush for orders. Today's order gave her courage, and she must be more tough in the future. Liu Yina naturally understood how difficult it was for a postpartum mother, so she took extra care of the female salesperson. If she liked a pair of shoes in the future, she would still come to her to buy them. Gu Yingying and Liu Yina walked out of the store carrying more than a dozen shopping bags. But the female salesperson 1 took a deep breath and seemed to be beginning to regret it. "Gu Yingying, it's too late to regret now." Holding a few shopping bags, Gu Yingying asked Liu Yina with a smile, "Nana, did you see that?" The saleswoman's face was as sullen as a bitter gourd. "Haha, it was so funny." Liu Yina glanced back, then turned to Gu Yingying and said, "Forget it, why bother with such a person so much?" Gu Yingying laughed twice and said, "If no one offends me, I won't offend anyone." Then he asked Liu Yina, "Oh my God, I didn't know my fighting power was so strong. I bought 11 pairs of shoes at once." "Liu Yina, do you still want to go shopping now?" "Gu Yingying, put your things back in your car first and then we can continue shopping." Liu Yina had no choice but to let her do as she pleased. Gu Yingying entered the elevator and saw that there were only 2 people, so she asked Liu Yina, "Nana, although my relationship with Yi Hui has warmed up last time, it hasn't gone any further." Liu Yina coughed twice. "Hey, what do you want to do? If you really want to do something, why don't you be more direct? I think Yi Hui is also a straightforward person. If you choose to hint or do something roundabout, I don't think Yi Hui will really understand." Gu Yingying nodded. "That's true. I know his personality, but you also know that I'm a girl, so I have to be more reserved." Liu Yina also laughed. "If you were reserved, you would probably be like this now." Gu Yingying, "Oh, this is so annoying. Can't men take the initiative a little more?" Liu Yina said, "When it's time to take the initiative, take the initiative. Isn't it good to be like me?" After saying that, Liu Yina also lowered her head and smiled. Gu Yingying, "It seems so okay. Yes, it was Liu Yina who took the initiative first, so they have such a happy family. For 2 people in love, it doesn't matter who takes the initiative first. In the evening, Liu Yina did not have dinner with Gu Yingying, but went home for dinner. Yi Chen looked at Liu Yina, who was unloading goods at the door, and hurried over. "Wow, did my wife go shopping today?" Liu Yina smiled and said, "Yes, Ying said she would treat us today. We paid last time, so she came this time. Look, I bought a lot of things, but she bought a lot too. Yi Chen hurried forward to move the goods and asked with a smile, "Wife, is there any share for me?" Liu Yina smiled and said, "How could there be no share for my husband? Don't worry, your wife didn't forget to buy it for you." Yi Chen smiled and asked, "Wow, thank you, my wife is the best. To repay my wife for being so kind to me, I have prepared a nutritious meal for you. It was made by my husband himself." Liu Yina immediately hugged Yi Chen's strong arms. "Thank you, husband." The two walked hand in hand. Liu Yina suddenly said, "Husband, have you ever thought about promoting the nutritious meal? After all, this is a good thing you designed, and I don't think I can enjoy it alone." Yi Chen smiled at his wife and said, "If I design it for my wife, it should be made for her only. But I have listened to your suggestion, and I accept your suggestion." Liu Yina said excitedly, "Yes, we have a restaurant at home. I think we can make use of it." Yi Chen said, "Let me think about it first and then discuss it with you and Dad." Liu Yina smiled and said, "Okay." Yi Chen thought to himself that his wife's suggestion was not bad. Modern people have very irregular diets and like to eat junk food. This healthy and nutritious meal has development prospects. There are also some niche groups of people, such as diabetics, those who want to lose fat and gain muscle, etc., who are all good development directions. If he were to run a restaurant, this would also be a good option. Yi Chen thought of this and said to Liu Yina, "What I want to do most right now is a pharmaceutical factory. I have contacted the pharmaceutical factory for sale and visited it today. I think I can sign the contract tomorrow after everything is ready. I brought some things back. They are some health supplements that can help strengthen your body. Send some to Dad later. Our whole family will need them. They are 100% effective in strengthening our immune system." Liu Yina couldn't help but wonder, is it really 100% effective? That would be great. I don't want to see babies get sick anymore. Liu Yina naturally believed in Yi Chen, so she did not doubt Yi Chen's words. If he said it was 100% effective, then it must be effective. Yi Chen carried a pile of shopping bags and went back to the room with Liu Yina. Mother Liu came out at this time. "Nana, why didn't you have dinner with Ying before coming back?" Yi Chen had already walked into the room with the shopping bag. Liu Yina said to Liu's mother at the door, "Mom, Ying has a boyfriend, so of course she is with him. I am embarrassed to be a light bulb for her, right?" Mother Liu also smiled and said, "Ying is finally in love. That's great." After saying that, he walked back into the room. After Liu Yina returned to the room, she asked Yi Chen, "Why did my mother ask about Ying?" Yi Chen smiled and said, "I don't know either. I seem to have heard her tell my mother that one of her relatives had a crush on Ying. It must be your cousin Lan. It seemed like your cousin was also there when we got married last time." Liu Yina couldn't help but frown. "My cousin Lan. When I got married, his father, my second uncle, gave me 20 kilograms of gold." Yi Chen couldn't help but be shocked. "No way, so strong, I don't even know these things." Liu Yina said, "Of course, I have 3 uncles and only my mother and 1 sister. My uncles are all quite rich. When my father first became rich, my uncles helped him a lot. Otherwise, my father wouldn't have achieved what he has today." Yi Chen also nodded. Chapter 205, The Idea of Selling the Children's Day Treasure. After Liu Yina folded her things into a shopping bag and put them away, she asked Yi Chen, "Husband, didn't you just say that you brought back some health supplements and wanted our whole family to try them?" Yi Chen took out a few small transparent glass bottles from his pocket. "These are it. We haven't designed the packaging yet. This is the original liquid. Some other designs should be added later. We will just drink the original liquid. Just pour the original liquid into the water. After the later stage design, it should be possible to take it directly," Yi Chen said as he handed it to Liu Yina. "Hubby, you're awesome. How did you come up with the idea of starting a pharmaceutical factory?" Yi Chen said, "You also know that our little darling is sick. My husband is also thinking that if the whole nation can improve their immunity, they won't have a fever or cough when they catch a cold. This is what every parent hopes for." Liu Yina nodded. "Yes, watching such a young child take medicine, get injections, and have blood drawn is really too much suffering." Yi Chen nodded. "This can definitely improve resistance and immunity. If it can be done, then we parents will definitely be willing to buy it for children and the elderly." Liu Yina also nodded. "Yeah. Although I don't know where you know these things, but I know that you, my husband, always put the family first and think about our family. Whether it's thinking about making money or not, your starting point is for this family." Yi Chen hugged Liu Yina and said, "Of course, I want to make money so that our family can live a better life and no longer worry about money. I want you and your family to eat whatever you want and buy whatever you want, and for our children to receive the best education. These still require hard work on my part. If the child wants a castle or a playground in the future, his current financial resources are not enough to buy it, and he can only rely on the power of the system. For example, now, if you want to run a pharmaceutical factory, you have to borrow the system's 10 unlimited credit cards. At this moment, the system's blunt voice suddenly sounded. Hello, host. This unlimited credit card can only be used on family members. Report completed. Yi Chen quickly asked the system, I want to build a pharmaceutical factory to improve children's immunity. Can I use one card? Hello, host. Any profit-making activities are not allowed. Report completed. Yi Chen frowned and thought for a while. What if I buy it and then sell it? Report to the host, it's okay. As long as the baby doesn't want it, you can sell it. I would like to remind the host that all system rewards can be used at the host's will. Yi Chen took a deep breath, that's it. Liu Yina asked Yi Chen, husband, what's wrong? Yi Chen said frankly, I want to sell the shares of June 1 Baby and invest in a pharmaceutical factory. I want to do something big. Liu Yina lay on Yi Chen's chest. Husband, no matter what you want to do, I will support you. She took out the black card from her bag and said, Honey, I haven't touched the billion on this card yet. You can use it first. Yi Chen took the black card from Liu Yina and promised solemnly, Wife, thank you for your support. After the pharmaceutical factory makes a profit, I will return it to you double. Liu Yina smiled and said, We are husband and wife. How can we tell what is yours and what is mine? You don't have to pay it back. Yi Chen was deeply moved. His wife supported his career so much. Having such a virtuous wife was enough for his life. Yi Chen said with emotion, Thank you, my wife, you are so kind. Liu Yina hugged Yi Chen and said, Love is mutual. You are so good to me. How can I bear to make you frown? When Liu Yina heard Yi Chen say that he wanted to sell the shares of June 1st Baby, she knew that Yi Chen had encountered financial problems this time. It happened that she had a black card worth more than 1 billion yuan given by Yi Chen, so Yi Chen was thinking about the money problem, and she was not short of money. How could she stand idly by? Yi Chen was also very touched by Liu Yina's unconditional dedication, and at the same time, he also strengthened his entrepreneurial direction. Although Yi Chen now owns Huacheng Building, hotels, security companies, shopping malls, etc., these cannot all be used to raise 5 billion in investment funds. Among these industries, Yi Chen felt that June 1st Baby was an industry that could be sold. After discussing with his wife, Yi Chen took the black card handed over by Liu Yina, and his heart was filled with mixed emotions. Liu Yina also silently comforted Yi Chen. Everything is fine. When the boat reaches the bridge, it will naturally straighten itself out. There is always a bright future ahead. Maybe there will be unexpected surprises among them. Yi Chen was also enlightened when he heard this. My wife is right. Dinner is ready for you. Please come and have dinner. Liu Yina smiled sweetly and said, Thank you, husband. The two of them went to have dinner together. Morning. After breakfast, Liu Yina went to play with the child, while Yi Chen returned to the room. When he was thinking about how to deal with the shares of June 1st Baby, he received a message. Bank information. 326,348,900 yuan has been received. Note, Huacheng Building Property Management Company. When Yi Chen picked up his phone and was counting the zeros, Liu Quanzheng, the property manager of Huacheng Building, called. On the phone, Liu Quanzheng's voice was very excited and said, Hello, Mr. Yi Chen, I'm sorry to bother you. Did you receive the bank account information just now? 5 minutes ago, our company's finance department has transferred the rent for the first half of the year to you. This rent has been deducted from all expenses. The total amount received is 326,348,900 yuan. Please pay attention to it. Yi Chen couldn't help but be surprised. More than 300 million were collected in the first half of the year. Liu Quanzheng was confused. Mr. Yi Chen, is there any problem? Yi Chen quickly said, It's okay, I'll go check the information and count the money. Liu Quanzheng hung up the phone sourly, thinking in his heart, how great it would be if I could be like him and earn 500 or 600 million a year just sitting at home. Let alone 500 or 600 million, even 500,000 or 600,000 a year would be enough to live a good life. I'm really envious. After Yi Chen hung up the phone, he immediately opened the message. While counting the numbers after 3, he sighed. This time I was given more than 300 million. Is it that powerful? Before Yi Chen could finish his sigh, he received another bank deposit message. Chapter 206, Losing Your Wife Will Make You Rich. Before Yi Chen could finish his sigh, he received another bank deposit message. 4,028,387,998 yuan has been deposited into the bank account. Note Tingley Hotel. This time, Yi Chen hadn't counted how many zeros there were when a call came in from Zhu Quanzhu, the general manager of Tingley Hotel. After Yi Chen turned off the ringing sound, he counted and said, 1, 10, 100,000. 1 billion, more than 4 billion. No way. At this time, Yi Chen quickly answered the call from Zhu Quanzhu in the hotel. Zhu Quanzhu said apologetically, "I'm sorry to bother you so early, Mr. Yi Chen. The finance department has just transferred the profits of the 35 Tingley hotels in the past 6 months to your account, totaling 4,028,387,998 yuan. Please check it." Yi Chen was still in shock at this time and did not reply. When Zhu Quanzhu heard that Yi Chen did not respond, he became extremely anxious. "I'm sorry, Mr. Yi Chen. The profit in the past 6 months is more than 100 million less than the profit in the last 6 months of last year. It's mainly my fault." Yi Chen finally reacted and said quickly, it's okay. More than 100 million is just a small matter. It's none of your business now. I'm hanging up." On the other end of the line, only Zhu Quanzhu was left holding the phone, his face messy in the wind. More than 100 million is just a small matter. He has been working hard for more than 10 years, let alone more than 100 million. In this fragrant city, he has only mortgaged a house and is still paying off the loan. What a world of rich people. I am so envious. Yi Chen was so shocked when he saw the 4 billion yuan deposited into his mobile phone that he was speechless. However, there is an even bigger surprise waiting for Yi Chen. 302,322,349 yuan has been deposited into the bank account. Note, half-year dividend from Bayadeli Security Company. 1,399,903,990 yuan has been credited to the bank account. Note, Daming for Mall's profit for half a year. 203,888,900 yuan has been deposited into the bank account. Note, half-year dividend for Zindan department store shares. Yi Chen stared at the message on his phone. OMG, this is impossible. How many billions did I get at once? Look at how many billions. When Yi Chen reacted, he immediately picked up his phone and took a look at the balance on it. Good job. This gave Yi Chen almost 6 billion. The ancients never deceived me. As the saying goes, a wife lost is 100 fortunes lost. Only by being good to your wife can you have good fortune. The right thing to do is to be a responsible man. Looking at the balance shown on the card, Yi Chen thought a lot. Now Yi Chen doesn't have to sell his shares in June 1st baby. Thinking of this, Yi Chen put the black card back into the bag that Liu Yina often carried. Yi Chen has already received his wife's kindness. Now that he has money, he naturally doesn't need to use his wife's money. To be honest, Yi Chen felt a little sorry for Liu Yina. He gave her the money and actually asked her to use it for emergency. It was really wrong. After thinking about it, Yi Chen transferred another 500 million to Liu Yina's black card and another 10 million to their respective parents. Walking downstairs to the living room, Mother Liu asked Yi Chen, "Yi Chen, I heard from Nana that you said you were going to start a pharmaceutical factory or something. Why are you transferring money to us? We are not short of money now. You don't have to transfer money to us." Yi Chen smiled and said to Mother Liu, "Mom, don't worry. I have received the money from other investments, so I have enough money now." Liu Yina looked at Yi Chen, pulled him aside, and asked in a low voice, "Husband, do you really have enough money? After all, your investment has to be calculated in billions." Yi Chen whispered in Liu Yina's ear, "Honey, don't worry. My hotel, shopping mall, and other profits have all arrived today. There are billions, and I have transferred 500 million to your black card." Liu Yina exclaimed, "No way, so many." Yi Chen smiled and said, "Yes, this is only the profit for half a year. Because of the need to file taxes and so on, the money is delayed in arriving. So you really don't have to worry about your husband." Yi Chen assured Liu Yina again, fearing that she would not believe him. Mother Yi's voice came from the door, "Yi Chen, come out and help. Quick, quick, quick." Yi Chen responded loudly, "Oh, I'm coming, Mom." Yi Chen took Liu Yina and walked to the entrance of the villa. "I saw that Mother Yi bought a bunch of things, and now the car is full inside and out." Father Yi called Yi Chen over to help move things to the small room next to the baby's room. That small room was used to store baby clothes, and it was obvious that these things were bought by Mama Yi and Papa Yi for the babies. Yi Chen couldn't help but shook his head. "Mom, why did you buy so many things?" Mother Yi seems to be still very excited. If this car is not too full, I will continue to buy. The baby clothes there are really beautiful. I bought one of each color and also bought a size larger so that I can wear them when I grow up. I almost moved that store back. Not bad. Mother Yi looked at her trophies and was extremely satisfied. Liu Yina smiled and said, "As long as Mom likes it, it's good. My baby is growing fast, so if I buy it first, I can wear it when the time comes." Mother Yi smiled and said, "Nana is right. I am very far-sighted. Hurry up and move it upstairs. I have to sort it out one by one. I even bought a small cart." "Yi Chen, don't you have a few cars at home?" Mother Yi, "Well, when the time comes. If the baby gets dirty while playing, we can change it. What if he gets it dirty accidentally while eating? Then he has to wash it and wait for it to dry. Besides, this stroller can only be used after the baby is 1 year old. Therefore, women always have reasons for what they buy." Yi Chen shook his head helplessly and helped carry dozens of shopping bags upstairs. Back in the room, Mother Yi looked at the pile of her spoils and smiled from ear to ear. "Tomorrow, wash all of these, and the babies can wear them the day after tomorrow or tonight." Mother Liu also helped to organize the clothes. "Wow, mother-in-law, you spent a lot of money. Look at the quality of these clothes. They are made of pure cotton." Mother Yi said, "Of course, I just like this pure cotton one. It's skin-friendly, so soft. It feels so comfortable." After Yi Chen moved the things upstairs, he left directly. Liu Yina also followed in, organizing and sorting things. The three women were chatting animatedly inside, while Yi's father and the aunts were taking care of the children. Chapter 207, Claiming Sovereignty. The next morning, Yi Chen had no classes, so he went straight to find Chen Zugui. Chen Zugui has also prepared everything for the contract and has invited a representative lawyer to notarize it. The two signed the contract quickly. Chen Zugui will be the R&D director of Chenyi Pharmaceutical and will also serve as the factory director of the pharmaceutical factory. All employees can continue to stay in their positions. And from today on, Tianyi Pharmaceutical Factory will be renamed Chenyi Pharmaceutical Co., Limited. Yi Chen quickly transferred 5 billion to the pharmaceutical factory's public account, which was controlled by Chen Zugui. For recruiting R&D personnel, etc., all of these are left to Chen Zugui to handle. Yi Chen's only request was that Chen Zugui be the first to develop health products that could improve children's immunity. After finishing everything, Yi Chen set off to return to school. While sitting in the car, Yi Chen called Wang Lin and asked him to find someone to keep an eye on this place. As for the magic potion, Yi Chen still planned to see what kind of people to recruit. He would have to review them before finally deciding on these people, and then give the magic potion to Chen Zugui for research and development. Originally, Yi Chen planned to go back to school to find Liu Yina, but when he looked at his hair, he felt that it was too long. After eating something, he found a larger barber shop and asked Tony to cut his hair before going back to school. School. Liu Yina was walking on the school road. She still has one class in the afternoon, but there is still a lot of time before class, so she is thinking about going to the RV, turning on the air conditioner and taking a nap. Yi Chen went out early today, so she had to drive the RV back to school. At this moment, a woman blocked Liu Yina's way. The woman blocking the road was a sweet-looking girl. The girl's skin is in very good condition, and you can tell she is not very old. With light makeup, her facial features look more three-dimensional. She is wearing a tight, long red skirt and a pair of black high heels, which directly lengthens her height and makes her look quite pretty. However, compared with Liu Yina, she is still far inferior. Liu Yina looked at the girl who was blocking her way with a puzzled look on her face. "You are Liu Yina, right?" The little girl stared at Liu Yina with a scrutinizing look and suddenly said in a tone of declaration of war, "I am a freshman, and the boy I pursue is called my Junlun. He has been paying attention to you frequently recently. I advise you to avoid appearing in front of him in the future, so don't walk on this school road again. Don't think I don't know. You're a married woman and you're walking around here brazenly to seduce people. Aren't you ashamed?" Liu Yina looked at the girl in front of her with surprise. Before she could retort, she saw a shadow pressing down from above, instantly covering Liu Yina and the girl. Suddenly, Liu Yina's hand was held by a big hand, with strong and powerful fingers. The school bag on Liu Yina's shoulder was also taken over by the man, and fell directly on his shoulder. Liu Yina and the man crossed their fingers. "My beautiful lady, no, you are so unreasonable. You know she is a married woman, are you so unconfident?" The man laughed softly and glanced coldly at the girl who blocked his way. "I am her husband." Liu Yina looked up at the man. The man's short hair swayed in the wind, and the few strands of hair around his ears were gently blown up by the wind. The man lowered his head to glance at his wife beside him, with a smile on his lips, giving Liu Yina an inexplicable sense of security. Liu Yina knew that her husband was coming. However, this short hair actually adds a bit of vitality. Now Yi Chen has directly transformed from the role of a father to the role of a student. Looking at Liu Yina's reaction, Yi Chen couldn't help but praise teacher Tony's skills, and decided to ask him to cut his hair in the future. Liu Yina said softly, "Husband, you are here." He turned to the girl and said, "My beautiful lady, you know that I am married and I am only interested in my husband. But I have no control over whether others like me or not. If you say that I cannot walk on this road, I am sorry, but I cannot do it. This is a public place and you do not have the right to do so. Also, let me remind you, don't be a fish in someone else's pond." The girl felt so embarrassed when she saw the couple showing their affection in front of her, as if no one was around. But when anyone sees that the man she likes is paying attention to a girl who is prettier than herself, as soon as she sees that girl, she can't help but want to go up and teach him a lesson. So now I just want to get into the Jinchi class in an awkward situation. After Yi Chen and Liu Yina finished saying these words, they just walked away in front of her. Only the girl was left disheveled in the wind. At this time, many people gathered around to watch and were talking about the situation. "Hey, isn't that Yuan Jai, a freshman studying dance?" "Yeah, why did she quarrel with the school beauty?" "It seems that the boy she likes complimented the school beauty a few more times, and then he approached her." "No way, Yuan Jai is pretty and isn't it common knowledge that she's married? Why are you picking a fight with her?" "Who knows? Look at the school beauty who is with her husband every day. How can she have the time to care about these crazy playboys?" Yuan Jai just felt so embarrassed. Although she had confessed her feelings to Mai Junlun, the man had not clearly expressed his intention to have her as his girlfriend. Now this news came out again. She is now regretting why she was so impulsive just now. "Moreover, I don't know if Mai Junlun is watching me making a fool of myself. After all, this is the route he must take after lunch every day." Yuan Jai ran away amid the discussions of the crowd. "Wait until you are far away." Liu Yina secretly looked at her husband with short hair in front of her. Seeing that his lips were tightly closed and his face was very dissatisfied, Liu Yina knew that the girl just now had annoyed him. "Why did you come back so early? Have you finished the work at the pharmaceutical factory?" Liu Yina suddenly asked. "Well, because I didn't have time to say good morning to you this morning, so now I miss you." Hearing this, Liu Yina's mouth corners raised. At this moment, we encountered a school road being repaired ahead, and a small pit was dug out. Liu Yina quickly pulled Yi Chen's arm, trying to go around him. Unexpectedly, a domineering president picked her up like a princess and walked over with his long legs. After that, Yi Chen put Liu Yina down and held her fingers again. Liu Yina couldn't help but glance at the busy school road. Seeing many people looking at them, she couldn't help but blush. "Brother Chen, where are we going now?" Yi Chen accepted everyone's gazes and was very pleased with Liu Yina's calling him Brother Chen. He smiled and said, "Since we have time, let's go around the campus together. Let these people take a good look at me. I, Yi Chen, am your husband, Liu Yina." Chapter 208, The Couple's Campus Life. Because it is afternoon time, and there is still a lot of time before the first class, the campus is filled with students walking slowly to class. In full view of everyone, Yi Chen walked on the school road holding hands with his lovely wife, Liu Yina. Ignoring the shocked and gossipy looks of the crowd, the two walked forward leisurely. However, Liu Yina was a little shy, but she found Yi Chen's actions funny. The campus of Xiangcheng is very large. After the two of them walked around half of it, they finally walked back and found a shady place with a stone bench to sit down and rest for a while. And now that the class has started, there are not many people around. Yi Chen directly let Liu Yina sit on his lap. It's just that this posture, Liu Yina felt that it was somewhat inappropriate. Liu Yina quickly looked around. "Brother Chen, if someone suddenly came out now, this posture. We saw it, we are all adults. Besides, we didn't do anything. They are afraid that others will misunderstand what they are doing. After all, Liu Yina is wearing a skirt now. Although it is a long skirt, it still arouses endless imagination." Liu Yina directly exposed Yi Chen's purpose. "I knew you wanted others to see it." "No way, I just saw that there was no one here, so I wanted to hug you and kiss you." After saying that, Yi Chen hugged Liu Yina and kissed her. The kiss was as passionate as the weather, and it made Liu Yina feel dizzy and her eyes blurred. Liu Yina was really worried that Yi Chen would do something out of line. But apart from kissing her, Yi Chen did not take any further action. If this wasn't a public place, she might have taken the initiative to greet him. Perhaps it is because the couple have been interacting more recently. Liu Yina now cooperates fully with these matters, and sometimes even takes the initiative. Yi Chen was naturally very happy about Liu Yina's changes. Yi Chen said, "If you encounter something like that again, tell your husband. Yi Chen's woman will not stand such anger." Liu Yina lay in Yi Chen's arms and asked, "I know, husband. Is the matter with the pharmaceutical factory settled?" Yi Chen nodded. "Well, the contract has been signed and the money has been transferred." Liu Yina continued to ask, "Is the one that improves immunity really effective? If it really works, it would be great to have it. After all, no parent wants their child to get sick. No matter how much it costs, they will buy it. For example, if I don't have much money, I will save money and buy it for my child to try." Yi Chen nodded. "Originally, I was only planning to let my family eat it, but when I saw the child with leukemia and the scene of the injection, I made up my mind to do this. If not to let everyone benefit, at least let most people benefit. This will also reduce the number of children getting sick." After that, Yi Chen suddenly leaned over and said with his damn bass, "Nana, we are in love now, so we should enjoy our love time, okay?" As he said that, Yi Chen grabbed Liu Yina's right hand and said, "Look, you're not wearing a ring today." "I knew it." As he said that, he took out a 2.5-carat diamond ring from his pocket and put it directly on Liu Yina. Liu Yina pulled her hand back and looked at the diamond ring on her hand. She recognized that it was a diamond ring worth tens of millions that she bought from the Harry Winston Diamond brand store. He didn't even wear the box and just put it in his trouser pocket. "What if it's gone? You know, this is a diamond ring worth tens of millions." Yi Chen glanced at Liu Yina, who was staring at him. "What? Why are you staring at me like that? Do you think this short hair is handsome? Are you fascinated by me?" Liu Yina laughed and punched Yi Chen's chest. "Yeah, I wonder how many fans he has attracted by his handsomeness." Yi Chen suddenly said to Liu Yina seriously, "I don't know about others, but I am 10,000 serious about you. I only love you." The two of them hugged each other and whispered sweet words to each other. Suddenly, Liu Yina seemed to feel something, as if someone was walking towards them. She was so scared that she quickly got up. Yi Chen also quickly reached out and held her waist, making Liu Yina unable to move at all. "I heard footsteps and there seemed to be a lot of people. Let me go." Liu Yina was so anxious that her face turned red. Although this place is relatively hidden, it is still on campus, and it is impossible that no one passes by here. Liu Yina also thought that someone might come here at any time, so she was always on high alert. "Humph, no wonder I always felt that your heart wasn't with me. It turns out you were always paying attention to whether anyone was coming. If others want to see, just let them see. Could it be that you think your husband I'm ugly and don't want others to see me?" After saying that, Yi Chen coughed twice and held Liu Yina's hand even tighter. Liu Yina was speechless about Yi Chen's behavior. Seeing that she couldn't break free, she simply buried her head in Yi Chen's arms to prevent others from seeing her face. The two people walking towards them were also a couple. When they saw that someone had already occupied the place, they left tactfully. Yi Chen smiled and said, "See, I told you not to rush." Liu Yina just punched Yi Chen's chest with her little pink fist. Yi Chen pretended to be in pain and cried out, "Ouch." Liu Yina glared at Yi Chen and pretended to be angry as well. Yi Chen saw that Liu Yina's hair was messy, so he reached out and helped her smooth it out. "Will you come home for dinner tonight?" Yi Chen suddenly asked. Liu Yina said, "Of course I'm going home. I want to eat the nutritious fat-reducing meals you made. I always feel that the food I had in the school cafeteria today was a bit greasy. It feels like I'm going to gain a few pounds if I eat it." Yi Chen hugged Liu Yina. Okay, my wife wants to eat and my husband will make it for you." Liu Yina also said sweetly, "Thank you, husband, my husband is the best." "Yi Chen, you are my wife. If I don't treat you well, who else can I treat well? But I still want to hear you call me Brother Chen. Come on, call me twice." Liu Yina really had no choice but to shout softly, "Brother Chen." Yi Chen enjoyed it very much. Well, Nana is so good. After the two of them stayed here for a while, Yi Chen and Liu Yina also had to go back to class. Chapter 209, Firefighting. In the afternoon, Liu Yina taught an extracurricular sketching class, and all the students followed the teacher to a park not far from the school to do extracurricular sketching. Liu Yina also went walking with her classmates. After about 15 minutes, they arrived at the park. The teacher allowed everyone to move freely, and after finishing the drawing, they could go back to the next class and hand in their drawings together tomorrow morning. These drawings must be submitted, as they affect graduation results. When it is time for graduation, the teachers will return these drawings to the students. At this time, there are still about 2 hours until the next class, which means it has to be completed within an hour and a half. Liu Yina sat on a bench in the park, watching people coming and going in the park. There were old people playing chess under the shade of trees, children playing, and couples talking about love. Liu Yina was observing everyone here. She came here this time with the intention of drawing portraits. After her careful observation, Liu Yina has locked on to an elderly couple. This is an elderly couple. They are walking hand in hand on the park path covered with colorful fallen leaves like young lovers. From time to time, they stop and point at the children running on the grass and smile, as if they are thinking of their grandchildren. They are talking and laughing there. Everything is so warm and beautiful, which makes Liu Yina very envious. What Liu Yina envies most is the kind of love that lasts forever and grows together forever, just like this elderly couple. What a wonderful love it is. While Liu Yina was expressing her envy, the sketch pen in her hand had already started to rustle on the paper. During this hour or so, Liu Yina drew 2 sketches. One picture shows the elderly couple walking hand in hand on a park path, while the other shows the elderly watching some children playing on the grass. Liu Yina plans to hand in the first painting to her teacher and take the second one home for a second creation, adding color to the painting and letting her husband appreciate it. She was fantasizing about the scene when she and Yi Chen were old and took their grandchildren to the park to play. Thinking of this, Liu Yina also curled up the corners of her mouth and smiled. After finishing the painting, Liu Yina looked at the time. More than an hour had passed, and it was almost time to go back. Liu Yina packed up the things she had brought with her and hurried back. We passed a kindergarten on the way. The bell rang, and the get out of class was over. The children ran out like flying to the open space outside the school to play on the slide. This kindergarten is not big. It is a building with buildings of similar height on both sides. There is an open space of about 200 square meters in front of the building for children to play. Liu Yina looked at these lovely children outside the school gate and couldn't help laughing out loud. At this time, Wen Xiyu suddenly appeared beside Liu Yina. Liu Yina was startled to see someone coming over and turned to look at the person and couldn't help but exclaimed, "Teacher Wen, why are you here?" Hearing Liu Yina's words, "Teacher Wen," Wen Xiyu said with a somewhat unnatural expression, "I came out to buy something and I didn't expect to meet you here." Liu Yina smiled and said, "Oh, I also came out for a life drawing class. I went back after finishing my homework." Wen Xiyu nodded. "Just now I saw you watching the children playing so seriously, and I couldn't bear to disturb you, but since we met, I came over to say hello. I hope I didn't scare you." Liu Yina smiled and said, "No, Teacher Wen. I have 3 children at home, and I think children are cute, so I took a few more glances." Wen Xiyu smiled and said, "It seems that you really like children. I saw your circle of friends, and the child looks a lot like you. So beautiful." Liu Yina smiled awkwardly. "Thank you for the compliment, Teacher Wen." In fact, it might be that Liu Yina was too naive before. After talking to Yi Chen about Wen Xiyu, she also felt that Wen Xiyu had some different feelings for her, and it was not just as simple as a neighbor's sister. Now listening to the compliments coming out of Wen Xiyu's mouth, Liu Yina also felt a little embarrassed. Just as the two fell into silence, a security guard shouted to the 2 people outside the school gate, "What are you doing here? Are you here to visit the school?" After all, this is a kindergarten, and Liu Yina and Wen Xiyu are a boy and a girl. So the security guard thought that Liu Yina and Wen Xiyu were a couple and came to check the school for their child. Liu Yina said somewhat embarrassedly, "No, I just came to take a look." The security guard saw that Liu Yina was so kind, and Wen Xiyu was wearing glasses and looked gentle, and thought that neither of them looked like bad people. So he opened the door holding a notebook and said, "Please register here. I can notify the principal to take you to visit our school. Although our school is not big, the teaching is very good in all aspects. You can visit first." Seeing the security guard so enthusiastic, Liu Yina glanced at the children on the playground and thought of her 3 children who would also go to kindergarten in the future, so she was tempted. Wen Xiyu also followed him into the kindergarten. He realized that the security guard actually thought he was Liu Yina's husband, so he was secretly happy. Just as Liu Yina picked up the pen, bursts of screams suddenly came from the kindergarten. The security guard reacted quickly. He didn't care about Liu Yina and the others. He picked up his weapon, said an apology, and rushed in. Soon, many teachers and children walked out of the campus. The children were all scared and crying. Thick smoke and roars were heard from all the windows on the 2nd floor from time to time. Everyone, including the children on the playground, were scared and huddled together. Seeing this, Liu Yina and Wen Xiyu immediately ran up and asked, "Teacher, what happened?" The teacher was also so scared that he gasped, Inside, someone is setting fire inside. Liu Yina was shocked when she heard this. What? Arson. Yes, it was one of our teachers. She went crazy. We couldn't catch her. She lit a bottle of kerosene and threw it into our classroom. I don't know if there are still children in the classroom. The security guard has already gone upstairs. The police have also been called. The firefighters said they will arrive in 15 minutes. After saying this, the teacher patted his chest with lingering fear. When Liu Yina heard this, she thought of these lovely children and made a quick decision. Teacher Wen, let's help put out the fire. Wen Siyu said nothing, walked straight into the security room and took out 2 fire extinguishers. Liu Yina took it and didn't say anything. She just rushed into the school building. Chapter 210, Help Catch the Murderer. After hearing what the teacher said, even if there were no children in the classroom, the fire had to be put out because the thick smoke was enough to put out the fire. Moreover, the golden time for firefighting is very short, so you have to be quick. So Liu Yina and Wen Siyu rushed in with fire extinguishers. I have to say that Liu Yina has become much braver after becoming a mother. Looking at the thick smoke coming from upstairs, he was not afraid at all. When Liu Yina and Wen Siyu walked to the stairs with the fire extinguisher, they heard a roar from upstairs. Catch that woman! Don't let her run away. Liu Yina and Wen Siyu couldn't help but be stunned. I saw a woman rushing down from the upstairs. When she saw Liu Yina and the others, she stopped for a moment. But it only took a second for the woman to react, and she swung the wooden stick in her hand at Liu Yina. Liu Yina quickly picked up the fire extinguisher and blocked the stick. Seeing this, Wen Siyu immediately stepped forward to grab the stick, turned his hand, and the woman let go of her hand in pain. Wen Siyu acted quickly and threw away the fire extinguisher and grabbed the woman. The woman stared at Wen Siyu fiercely and grabbed Wen Siyu's arm with her other hand. Several blood marks immediately appeared on Wen Siyu's right arm. Liu Yina was also very distressed when she saw it, although there were waves of stinging pain in her arms. Wen Siyu immediately restrained both of her hands with his other hand and put the woman directly to the ground. At this time, several security guards also caught up and helped subdue the woman on the ground. Wen Siyu ignored the pain and quickly grabbed the fire extinguisher on the ground and called the stunned Liu Yina. Nana, let's go put out the fire. It's important to put out the fire first. When Liu Yina and Wen Siyu arrived, there was a security guard at the scene holding a fire extinguisher to put out the fire. However, one person is always less powerful, and the arsonist also threw the kerosene bottle into the child's bed, so the fire tended to get bigger and bigger for a while. The classrooms here are quite large because the sleeping and class areas are in the same classroom. The beds are placed in the corner during class time and put down for sleeping. Many kindergartens have this model. After the security guard had used up 1 fire extinguisher, he had no more extinguishers left and was about to retreat. He covered his mouth and turned around and walked out of the classroom. At this time, I saw Liu Yina and Wen Siyu holding 2 fire extinguishers and waved at the 2 of them. You are here. I will go to the fire hydrant to see if I can pull some water over. At this moment, the sound of children crying was heard in the classroom where the fire happened, and there was more than one man crying. Liu Yina, Wen Siyu, and the security guard were all shocked. There is a child inside. Maybe the fire was too big, and the child couldn't bear it, so he cried. If the children were not rescued, they would most likely be burned to death or suffocated in there. Liu Yina said to the security guard, Go quickly, we have a fire extinguisher, see if we can save the child. After saying that, Liu Yina and Wen Siyu quickly opened the fire extinguisher and rushed in. Here is a friendly reminder, please do not imitate the plot of the novel. Fire and water are merciless, and saving people is dangerous. Please recognize your own situation and ability before saving people. The voices of 2 children came from the podium. Fortunately, the children did not get close to the fire. Seeing that the 2 children were not in danger, Liu Yina walked over and picked up the 2 children, one on the left and one on the right, while Wen Siyu rushed over with 2 fire extinguishers to put out the fire, but the fire was too big. Seeing this, Liu Yina immediately shouted to Wen Siyu, Teacher Wen, we can't save him. Let's wait for the security guard to pull the water pipe over, and then we can rescue the child first. At first, I thought the fire was not big, but I didn't expect that the arsonist teacher actually threw a kerosene bottle onto the child's bed. How abominable! When the 2 children were found, they were hugging each other and crying. It was not known whether they were inhaled by the smoke or scared. Liu Yina coughed and comforted the 2 children. Don't be afraid, sister is here to rescue you. Liu Yina, a woman holding 2 children weighing about 30 pounds each, rushed out of the classroom immediately. Wen Siyu didn't care about anything else, so he put the fire extinguisher on the ground and followed her out. After Wen Siyu came out, he walked forward and took one of the children from Liu Yin's hands. Two people rushed down to the playground, each holding a child. At this time, all the teachers and students had gathered on the playground. Fortunately, the playground was big enough, and there was a lot of crying on the playground. At this time, the sound of a fire truck came from nearby. When the teachers on the playground saw Liu Yin and Wen Siyu carrying the child out, they were surprised and happy, and hurried over to comfort the crying child. After all, if it weren't for the two of them, someone would probably have died. There were several bloody scratches on Wen Siyu's arm, and blood was constantly oozing out of the wounds. It felt painful to outsiders just by looking at it. Liu Yin was shocked when she saw his arm. Teacher